see that Jill has already gone live with his own thing. I'll mute myself.
You said sheep fucker multiple times.
And the only reason that I debated the Raging Atheist is because he put out, I think, like 10 videos calling me a sissy, calling me a little cat, basically.
I double and triple down that the Jews are sheep fuckers because it triggers you, Smokey.
I couldn't honestly stand Nokasechi because the second he starts off, it was so cocky, I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
But I'm wrong for saying that this is the claim, this is the evidence, and this is why I believe it.
So it's a false position. It's a nothing burger.
This is high caliber, big brain moments happening.
All right, what's up, you heathens and demons? It's looking good. All right, welcome back to The Rage. It's another open room. John is not going to be here this evening. He's not feeling all that great. I did something different last night, and we had, the Trumpers and the side chat, Messenger and Victor talking all that shit. I had Brucifer this morning. Jefferson is already here. I'm about to put the link in the side chat. I had Brucifer this morning telling me voting fraud is real and Obama created ISIS. That really happened on this one guy's channel. Go check it out. I want you guys to bring me your fucking delusions tonight. Let's fight it out. Tonight's the night for it. Let's get it out of our systems so I can move to some goddamn Christianity again. So I'm going to put the link in the side chat. You guys come on in. Jefferson, you was part of that conversation this morning.
Yep.
What did you think about the insanity that we woke up to?
It wasn't, man, how can I say this? Brucifer, some of his opinions were worse than I thought, and some of them were a lot more measured than I imagined they would be.
Yeah, he was like a mixed bag.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's like too slavish to the idea of Trump, but the idea that these quote unquote these protests happen, and it was like, okay, bro, I'm not exactly sure what you're voting for or against, but I'm pretty sure it's a mess upstairs. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, that guy, and like I said earlier, I met the guy at Brett Keene's, so I can't expect too much. Messenger is here. He's Bill Clinton. So Messenger showed up. We'll see if Victor shows up. Feel free to come in. And if Victor does want to show up, then that'll be even better. Because Victor and Messenger are two different types of Trump supporters at the moment, and they don't like each other, so that would be interesting. What's up, y'all?
How you doing there, Mr. Raging Atheist? It's Bill Clinton. I just came by to say hello. give my support. Appreciate all you've done for the Democratic Party. Appreciate everything. Hillary and I really want to say thank you for everything you've done.
Well, I just hope that you came prepared to back up all your bullshit positions, Bill Clinton.
Bill
Messenger,
Clinton.
that was a really good Bill Clinton.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You got to realize that, when I was in the office, things ran a lot better than they have lately. But, I don't know what the world's coming to. Everybody didn't like my wife. So, there's Donald Trump in the White House.
Everybody did and does. Well, now they really like Monica Lewinsky, so I guess that looked good.
Well, I mean, I got to be honest. Hillary did vote for Donald Trump this time around. Hillary is not a Joe Biden fan at all.
Actually, I would imagine she would have gotten along better with him than she would have, like policy-wise, than she would have with Obama. Although Obama was pretty conservative too, so that'd be kind of a tough call.
Yeah,
Obama invited me to the White House many times. Yeah.
Obama pretended to be a progressive, and then failed us at every turn. So Messenger, he was talking a lot of shit yesterday. What's up, man?
Well, if you'd like Messenger to come in, I can, get off the channel and make room for him to come in if you'd like. Because, this is Bill Clinton, not Messenger.
I mean, I understand that you might not want to reiterate some of your the things that you've been saying, considering that, Trump lost. Everything you said didn't work out.
You have to realize, I watched the Messenger and his comments there in the side chat, and I think he's going to come with guns ablazing tonight. So I hope you're prepared, Nakasuchi.
I hope so. I'm looking forward to it.
So I'm going to go ahead and cut out and make room for the Messenger to come back in.
By the way, per Rage's new intro, I'm pretty sure it's Nokasachi? Is that what it is now?
It's Nokasachi. Applesauce. Daughter's blood sugar is low, so it's time for applesauce. He's trying to really go through with the bullshit, and of course it puts you over there, making my life difficult. All right,
just a second. Give me a second.
Of course. Let's put Leo back in, and then
I don't know why the fuck it does that. I don't know if it's my computer, if it's my camera, something wrong with my camera, or if it's StreamYard.
All right, yeah, feel free to come in. I guess we're gonna have us a little fight of, the conspiracy theories going around. So Messenger, you're here, you're eating.
I can talk in between bites.
Do you really think that the voter fraud is real and that it's going to be enough to overturn?
What the fuck, you piece of shit!
Thousands upon thousands of votes.
Hey, can you mute your mic, Leo, while you're working out your computer troubles? Shout out to Richard in the side chat. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, feel free to come in. We still have 5 spots.
So, yes, I do always think there's voter fraud. There's people doing shady shit all the time. Is it enough? And it can be on both sides. It could be on Trump's side and it can be on Biden's side. It could be Democrat, it could be Republican. This could be haters of one of the two. That stuff goes on, and we'd be stupid to think that people don't try to fucking cheat the system. Now, is it something on a grand scale like what's being reported? I have no clue, and I really don't care. I'm curious to kind of see what happens and see how this goes along the legal route and all the things that are going on in the courts. And will it go up to the Supreme Court? Will the Supreme Court have any influence on any of this, or I should say any decision making like they kind of did in 2000? But yeah, stuff goes on. To what level? Who fucking knows? Do I think that it changed the election? I don't know, and I don't care. This shit's been going on since the beginning of time. When's life ever been fair? When's things ever been equitable? It's just not. Never has been, never will be. That's my thoughts on that's my true bottom of the heart thoughts.
Well, I mean, of course, voter fraud does happen, and it probably happens every election, but at a very minute scale. Very few cases of actual voter fraud has been proven, and they all get caught. And usually it's a very harsh sentence. One woman went to prison, first-time offender, five years in prison for her voter fraud, and it was more of an accident than her actually trying to have any intent of committing a crime. But they're contesting Michigan, right? Or at least they're trying. It got thrown out of court, but they're saying they're gonna throw some more frivolous lawsuits without any evidence. Like nobody's saying that there's no evidence has really been presented of any of this so-called voter fraud. In Michigan right now, they'd have to get back 140,000 votes. Now, you understand they're not really asking for recounts or any of
no,
the
they believe there's illegal. They believe there's a mass amount of illegal ballots.
They're going to try to get
ballots.
They're going to try to get rid of enough votes for Donald Trump to win these states, legal
Correct.
or not legal, right?
Shady or legally is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and that's what they're going to be trying to do if the courts allow them to do that.
Which is weird.
Why is it weird?
Because Michigan is predominantly at a local level very Republican. Most of the county commissioners and almost all of the state administration is very Republican. So most of the allegations that have been going out against these local officials for botching the counts and all this kind of stuff, they're indirectly or sometimes directly accusing other Republicans at the local Michigan level of being either complicit or incompetent or whatever.
Sure. And at the same time, but we all know that the mass amount of Democratic votes come out of very small geographic areas of the country. And they have a ton of population in those small geographic areas. So, if people were doing fraud on that side, it would be a lot easier to do on the Democratic side than the Republican side, for sure.
But the first two examples that were actually brought up, the first one was Antrim County, which is a county of about 24,000 people. And that one was where 6,000 votes that should have gone to Trump went to Biden, and that was over a software glitch. It was corrected by the county commissioner, who was a Republican, reported to the state, and those votes were correctly attributed to Trump, and Trump took that county, which is normal because Antrim County is usually Republican. Shiawassee County was the next one because they had a glitch, kind of a similar software glitch with the same system. It was 138 or 139,000 votes. Somebody had added a zero, or the system had added a zero at some point, and so it added all these extra votes for Biden. When they corrected it, it was only supposed to be 13,000 votes or 1,380 votes or something like that. It didn't matter in the end because Trump also took Shiawassee County. Now, since those two things have been corrected, those were leading in terms of examples of this kind of systemic voter fraud that we should expect to see in Michigan. Now that they've been corrected, those have been ignored, and now they've shifted onto this BS list of 14,000 dead voters that supposedly were able to vote in Wayne County. And a cursory examination of the list shows that many of the people on that list are in fact alive.
Which usually is what happens. I mean, yeah, like everybody that I've seen, like there's no evidence that this voter fraud is taking place. Trump is talking out of his ass, and what he's doing is really dangerous. He's demeaning the process. He's getting half of the country to the point that they're not going to accept the results of a free election.
A Reuters Ipsos poll today said that about 80% of Americans accept that Biden won the election.
Yeah, but how long? The longer this takes, the more and more Trump supporters are going to fall on the narrative. I mean, if you listen to Hannity, if you listen to Limbaugh isn't on there anymore. He kind of put off that treatment to help Trump, and now he's sick, right? So,
I don't think Trump's base is large enough to make any meaningful change whatsoever, as riled up as they are.
I mean, there's no chance in hell that he's going to win through the courts. So, Messenger, you realize that, right? Why would you support somebody that's just blatantly lying and not accepting the results of an election that he clearly
Why do you think I
lost?
support him?
Well, I mean,
I just point out my
opinion
of what
you troll, and you've been saying that he's going to win. Do you still think he's going to win Arizona?
It's getting close. It really is. I think it's 12,600 votes behind, with about 36,000 left to count, from what it looks like.
Wherein?
Yeah, he didn't.
I'm just saying. But he cut into that 208 with 880 going. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it's not going to be enough, and you know it. He didn't take Nevada like he said. He didn't take Pennsylvania like he said.
I never said he was taking Nevada.
Do you think he's going to take Georgia? Do you think Do you think the Republican legislatures of Georgia, the Republican governor, Kemp, who's known for suppressing the vote on the Republican side, do you think he allowed massive voter fraud to take place in his state?
I don't think the governors have any direct or indirect influence on those things.
The whole state's Republican. The whole state's Republican.
Kemp has actually asserted a direct influence on a lot of the elections in the last few years.
Yeah, he has. That's a given.
They're not supposed to. It's supposed to be left up to the Secretary of State and the counties generally. But
I thought the Secretary of State and the governor both have to sign off on a lot of states for the certification process.
The Secretary of State doesn't necessarily have to. They defer the responsibility of the counting and tabulation of the ballots to the counties. The governor's supposed to, but Kemp got into some issues before in the last midterm election because he didn't. I can't remember what that situation was, but was that he was butting heads with Stacey Abrams over something. He didn't divest himself of something.
Well, that was because he was the Secretary of State and ran as governor while he was still the Secretary of State. And since the Secretary of State generally oversees the elections and the election processes, he was literally overseeing his own election. And it was actually a pretty goddamn close race. I'm not going to say that Kemp cheated, because I just don't have any solid data. And I'm one of those people where if I don't have solid data that there was cheating, I'm not going to just blatantly say there was cheating because my side lost.
Well,
but
black people
it
in
does
Georgia
raise some questions. But even if there was no cheating, even if Kemp did fairly win, and I think that he might have, I don't know for sure because we don't have any solid data, but it's still the fact that he was literally overseeing his own election is a problem in and of itself. By the way, Georgia will be doing a full hand recount, and it's going to be great to see Trump lose Georgia twice.
Yeah, and you know, Kemp, he suppressed the vote. He suppressed the black vote, and the people of Georgia feel like Kemp cheated. So whether or not he did, we'll find that out given time and investigation. The black folks of Georgia felt like he cheated them, and
Stacey Abrams
they turned out. They turned out this go around because
of Stacey Abrams. She got almost 1 million people registered in that state, and we all know the vast majority of them are probably voting Biden. That was her revenge on Kemp, turning Georgia blue.
Yeah, and you know the recount and the voter fraud investigations, if they come, is probably going to work against the Republicans because, as I said, you know he did tell his people to vote twice. Now, he said it in a way that a smart person would know he's not telling them to really vote twice. But most of his voters are idiots and they're not smart. And the way that he pretty much told them to vote fucking twice. Vote by mail and then go and vote by person. I don't think you really want to look into it too much if you're the Trump campaign.
There are literally, I personally know people that have gotten mail-in ballot request forms with saying Trump wants you to fill out this form and return it. Like he was literally encouraging. He was publicly saying don't vote by mail because it's all fraudulent, while silently encouraging his supporters to vote by mail. And it's now attacking.
It sounds like a conspiracy theory that you personally know people.
Attacking mail-in voting because
you'd be asking for proof and evidence, not just hearsay. I think you were calling hearsay the other day. So you're just going to provide some hearsay?
Well, it depends on the implicit empirical basis that the hearsay is based on. Like if I told you I saw a unicorn, that doesn't, your word alone, even if 1,500 people told me it's a unicorn, that doesn't work because it doesn't, versus like if 1,500 people told me they saw a dog or an elephant walking down the street of Los Angeles, I'd believe that way before I'd believe it was a unicorn, even if 15,000 people told me it was a unicorn, but only one person told me it was an elephant, because we have no implicit empirical basis.
You realize you believe a lot of things that aren't true.
Empirical basis for elephants.
You realize you believe a lot of things that aren't true.
That's what belief is. Taking something on hearsay comes down to whether there is or isn't implicit empirical basis for what is being claimed.
Empirical basis is a fact. So therefore, it would be a fact. Therefore, it would be a truth. It wouldn't necessarily be an opinion.
Fact.
Empirical just means what?
Empirical means it can be observed.
Exactly. Exactly. It can be observed. Doesn't mean it is observed. So it doesn't make your statement any more true than when you just didn't say all that shit.
But if something already has that empirical basis, and that means it already has been observed. Like
I get it. You like all the big scientific work, so they make you sound smart, and you think that it gives you any credibility.
I don't need to sound smart. I am smart.
Don't dive into the rabbit holes of Messenger. So Messenger. So you're an enigma, and not really, because I understand what you're doing, and other people might not. So you'll be in the side chats, and you'll be talking Red Wave 2020 and Trump Train 2020, but then
Trump Train.
Well, you'll talk that fucking nonsense though.
I said the tsunami's coming. The big red wave is about to hit.
The fucking tsunami of 2020 is coming. So you'll talk all of this fucking shit, but then you'll come on the channel and play this motto. Oh, it doesn't really matter to me. I don't give a fuck. I'm just trolling. Come
Okay,
on
well,
now,
you know
dude.
I was
All
trolling.
right, so
You
who
know-
do you think would be a better president? Who do you want to see elected? Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
I think Donald Trump would be a better president than
Why?
Joe Biden by far.
Why?
Because I think he actually gets shit done and does
Like
things.
what?
When has he gotten shit done? And this is going back before he was even president, you know, because I mean, he's failed in like 8 businesses, has gone bankrupt 6 times,
Actually,
has
that's-
lost hundreds of millions of dollars. What has he ever been successful
You
in?
like to answer your own questions?
Well, I was actually going to say though, Ben Shapiro had done an entire thing where he wasn't really a big fan of Donald Trump, but then he realized that Donald Trump had actually in those last 4 years had been one of the most consistently conservative presidents in that he didn't do a lot.
Yeah, so
Those were his
yeah,
words. He believed that was a positive.
The single largest thing that got done in the Trump administration was the passage of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which can be credited more to Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell than it can to Donald Trump.
yeah. I mean, is
Okay,
that what he
you
did
can
good? Like,
attribute-
what has he done good that makes you think that he would be a better president? So just name something, Messenger.
He can have a coherent sentence and remember what state he's in to begin with.
Seriously,
Joe Biden.
That's-
Joe Biden is a candidate with dementia. You guys
I ask
all
you to
know
give
this.
me one thing he's done in 4 years, and
Okay,
you go to
asked a
Joe
bunch of
Biden's
questions.
dementia.
You asked several
I
questions.
know. I
You said,
asked
who do
you.
you think is better?
I asked
Now
you.
you're asking me what he's
and
done.
you told me
He
who
gave
was better, and then I
He gave
asked
me-
a
he
follow
gave
up
me
question.
a
That's
lot more
called
money in
out.
my paycheck.
That's
He
how
gave me
it
a lot
works.
more money in my paycheck every year,
So the taxes,
for sure.
The
And
taxes.
it's not just him. It's any Republican
Wait.
candidate would put more money in my pocket than a Democratic
Hold
president.
on, really quick. You said that he donated his paycheck, and you know, I'm assuming you're going to go down the road that he donated it to all these different organizations that we have in the
I
government,
didn't
like
say anything about
the
him donating
Department of the
paycheck.
Interior, which he supposedly
What the
gave
fuck
his
is
very
Leo
first
talking
his
about?
very first check to. But the funny thing is, he's giving his checks to the same departments that he defunded.
Do you realize you only like listened to part and then you think you got what I was going to say? I didn't say anything about him donating.
Yeah, you did. You said that he
I
donated.
did not say anything about him
Are
donating.
you sure, Messenger? Because you be spitting a lot of shit.
No, I didn't say anything about him. Like, you can play the goddamn rewind. Everybody knows I didn't say anything about him donating shit. I
All right,
said
so-
he put more money in my
More money
paycheck
in your
with
pocket.
tax
So Trump's
cuts.
strong economy. That's something that you like about Donald Trump. That's a
I
reason.
wouldn't say it's a strong economy. It just individually impacts me. It individually gives my family more of my money that I work hard for.
So why wouldn't
Okay,
you say
but
it's a strong economy?
I don't make a
I'm
bad
not talking about
in.
because the economy could be totally shit and I get more money in my paycheck and I'd still be okay with that.
I have to correct myself. Messenger was private.
Okay.
I just played it back. And Messenger said he put more money in his paycheck. So I do need to correct myself.
Yeah, you're pissing off Amanda with the whole dementia shit. You know, Joe Biden doesn't have dementia. Trump probably has dementia.
Joe Biden has early onset dementia. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, we're not getting into a psychological conversation, but
This is
you're wrong.
dementia is not psychological.
How did you feel about people that said the same thing about Donald Trump? Because I didn't agree with people that said that Trump had dementia. I thought it was crazy.
Trump doesn't show signs of dementia.
Trump
I
actually
had a
does show signs of dementia.
I had a grandfather and an uncle that had dementia, so I know exactly what it looks like. And plus, we study those things in clinical counseling, so I have a pretty good idea when I recognize some.
You
of the
know
traits of
that
it.
it's kind of unethical if you've got that kind of training. You can't remotely diagnose the person, right?
I didn't diagnose them. I'm not
You're
qualified.
You're saying that you're
Only a
he's
medical
trolling
doctor-
conspiracy theories.
Only a medical doctor is going to sit there and diagnose with dementia. It's not a mental
But
disorder.
you're saying with certainty that this person has dementia, but you haven't evaluated them.
I believe 100% he has dementia, early onset dementia,
100%.
as evidenced by how
don't you
he
think
loses his
that's
train of thought.
There's
and
no
evidence.
There's no
and
evidence, for it though.
He
There's
thought
no
he was
evidence
wearing
for
a Philadelphia Eagles jersey, and it was a Delaware University jacket.
Joe Biden has put his foot in his mouth. He has
It's not
done that
putting
his whole
mouth. Why are you being
career.
apologetic? How are you being
He has
apologetic
done it his
for
whole
somebody who-
career. Just go back and look at his whole career.
Rage is right. He's been making gaffes like that since the late.
I don't think
80s,
either one of
man.
them has dementia. I think that Joe Biden just
He's
makes
got a
it
stutter,
like
and
abs
he puts
control.
his foot in his
I
mouth.
think that
This is what Joe Biden does.
that Donald Trump is just a dumbass.
I'm not even saying he
But
stutters.
like to my question though, so what is it? Do you think that Trump created a strong economy at least until the coronavirus comes? I mean, I'm trying to nail you down here on something concrete outside of Joe Biden has dementia and he put some money in my pocket.
Okay. I do believe that he helped the economy by making mandates on companies to keep work in the United States. So in that way, I do think he helped to
How did he do that?
I don't know how he did it.
If you're talking about tariffs, he didn't, because if he did impose tariffs, but he did them incorrectly.
And they devastated the agriculture industry.
Yeah, the tariffs that he did actually hurt us more than it hurt China.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at it, go ahead, Red Fang. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, man.
Oh no, you're good.
All right, so if you look at it, like, so Trump's strong economy, that's only based on the stock market. And anybody, like, even
it's not only based on the stock market.
Well, no, hear me out. So even during the Obama era, we would scream at the top of our lungs that you can't base the economy on the stock market. If you look at the economy, if you look at what's going on before the pandemic, I'm not counting anything before the pandemic because the pandemic is the pandemic. Wages have remained stuck. In 1979, the median average household income was $43,680. In 2018, it was $708. There's no increase in the average household, and now you have two parents working. While the unemployment is low, it doesn't take into account how many people have stopped looking for jobs altogether. The percentage of Americans with jobs is the lowest it's been since the 1970s. 4 million Americans are working part-time jobs. A growing number of college graduates are overqualified for their current jobs. 1 in 10 college grads underemployed, the highest of all time, while the cost of college has skyrocketed. 45 million Americans owe $1.6 trillion in student debt. Cost of healthcare continues to increase. Since 2008, family premiums are up 55%, 3 times the rate of inflation. Prescription drug prices continue to rise under Trump, going up 11% in the first half of
40 million Americans
2019
can't
alone.
afford a $400 emergency.
I mean, what strong economy? What strong economy?
My question for you is, what is the source of all that stuff you just read?
A lot of stuff. I went around and looked it up, but most of it,
most of it comes from Democratic left-leaning
organizations,
propaganda, and
most of that came from information I looked up on the economy and what it was doing before the coronavirus.
But it's not an unbiased source of information that you're going to.
Let me
because you can see that because they're not saying anything positive.
Hang on, guys. I want to
addressing the information that it provides. A source can have a noted bias, but that doesn't mean that the information that it shares is wrong. You need to demonstrate that the information is wrong, not just attack the source of the information. What you just did is fallacious, explicitly.
Yeah, and
what it is
hang on. Let Jefferson talk.
Hold on. Let Jefferson talk.
I want to point this out before we get into too many figures and stuff. The 2017 tax cut that Trump did is a kind of classic demand pump tax cut that any politician can put through. Republicans were planning on it. This is usually what happens in the first term of a Republican presidency. There's a tax cut that usually occurs. It usually benefits a significantly higher number of upper middle class to very wealthy people. It generates an enormous amount of demand, usually a lot of stock buyback and stuff, and that generates a lot of market return. It creates something. What looks like a boom in the economy.
Artificial stock value inflation.
It doesn't necessarily actually make things better for the real economy at the lower levels. But what's going to happen if Trump gets in a second time is he can't do this again. He couldn't do another stimulus. Like the only stimulus that they were able to pull off was the one that they did, the CARES Act, which was because of COVID. And that stuff stimulates demand as well. But the Republicans weren't going to pass another tax cut that was going to somehow benefit anybody even more than what they already did. They already shot their load on that. So they were done. The only thing that they can do, and this is usually what happens in a second Republican term in a presidency, is the Republican president goes after entitlement reform, which means they look to reduce things like Medicare payout, Social Security, these kinds of things. Those things are demand drawdowns. So usually what you end up getting in a 2-term Republican presidency is a wash. You get a quick pump in the first term because they try to limit deregulations, they lower taxes, they get a demand push, and then they go after Social Security and benefit payouts and try to reduce that stuff. And you end up, basically what they end up with is a depressed economy by the time they leave. This happened with George W. Bush. It didn't happen with George H.W. Bush because he historically
only one term.
He lost his reelection race. But it even actually started to happen with Reagan.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, the
Reagan
funny
nothing
thing
to
about
deficit.
the funny thing about Reagan is his own Republican Congress repealed like 70% of his tax cuts, and that tax cut, that huge tax cut that all these Republicans rave was such a good thing that Reagan did, blew a $3 trillion hole into deficit, and that's why his own Republican Congress repealed like the vast majority of those tax cuts.
And the weird
thing, tax cuts for the rich literally do nothing for anybody who isn't rich.
And that's when Republicans cared about deficits. Ever since Cheney, they really haven't cared. At least they shouldn't. But for whatever reason, Trump has been signaling, and the Republican Party has been signaling, that if Trump gets in for a second term, they're going to be looking at entitlement reform, Social Security, these kinds of things. They're going to be looking at deficit spending and all this other kind of stuff. They're going to try to tighten their belts or all that. That's kind of classic Republican Party nonsense. Mm-hmm. Every time they do that kind of stuff, they always end up forgetting the message that they should have learned from Cheney, which is that deficits really don't matter. They actually can spend, especially in periods of crisis, and they can actually make the large amount of the population happy. And Trump did that. He did that in this particular election. He was not set up to deliver that exact same thing in his next term. In fact, if he does get in, if he manages to wiggle through some weird legal fix, I guarantee his second term, it's going to be bad, especially economically.
It won't be as bad as if Biden gets in office and increases taxes.
That would actually be quite good, especially with the way his plan is set up.
I know for people for like you, it'd probably work really well.
You can increase taxes on certain things and not reduce demand. That's sort of the weird thing about tax increases and tax cuts.
Do you make over $400,000 a year, Messenger?
No.
Then he's not going to raise your taxes. That's what he says. Unless he breaks his word and he raises your taxes.
What he's going to impact is small business owners who do make over $250,000. And he didn't say 400,000. I think his ceiling was 250,000.
No, his ceiling is 400,000.
And I don't know many small business
a lot of those
owners
people
that make
are
that
small
much.
business owners, or they're self-employed people, and those things impact the local economy. They impact local cost of goods and services in local economies.
But here's small businesses are already getting hurt right now, so he's not helping them right now.
Not because of anything that the Trump administration has done.
All right, so,
exactly. The Trump administration hasn't done anything for small businesses.
Exactly.
It's done very little to actually protect
Nothing
them.
positive nor negative. So
they actually exacerbated the problems because the PPP program that they passed for the COVID relief went mainly to large corporations. Very, very few small businesses got benefits from that.
Anything related to COVID has nothing to do with any of this.
All right,
Actually,
what
I just said.
Let me cut in real quick. I want to thank Nathan Artwork, $5 tip donation to the channel for the struggle. Thank you so much. Messenger reveals 83% of the savings from the Trump tax cut go to the top 1% wealthiest people in the nation. He has saved you very little money with his tax cuts. Joe Biden has promised that he's not going to raise taxes on anybody over $400,000 a year. Now, he promised to repeal the Trump tax cuts. In order to fulfill his promise, he would have to have a new tax code. He would have to work with that so he can keep that promise. So, that's the talking point Republicans like to give. Well, yeah, he said $400,000, but he's going to repeal the Trump tax code. No, he's taking that into account. The problem is we have to raise taxes on the super rich. What has the Trump administration done for any small business, even before the pandemic? They gave most of the tax breaks to the super rich, not to small businesses.
And most of the deductions they cut didn't benefit small businesses.
Do help because when large businesses have a lower tax burden, they're able to pay their employees better.
But they didn't.
But they don't.
Out of the $1 trillion that all these massive multinational corporations like Google and Amazon and Microsoft got, 60 or 70 something billion dollars was spent on stock repurchases. Amazon announced that they were laying off like 12,000 people. Walmart laid off 8,000 people. Verizon Wireless laid off 26,500 people. Costco laid off like 4,000 people. All these corporations bought back their own stocks, artificially inflating their value, which does nothing but benefit the shareholders and the executives whose compensation packages are almost always directly tied to stock performance, and then laid off the workers to cut costs because they weren't ever going to dump those savings into the workers. They never have at any point in the past in this country. They buy back their own stocks and they lay off workers, and that's exactly what they did this time around because they don't give a shit about you and they don't give a shit about your family. They give a shit about being as rich as the next guy and buying the fifth yacht that they can write off their taxes that they send to the Cayman Islands and don't even pay taxes on anyway.
Supporter, Google, Democrat supporter. All those big tech companies, all those companies, they're all Democratic supporting presidents and CEOs. And
well, I don't like the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party is almost as beholden to massive corporations as the Republican Party is. So what's your point? I don't think anybody here is denying that.
Well, I mean, I think that when you paint it in, you were having a conversation about Republican side and Democrat side.
No, I actually didn't mention that. I just mentioned cutting taxes on the rich doesn't do anything for us. I don't care who's cutting it.
We've been discussing the differences between a Republican administration and a Democratic administration. And you're saying you don't like the Democrats, but we weren't talking about that.
We were actually talking tax policy, which was irrelevant to whatever
party.
And
I'm just saying that we got big pay bumps because of how those things came down in the corporations.
Actually, no, that didn't happen. Walmart gave their employees like a one-time $1,000 bonus, which isn't going to do much for them anyway because it's one time. But
I'm not talking about talking about the government paying as a stimulus. I'm talking about companies giving hourly and salary increases.
They didn't though.
My company did.
Okay, that you're one company. If you look at the average of wages, they didn't increase. They didn't increase throughout 2018 after the TCJA passed.
The question was asking how this benefited me and why I think it would be better for Trump to be in office than Biden.
Oh, I think it did benefit some people. Just the fact that it benefited those people doesn't mean that it benefited broadly everybody, because it didn't.
So
there's literally no data to suggest that it did.
Let's talk about the coronavirus, because you've been holed up for a while. Do you think Trump handled the coronavirus well as president of the United States?
The only thing I don't think he handled well is going on social media and doing all those press conferences, spewing partial information and facts and making up the rest as he went along, trying to quell people's fears and make it seem like he's in charge and got it under control. As far as what he did behind the scenes, he was taking a lot of direction from the CDC and the WHO.
Seriously.
And any of his advisors, 100%. You think
seriously.
He has a clue?
In fact, he was disregarding a lot of what they were saying.
No, they didn't disregard anything what they were saying.
Yes, he did.
The information that they were saying was changing weekly and monthly. If you don't remember,
of course, that's what.
All right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
I'm just talking about the WHO and the CDC. Do you think they did a great job with the coronavirus?
Well,
yeah.
Hang on.
No, let's talk
WHO
more.
And the CDC are totally different entities, and they have completely different jurisdiction. One of the things that Trump could have done, if he wanted to enact a very quick national policy to get the virus under control and get it contained, the CDC actually has the authority to assert broad federal policy if activated in an emergency situation. Trump did not do that.
So you think when he tried to close the borders and not allow anybody to go in and out of China, that was a bad decision?
He didn't close them completely. All he did was ban certain types of foreign travel to and from China with about 14 different exceptions.
You realize that he got called a xenophobe for doing that?
No, not that situation. He was called a xenophobe because the same day that he announced that particular restriction, he had announced new restrictions for new immigrants coming in from a variety of different countries, including the Middle East. People keep conflating them. Trump himself conflated the two things on social media. If you believe that, John, you need to check into that, because you are conflating two different acts that he did in 2 different days. You are a chump for that.
You're saying they had nothing to do with the virus for the other ones that he cut off immigration.
The xenophobic comments that were coming from like Pelosi and Schumer and Biden, those were based on decisions made on the same day regarding an immigrant.
And you don't think his decision had anything to do with COVID?
They were part of his existing immigration restrictions. They were not part of COVID.
Existing, and he wouldn't be implementing them.
Exactly. But are you capable of understanding that he had 2 different policies going on at the same time? Immigration restrictions for new immigrants that wanted to come in and start to live in the country.
You're saying that they weren't related. You're saying that the second one was not related to the virus, correct?
What I'm saying is that the comments that you're talking about, in which he was accused of being xenophobic, were not related to his travel restrictions for China due to COVID. No, they were related to the new guidelines that he was issuing that were coming out of the White House regarding immigration restrictions. Those happened on the same day.
You're probably right about that. But my point was that he was doing things in relation to the virus and got called a xenophobe. Is that not fair comment?
Messenger, you need to be you need to be smarter than this. The reason that they were lumping
you mean more knowledgeable, but okay.
You need to lump these things together. The reason that they were trying to combine these things is because then Trump can turn around and say, look, I took actions on the COVID thing and they called me a xenophobe. First of all, the travel restrictions that he imposed on China had 14 different loopholes. They didn't really actually restrict that much travel. They let a lot of people in and out. There's statistics from the CDC and the FCC regarding the travel that was coming to and from the United States and Asia, specifically China, during and then after that order. The reactions in social media that accused Trump of being quote unquote xenophobic did not apply to his orders on China. In fact, later reactions from similar people, even people against him, said that they applauded his decision to restrict China travel at all. They liked it. They were talking about reactions to his immigration ban, long-term and short-term immigration, not air travel due to a COVID quarantine.
Hey guys, just to let you guys know, I guess it is buffering a lot. It seems to be a YouTube issue.
Yeah, it's on an individual basis because there has been no buffering, nothing going wrong with my YouTube. Marty says there's been nothing going on with her, so I think
it's usually people on their phones will start buffering.
It's not working for me either on my browser. So
yeah, MathPack said hashtag YouTube is down is all over Twitter, so it does seem to be like an issue that YouTube is having. Because like my feed looks good. When I switched it over to my YouTube Studio, it says excellent connection, but I would see some occasional buffering there. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. We're gonna continue going. Yes, we'll continue as if everything's running well, and hopefully YouTube will figure their shit out.
One thing you'd be interested to know, one of the channels that it linked, and you might also be interested when I pulled up your stream, was Liberty University, who's also having a live stream right now, and who also 40 or 50% of the people can't get in to watch it. I just thought it was funny that they linked Liberty University stream to your stream.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, a little bit of buffering, it looks through the shit, but yeah, we'll continue. So yeah, like, I know that you and Jefferson were going at it, Messenger, and I kind of derailed it. But like Trump on the corona, like it's out there. Like it was disinformation, dismissive. He thought it was going to hurt him politically. On February 10th, he states that the virus will go away in April with the heat. Like, seriously, February 26th, mocks washing hands and compares the virus to the flu. How is he listening to the CDC on February 26th if he's mocking washing hands and wearing masks?
No, what I said
comparing it to the flu.
A lot of the information that he had was from the WHO and from the CDC early on, or from his people who were on his staff.
Everybody knew early on, mask and wash your hands. That's the first thing they fucking said.
And he was parroting information. And then, yes, he would go on and say outrageously
February 28th, he accuses Democrats of politicizing the coronavirus, calls it a hoax.
Talking, come on.
Well, I'm just saying, like, how did he handle this well?
Well, we also have to note that he straight up told Bob Woodward on tape, and we literally have the recordings, that he knew the whole time that this was something that was serious, and that he was purposefully downplaying it because he didn't want people to panic.
He was going to have a.
And at least you're here. Where the fuck is Victor at? That coward was talking more shit than you were.
So anyway, in a week before his election, he was saying that they would have a vaccine within 2 weeks. I mean, we that shit's just stupid ass shit. He says.
Well, he didn't say he'd have a vaccine in 2 weeks. He said it'd fucking go away in April with the heat. That's what he fucking
like Trump, or is Messenger talking about Trump?
Yes.
Well, wait.
Okay.
His exact words were, "You'll have very, very good news in 2 weeks," which, to his credit, he is not wrong, because just yesterday, Pfizer dropped a story where they said that they have very encouraging news about the vaccine, and they believe it'll be out before the end of the year.
Yeah, but that's not in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was only the good news. That's only, I believe, a trial vaccine.
His rallies was saying there would be a vaccine within 2 weeks.
And the trial vaccine, I mean, from what I've heard of it, it's something pushed through that you might not really want to take.
Well, you can take it. It's just its effectiveness is like.
Wait.
I either heard it was 50% or 80%, so it's not fully effective.
No. 2 weeks from when? 2 weeks from now?
The announcement that came out. The announcement that came out from BioNTech and Pfizer was that the vaccine that they've been working on, it's a double dose vaccine, and it is 90% effective if you get both dosages. At least as far as they know now. So they're fast tracking that. Supposedly they're going to be able to get anywhere from 15 to 25 million dosages out by the end of the year. and they're hoping to get 1.3 billion additional dosages out to the public by next year.
And
So
the problem
going
that's
into
gonna
next-
the problem that's gonna arise from this is how much is it gonna fucking cost for people to get it in the United States? Because it's not gonna be free, and we all know that.
Yeah,
Which
how are
is
you
a
going to
shame.
distribute it? He says he's going to use the military to distribute it. On March 30th, he said that we're going to go through a very tough 2 weeks. At the end of that 2 weeks, we're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But this is going to be a very hard 2 weeks. That was March 30th. It is November 11th. Have we seen the light at the end of the tunnel yet, Messenger?
No, it's gotten significantly. We're at 250,000 people dead and over 100,000 new cases a day.
Not only that, but epidemiologists are going to continue to recommend that the general public continue to socially distance, maintain, try to self-quarantine as much as possible, and wear masks whenever
Wash
possible,
hands, yeah.
even after there's a broad release of the vaccine, because it's going to take anywhere from 5 to 7 weeks for people who are receiving the dosages to attain any kind of immunity, and they're going to be interacting with each other. So if they just decide to run wild, and with the vaccines, most of them are not going to work. They have to give them time to actually take effect.
Or you could go the other route Trump offered, Jefferson, on April 23rd, and I quote, he said, "Bring the light inside of the body, which you could do through the skin or some other way. I see the disinfectant knocks it out in a minute. Is there a way we can do something like that through injection or a cleaning, something like that? I mean, you could try that way, Messenger. Did that work out?
You have to slide a UVC light.
Come the fuck on, Messenger Reveals.
No, we just don't have a vaccine. Like we
have to give your rectum a suntan, and it'll be fixed.
Funnily enough, we don't have rectum suntans either.
But we do have anal bleaching. So
we have anal suntanning.
I'm gonna bleach my asshole.
No, I
was he following the CDC? That's my question.
I believe he was taking data and information when he was sharing information from both the WHO and the CDC. I didn't say that he only reported on those
countering their information. He was directly countering the information of the CDC.
When, like I said, he was being completely hyperbolic about things going away quickly and we're getting control of it and all that kind of bullshit. And he didn't think it was going to hit the United States like it did.
Trump seems
which
to
is
be
ignorant as fuck.
A lot of hyperbolic.
But that's the thing that.
What are you doing, Rage?
Is that they told him in very specific terms it's going to hit the U.S. very badly, and they let him know it's going to hit us from both fronts, from the East Coast and from the West Coast. Yeah. And he didn't do anything about it. What he did do something about it.
February or March.
His stock portfolio.
And he also told the reporter that he was downplaying it. So he knew how bad it was. He was downplaying it on purpose.
So people wouldn't freak out. And the reason why
in honor of flashlights up the butt.
I'm not banging boys in the butt. I'm not banging boys in the butt.
I mean,
have we
Messenger,
not, like,
come the fuck on, dude.
Have we not heard about like the hippie thing? Where,
why are you replaying the stream on the
where
stream?
people put sun on their buttholes? Like, have we not heard about this?
It's a way to maximize your.
What's going on with your?
It's maximizing your chakra. So like,
you gotta get. It's the third eye.
Yeah, the third eye.
I think it's also worth mentioning that in 2018. Trump disbanded I can't remember what it was called, but it was a pandemic response team or something like that.
I think that's actually what their title was. It was the White House Pandemic Response Team.
And the funny thing is there was a clip of Obama talking about why he had formed. He either formed it. I don't know if he formed it or if he just like ramped it up a little bit.
No,
but
I think
said that the reason. What was that?
George W. Bush did.
Okay, but I think Obama like dumped some extra funding in it or something, and in 2014 or 2016, he was giving a message and he was saying, at some point, there's probably going to come a new virus or sickness or something that's going to tear across the country and it's going to cause a pandemic, and we need to be ready to be able to handle that. Like he literally pretty much predicted, so to speak. Obviously, I'm not being serious when I said it because he didn't literally predict it. This COVID-19 pandemic, and Trump disbanded that response team that could have probably helped. And he also pulled people out of China that were there to help try to figure out what this virus is, how it works, where exactly it came from, and just pulled them right out and brought them back to the United States, which didn't do much to help us learn about this.
Right, and then blamed the WHO for a lack of transparency. It's like you had observers in the country. They could have given that information.
Yeah, and what Obama was passing on to him was something that was in a from the Office of Defense Intelligence, I think it's what it's called. They do a report every 4 to 5 years where they try to predict what's going to happen 20 to 25 years in the future in terms of trends, right? And one of the black swans they said was specifically that they anticipate a breakout or a pandemic of a new or novel virus that we either cannot or we can't currently fight or can't easily detect. So it's going to move quickly. And this one was both of those things, right?
Yes. What's disturbing is that there was a clip of Sam Harris. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was just before the 2016 election. And Joe Rogan was asking him about why should a person vote for Clinton versus Trump? And one of the reasons that he brought up about not voting for somebody like Trump was because Trump was demonstrably anti-science, and he believed that we were overdue for a pandemic. When you watch that clip, that particular portion of it, it is very eerily prophetic.
And it happened.
Well, I mean, the math
Sam Harris, the prophet.
He
math
disbanded the
was due up.
pandemic team. Like, I don't know what else you want to say about it. He did disband the pandemic team. Like,
Yeah, just decided that was a waste of money. Don't need that. And then the actual pandemic playbook that had been compiled over 16 years of administrative experience from a lot of the same team members, fine-tuned for things like Ebola, but it had kind of started with the H1N1 thing. I believe that was the first one. Maybe it was SARS-CoV-1.
It was the Spanish flu back in 1902.
oh yeah, okay.
Some of that does inform epidemiologists, but the 4 or 5 outbreaks that happened, and the one that was actually really scary for them was H1N1 because it was almost a novel flu. Turned out to not be as bad as they thought, but either one of those could have become pandemics. Fortunately, MERS, which is very lethal, it's a relative.
Has a low transmission rate.
It has a very low transmission rate. It's not as communicable as.
But it has a 30% fatality rate.
Yeah,
it's a motherfucker.
We are lucky that the fatality rate of SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19 is relatively low as it is. We are ungodly. There's already a quarter of a million. This number needs to be repeated like 1 million times. 250,000 people just here in the United States have died. 250,000.
That's not a whole lot.
Per capita, we're ahead of
That's
anybody.
not a whole lot of people.
Nope.
Sorry.
Not a whole lot at all.
No, what I'm saying is Trump didn't listen to-
9/11 wasn't a whole lot of people. We don't need to remember that. It was it was a small event. Yeah, it's going. Yeah, 9/11 wasn't.
Sit for 3 or 4 minutes. It'll drop you in. But and to the point that Trump doesn't listen to any of his actual advisors, they also advised him that this year there was going to be an economic crash no matter what. That's why he was so worried about the only reason he was worried about the economy was because he wanted to get reelected. But he swore up and down that he could stave off an economic crash. But they told him it's going to happen. The best you can do is put in policies right now that will buffer us against that.
I was muted. What was going to cause the economic crash?
Because capitalism has this funny thing about it. On average, every 4 to 7 years, there's an economic crash. There's an economic downturn, serious economic downturn in every capitalist economy in the world, every 4 to 7 years. It'd been 8 years since the last serious downturn that we had. That means it's overdue.
In the 4 to 7 range.
We're outside of that. On average, 4 to 7. You have to listen to entire.
It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's not. Doesn't make it inevitable.
On average, in the entire history of.
I realize what you're saying, but you just said it was outside of those 4 to 7 years. So yeah, obviously we were becoming some type of anomaly.
So once you start going beyond that 7-year average, you're more and more and more likely to have the more likely and more serious of a economic crash. And they were letting him know there's going to be an economic downturn. But he was like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And what happened? An economic downturn and a pandemic happened at the exact same time.
You don't think they're related? You think they're mutually
The economic downturn was already happening before the pandemic happened.
You need to ask Messenger what he thinks about these things before you rebuke him, because he's not like you're rebuting points that he's not making.
They do that often.
Yeah.
No, I knew what he was going to say. It's called you don't think they happen together, which he already said
your
that
points
before.
are really fucking simple, and you won't voice them because you think you're gaining more points by letting people go on about them. Just tell people how you feel.
I feel lucky.
See what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's like you could have like just a little bingo list right there. You're gonna fill that card in no time.
So we've talked the coronavirus for 20 minutes, and a lot of people are having buffering. Hopefully, YouTube is going to work their stuff out. It's not on my end; it's on YouTube's end. And that's basically what I said when I was muted to the audience. You guys still heard me. I had myself muted to the audience. But we've been talking about coronavirus for 30 minutes, and pretty much the only reason that you gave that Trump handled it well and would be better than Joe Biden.
I didn't say he handled it well.
No, you literally did at the very beginning of all of this
literally
bullshit.
Didn't.
I waited for you to do it so I could start giving you my shit.
Then do it again. Just do it again. Like, just do it again. Is there any skin off your back to just do it again? Like, just tell people how you feel.
Do you still think that Donald Trump handled the coronavirus well?
Do I think he handled it well? I think he handled it as well as a president could.
What? And there's his real point. Like,
did anyone else here live through the Ebola outbreak?
Even though there were at least two presidents.
I think it's hilarious when people villainize a president, Democrat or Republican, over things they have very little control over.
He actually had a lot of control.
Did Donald Trump release the virus into the world?
So much more. He could have saved so many lives, Messenger.
Yeah, Messenger, they've been telling you.
Hypothetical, but you have no evidence to support the
They've
hypothetical.
literally been telling you what he knew about it, what he could have done.
Not part of the we,
and you're just ignoring what people are telling you. Like,
hang on.
What you're doing.
I'm not ignoring it.
Go ahead.
Messenger, let's be concrete about this. The hypothetical is not. There's not some fantasy situation in which Trump just opened up a jar and just released COVID into the population. No one's suggesting that, and anyone that does is an idiot. What's actually being suggested here is that there were two presidents over 2 terms, 16 years, nearly 2 decades of experience that had pandemic responses built into place that we know for a fact he didn't bother to follow, and in fact defunded as soon as he got elected into office, as soon as he walked in, like right in that first year. And by the time he was sending this off to any of his advisors, namely Kushner, it was being written off as not a particularly big issue. They weren't going to follow that particular playbook. They had a playbook that was signed off by the CDC, coordinated with their federal response teams, and coordinated with USAMRIID, which is the United States military.
I don't think he knows 3 or 4 sentences deep. So like,
okay, so that's while that stuff happened.
Hey, turn your camera on.
It's demonstrable.
Okay, I will.
Yoga.
I can't
give.
I'm not gonna turn my camera on now, given the fact that YouTube.
You're not that ugly, dude.
Imploded.
You're not that ugly.
Holy shit, yoga though.
Jefferson is known for stripping on camera, Messenger.
Yes.
I thought that was Dragnot.
No, that's Dragnot's thing. I acted out of character. I tried to pull a Gavin Herleman / Dragnot, and it didn't work.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah.
Ever seen Gavin in a wife beater and he's like laying back in bed and his nasty ass armpits?
I've seen him without. I've seen him taking off the wife beater. Stained.
Whoa.
It's not a good look. But anyway, no. I mean, it's demonstrable that Trump did not follow this protocol. And
I'm on cam now, Messenger. What's up?
Very good. I can see your facial expressions.
Does that prove my point more?
Now I can read your body language.
Does it? Yeah. Okay. Go for it, bro.
Unless there's a delay. So don't read too much into it.
Well, she doesn't have her little ears on tonight.
We can look at how other world leaders handled this and measure that against how Trump handled it and tell that Trump obviously did not do. He did less than half of what he should have done. Other countries handled this way better than he could have ever hoped to handle it.
There could have been federal tracking, but he didn't implement that. He did. Now, here's the thing. as a conservative president, he left it to the states, which is fine. But here's the issue with that is like, okay, leave it up to the states to do that. But then when you sit on the sidelines and then bitch about the states that were having issues like Michigan was having in Detroit, complain about lockdowns when it's out of control, that doesn't make any sense. Then when they turn around and ask for federal money because they operate on fixed budgets, and then you bitch about them operating irresponsibly because they're spending too much money during
those moves, those comments and moves were all political based. That's it.
Okay,
but
so,
they affected real people's lives.
And the effect that they had was to demoralize the rest of the country and
everything
to tell
affects
people
everybody's lives. They know it too.
But when you make a decision that can kill hundreds of thousands of people,
hang on,
you're
Papa.
responsible.
I want to ask this question, Messenger. What you're saying is you support somebody that was legitimately playing people.
Who says I support Trump at all?
You said that you supported him over Biden.
So do
I
you
didn't
not
support him over. I never
so
said I supported him over Biden. Nakasuchi knows that I don't have any support for one political party or another. I'm neither a Republican or a Democrat.
He would be a better president.
And then Nakasuchi asked
I don't know that.
Nakasuchi asked the specific question then because that was my position of, hey, who do you think makes a better president?
You come in and talk a lot of shit when you're a keyboard warrior, and then when it's time to come in and face the fire, you're like, well, I'm this moderate.
I'm the only one here facing fire. I'm the only one here facing fire, and I think I handle y'all pretty well.
No, you move the goalposts. That's what.
I don't move goalposts. You guys shotgun blast and hope you hit something, but nothing ever hit me. It bounces off me like rubber.
And then when you're wrong,
zero
you go
effect.
Hey, Insect 212. I'm not sure. I've never seen you try to come in. You're not connecting. So I'm not sure what's going on with you.
YouTube is struggling to come back. The video is starting to display. It's starting to display, so it's coming back.
Yeah. So
dealing with. Why are you guys all like bundled up? Like I'm in like short sleeve, and you guys are in like hoodies and long sleeve sweaters.
Because we don't live in the middle of the fucking desert.
This isn't the middle of the desert. It's just a desert. Why are you wearing long sleeve? Your mute's on, girly.
Because Knock lives right next to the Great White North, and I live just below him.
I live in the desert. It's okay to wear.
I thought Puff lived in the desert, like the Nevada desert.
It's
no,
like
I'm from Nevada. I got family in Arizona. I live in Iowa, where Leo can attest. It gets fucking frigid air in the winter.
You live with the children of the corn?
We are the children of the corn.
That's the thing is also for the person that tried to disparage Leo and try to say that he went on some kind of like fucking gift certificate fucking scholarship. No,
are you talking
Leo
about
was
Smokey?
Yeah, Leo simply
made a
racist without
statement.
losing any limbs inside of the corn thrasher, so they let him go on to secondary school.
Well, I was only in college for a semester at a community college for agriculture and dropped out because I didn't like it. But Smokey made a pretty racially charged statement that how did he say why am I drawing a blank on affirmative action education?
Yeah, that's why
we all know Smokey's a racist and a misogynist and a complete and utter fucking dumbass. So
Leo Fliss, isn't there a modern day debate for you to run to?
No.
Are you intimidated by?
I don't care about whatever.
Are you intimidated by a strong, intelligent young black man, Messenger?
Mixed.
The only thing that you said correctly was that he was a young black man.
Mixed. Man, you're such a dick.
He's a mutt. He's just a different mutt than the rest of us mutts.
Wait, no, so you're accusing me of doing a thing, Messenger. You're accusing me of doing a thing, and I'm not, because you're the one that came back out of oblivion to troll about Trump in my side chats. Am I correct?
Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
Element to it because I know that what I was saying was irking people.
Yeah, you were trolling and fucking with people's heads, just like I've been saying for a week.
But at the same time, I can still have a legitimate conversation about the things on your live stream.
That's what I'm trying to flesh out. You see, I prepared for you
and I'm trying
Victor.
to answer the questions, but every time I partially answer a question, some dumbass jumps on it and starts red herring, going down a rabbit trail,
without anybody jumping in.
I never said anything about.
Without anybody jumping in. Messenger, I would like to hear your thoughts on Donald Trump's zero tolerance policy.
What's his zero tolerance policy?
How do you not know what his zero tolerance policy is?
Because I don't follow politics that much.
Separating
Zero
children
tolerance
from their
for pineapple on
parents
pizza.
at the southern border.
No shit.
Kids
a
in
tough one.
cages. You've never heard this before,
All
Messenger.
right, let me take some time.
Because I think I've gotten some shit from you for calling Trump a fascist, have I not?
Trump isn't a fascist.
All right, so we'll talk about that next. So tell me about the zero tolerance
fascist.
policy.
I know. We got a lot of rabbit holes to go down, don't we? So anyway, as far as a policy for separating children from their parents at the border, that's a tough one. Because as a humanitarian, you feel for the kids. At the same time,
but not the parents.
If you realize where the kids were in their countries, it was worse than them being separated from their parents.
Whoa.
In regard to
what?
No, you're not going to keep interrupting me 5 seconds when I say something and then fucking jump to some stupid ass conclusions.
Yeah, let him finish.
So
no, I'm just saying.
But you said a stupid ass thing.
You said they were in better conditions.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let him finish. Let him finish. Hold on.
The majority of people, especially crossing in my state, are trying to escape the oppression and the abuse and the fear and the tyranny from their criminally controlled country.
How do you think it ended up like that?
How did Mexico end up like that?
No.
They're not coming from Mexico,
more so
I'm
Central
talking
and South
specific,
America.
but we're talking about specifically my state, which is Arizona, which borders Mexico.
Yeah, but the refugees that are showing up are not coming from Mexico. They're going through
just
Mexico.
because
They're coming from
brown doesn't
they're coming
mean
from
Mexican.
Nicaragua, Salvador,
Ecuador.
They're coming from. They're coming from, and actually, like specifically Nicaragua, Honduras, and Salvador. I believe Honduras now is the murder capital of the world.
Yep. Yeah, they're trying to escape the cartels and.
Yeah, they're horrible. I mean, South America as a whole is horrible. We do a lot of listen, let me finish my statement. Our company does a lot of business down in Argentina and Peru, Chile, and there is all kinds of corruption going on there. Like I said, I'm a project controls specialist, which means that I manage all the financials, the numbers, the trends, everything that has to do with a project's numbers. And the stuff that we have to do for countries down there is crazy.
Do you know why?
What?
Do you know why?
Yeah, criminals running those countries.
Those particular countries were actually taken over during the 60s and 70s by a little group called the Chicago Boys. The United States foreign policy was to send economic advisors down there.
Office. I'll be right back.
You know what they say, Jefferson? Socialism works on paper, but in the real world, it gets taken out by a CIA coup.
Exactly. I mean, those countries specifically are actually, and this is one of the reasons why Honduras is in the state that it's in. The United States for the last 40 to 50 years has backed a lot of weird coups and backed a lot of supposedly conservative regimes. Usually there were military juntas in order to support some kind of like free market ideology, because usually what would end up happening is that you'd end up getting a left-wing politician in there who was quite a populist. The public would vote for him, and that populist would do what? They would
restrict the country.
They would nationalize resources and restrict the country, restrict access to the country, which
by
is
the
exactly
U.S. So we couldn't go there and rape them for their resources. So the CIA is
exactly
like, all right, let's take out another socialist, guys.
That's exactly what capitalists do not want. So if you open it up for somebody like Pinochet and assholes like that and Bolsonaro, you end up getting the basket case countries down below.
And isn't Duterte running one of those countries down there?
No, he's the Philippines.
That's the Philippines.
Oh yeah, he's Philippines. Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about, because Robert Allende is still alive and strong. He's leading Chile to a bright future. Wait, Chile, is that the country that those military juntas that he talked about? Yeah, those were formed specifically to take out people like Robert Allende.
I'm talking about the country, like just like earlier this week. The Congress voted to oust the president because the president started investigating members of Congress.
I think you're talking about Bolivia.
There you go, Bolivia. Yeah.
No, all I was saying is those countries are destabilized and in the situation they are because we made that happen in the name of capitalism.
We don't want to talk about that too much.
We tried to free up these countries too hard.
I want to hone in on Messenger's remarks about being better off in jail than they were in their former countries.
They weren't in jail. The children were not in jail. The immigrant adults were in a so-called jail. The children were placed in levels of foster care.
Whoa!
No, they were detained and put in cages.
Foster cages. They were placed in
guys.
cages.
They're not in cages. These kids are literally in concentration camps.
Yeah, the concentration
They were
not literally.
It's
in
not
concentration
cages.
camps.
Messenger reveals
Fences,
they're still
okay.
Do you guys have photos of these
they're still
concentration
being
camps?
they're
There's
still
video
being
of it
Not
all over the
many.
internet.
Like, we
The Trump
really do.
administration does. They blame
Get
them
some-
on the
get some
Obama
drones
administration.
over those concentration camps.
It's still Trump's policy to put these children in jail. There are clear indications that the
Concentration
administration
camp?
is still pursuing a family detention option, which would keep the families together, but in jail, Messenger.
Concentration camps?
Which it could also apply to families that seek asylum at ports of entry, legal immigration. Beyond these measures, the Trump administration has imposed further deterrence to even making application for asylum almost impossible. Asylum seekers have been forced to stay on the other side of the border for days. They can't even get into the country, and once
How
they're
about we stop reading propaganda and you
once
just
they
give me your
get to
opinion?
once they get to the legal ports, Messenger, they're being told
Propaganda.
that the U.S. is not
It's not
taking any
propaganda.
more asylum
Yes, it
seekers. So we are
not
breaking international law with this
Listen,
policy.
if you guys get some concentration camp pictures and give me a location,
They're already up there.
I'll get some of my military buddies.
What do
and
you
we'll go
want
bust
us
them.
like? What do you want to? Oh, you will? Your military buddies will bust in there and save those
We're
kids.
gonna go bust them kids out, and we're
Hang
gonna
on,
take
military's
wherever
the
you
one
want them
that
to go.
will
Hang on, the Trump administration.
How about back to
released
their
photos-
families, bitch? Like, I'm sorry.
Their families are in jail, and they don't want to go back to Mexico.
The Trump
Can I
administration
share my
released
screen,
photos
Doc?
of those cages to prove
No.
that the Obama administration
Why not?
had built them for them,
I have
and then
to share
photos
screen.
came out later on that the Trump administration had thankfully filled them with immigrants, right? And refugees. That was essentially. There are photos, plenty of photos, and if you
Yeah, I literally just get a Google search for border camps, and I'm seeing pictures
depending
of
on the source you go
concentration
to.
camps.
Also, there's another problem. Most of the stuff is motivated by the fact that the right wing has put out this publicity campaign about so-called catch and release. The idea is if somebody crosses the border illegally, they end up getting picked up by immigration. It's basically an automatic misdemeanor, and they get a bench warrant. They have to show up before a judge. They usually end up citing that they've got someplace to stay, usually with an extended relative, and they go there. If they don't show up at the court date to actually defend their case and make an appeal for asylum, a warrant is issued for their arrest, they are tracked down, and they are deported. Supposedly, none of this stuff was happening fast enough for the Obama administration, so they decided to just tuck them into cages, separate parents from their kids, and perform this crazy-ass border security theater to trigger the libs. And it worked.
All right, so Messenger, you can see that. You can see that, Messenger, right?
Where are those places at? Where's the locations?
These are photos of your concentration camps.
In Arizona?
No, there's. Yeah, there's.
They're
I
all along
believe
the
there's
border.
one in Arizona. There's one also down in Florida. So they are flying these people to
There's some in
Florida
Georgia,
from the
too.
border.
Is it not funny to anybody else that Messenger will say that he won't look up this shit, but he'll also have his military buddies come in and bust in to save them?
Yes,
like, is that not
also-
funny to anybody else?
I'll be waiting for that military action, Messenger.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that there was a whole ass congressional hearing because these people weren't giving soap; they were getting very little food and water. There's been literally hundreds of cases of rampant sexual abuse. They weren't getting toothpaste. They were sleeping on
saying
concrete
these
floors
kids are
with
being
nothing
sexually
but
abused in the
aluminum,
concentration
with
camp.
nothing but aluminum blankets and bright ass lights.
You're making
these are concentration camps.
assertions that these kids are being sexually abused in these concentration camps.
They are.
He's not making them. He's just repeating that those allegations
I
were
mean,
made.
what we're seeing is Messenger just denying that he doesn't, denying that he cares about this at all.
It's like saying,
So-
do you have evidence that the Jews are being gassed in these chain link partitions that we put them in? That's all I'm hearing.
I think there was evidence of that stuff.
Yeah, there's evidence of this stuff too. You just saw some.
I don't think that's evidence.
What's the evidence
No, it
of? Is it just like a NASA like?
That sounds like a flat earther
moon
saying,
plot,
"Oh well,
like-
that NASA picture of the Earth as a sphere isn't evidence because NASA's big government conspiracy yada yada rama rama ding dong. I'm a fucking idiot."
That didn't happen in America. That happened somewhere else. And
On
I
this
don't
day
want
that
to care
President
about it.
Biden-
That's a horrible Southern
I have
accent,
to
girl.
say that
Points.
Boy,
points to whoever
I
said
live in the
Obama
South.
won.
Like I can.
How do you live in the South and talk not like a Southerner?
Like the Southerner? Yeah, go
Southerner.
for it. Go for it, bro.
Not everybody in the South doesn't talk like rednecks. Only rednecks talk.
Yeah,
like
they do. They're backward ass country folk.
I'm
in
from the
Texas,
South.
and
Do I
don't
talk like a
fucking
redneck?
All states
Sometimes,
talk, all
Yeah,
states
especially when you're angry.
All states talk different, dude. All states talk different. Like You must be from, I don't know, the Midwest. I don't know. You are from Arizona, so.
Arizona is not the Midwest, but I am from the Midwest.
Oh, okay.
I'm from Michigan.
People who live in like fucking Kentucky
That
talk different than
explains it.
people who live in Texas.
Like,
What did he just say?
Insect
Oh,
404.
definitely.
I don't know who you are. You're hanging around in the back room. You're not connecting. I don't need that spot yet, but if I need the spot, I'm gonna have to boot you, my dude.
Who you booting?
Well, just the guy that can't connect in the back room. If I need the spot, or we still got 2 spots open, so.
So who'd you say is the first to go?
No, it's the guy backstage.
Yeah, there's a guy backstage that can't connect. So.
Gotcha.
Is that more the
On this day to thank all veterans, I have to say, fuck
You're
Trump
welcome.
for saying that guys who died for our country are suckers.
Jesus.
I can agree
Tell us
with
how you
that.
really feel.
I mean,
I think I know where he's going with that.
I don't think I'm too far in disagreement. That Messenger didn't like that. He got that
wait, is
face.
Messenger, are you in the military?
I'm prior service.
What branch?
I was in the Air Force.
Nice. Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I served from 91 to 95.
Very
The Air
cool.
Force is the suede shoe of the armed forces.
See, the Air Force. Hi, I'm drunk. The Air Force would say that was the name.
You're drunk again?
I'm always drunk.
Why you drink as much as I do? What the hell?
I was gonna say, Messenger, you're always drunk too. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't drink until usually later into the evening.
Speaking of drunk, I'm gonna. I will be away from my keyboard for just a second.
God damn, y'all have alcohol, and here I am just struggling.
Yeah, you and a beer would be like all tipsy.
Do
Skinny
you
motherfucker.
know how much beer I drink? I live in
Messenger,
Iowa.
you are such a bully. You're like the biggest bully ever.
Well, that's how you have to treat the left wing, because otherwise you don't get a word in edgewise.
What the heck? I've been letting you talk hella much.
Yeah, we let you talk a lot with a
You're
bunch of
right.
bullshit.
If I didn't talk, then this would be completely fucking boring. Come on.
Well, that's why you're here.
You know,
Exactly.
I'm getting to fascism, so you've just totally like. How do you feel? How do you feel that Donald Trump is denying legal immigration, denying asylum seekers? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about?
I don't
do
know if
you
that's
think
true,
it's
and if
healthy?
it is true.
It is
If
true.
it
Do
is
you
true,
think
it
it's
is
healthy
true.
for children 5 years and younger to be put in jail in any circumstance?
Concentration camps?
Concentration camps.
I'm sorry, that's what they fucking are. They're
Wait, let's not
concentration
call them
camps.
concentration camps. Let's just call them
Chain
10
link
by 4
partitions.
10 by 4 chain link partitions with aluminum
Yes.
foil blanket.
I'm gonna go do some research on your guys' concentration camps.
We just got to look up the definition of a concentration
Does
camp.
that-
and
would you put
that's
your
what
kid?
they are.
Would you put your kid in a chain link fence with a foil blanket? I wouldn't put my kid in one.
Well, I don't think any parent would put their kid in those things.
Well, if your
But-
kid was going to get murdered by a gang member,
If there was a choice between my kid being around the corruption that goes down in Mexico, as far as I know from the friends that I have that have family down there,
Honduras,
and from between that and them being in one of these because their parents were taken away by trying to get them in the country illegally, I'd rather have them in
Wait.
these places.
really, you would like?
But I
You
think,
would,
but I think it's horrible. I mean, their situation's fucked either way. It really is, and it's sad.
yeah, we should make it better, right? Like,
How
I
do
think-
tell me how
Actually-
we should make it better?
I think the situation that they were going for was that they would be able to apply for refugee status and stay here with their kids, raise them, and get jobs and stuff, and pay taxes.
Totally. And contribute to our society.
Kind of benign. It's a crazy idea, but I think
there's
it's a word.
I mean,
Fucking
I don't-
YouTube
I mean,
is still
have
going
you guys
haywire.
have you guys ever seen day workers in Arizona?
Yes.
what about them?
The majority of them are illegal.
Yeah, so we shouldn't put their kids in fucking cages, right?
I'm just saying, there's a lot of people here who we give jobs to and give money to
Oh.
do certain jobs that are day laborers, and they do an amazing job.
Okay, so how is that? What is that? Okay, so we actually have two different policies happening here. One is an immigration policy, and one is labor laws. The fact that this is the kind of labor that we can have in a society, we just basically accept it because this is how a capitalist economy works when it comes to hiring people, versus like dealing with refugees who are literally fleeing countries that are unsafe, largely because of decisions our government made.
Yeah, we can talk about that later, but like,
You think that their
That's a big
countries are
difference.
screwed up because of the decisions the United States made?
Oh, they definitely
By and
are.
large, yes. Honduras.
they are, but that's not the point.
The situation in Honduras is actually based on a lot of foreign policy that a lot of it came from Hillary Clinton.
We lost.
Hillary would never do anything like
thing.
that.
Or no, we didn't lose.
Wait, are you both a Hillary fan and a Trump fan?
Well, they both are. Trump's a fascist. Hillary's a semi-fascist. So I mean,
I guess
Hillary's
it's
an
not
evil
too
bitch.
far off. No.
Hillary
Why do you call her a bitch?
Because she is a evil
okay,
bitch.
let's be honest.
But
She
you
is
just
an
said
evil,
that she would. You
conniving
just
bitch.
said she would never do that. You literally just out of your mouth said she
Wait,
would never do that.
She would never do what?
I was being
Put
sarcastic.
kids. Oh,
I
okay.
think- I
Okay.
think-
All right. Okay.
I
I'm
was being
sorry.
sarcastic.
Okay.
A lot of her policies way back when were about the same. Like the Clinton administration was all about border control and saying a lot of the stuff that Trump did when he was running for election in 2016.
Listen, leftists don't like Hillary Clinton that much.
Yeah.
Just so
Why do you
know.
think she lost in 2016? Because the leftists
But,
didn't fucking
but
vote for
leftists
her.
don't like Joe Biden either.
No, we
No,
don't.
we don't.
But we dislike Trump more.
Yeah,
We'd rather
we
neoliberalism
had-
than fascism, my guy.
We
Like-
had
like they came out
4
with a
years
report.
4 years of Trump, and most of the
Not-
leftists that wouldn't vote for Hillary was like, "Fuck it, we ain't doing this shit again."
Yeah. There's a really, really good point that needs to be made here, because anybody who's actually read leftist theory, like Vladimir Lenin and Mao Zedong and Friedrich Engels and Karl Marx, knows that they would have said the same exact thing. They would have said anything that prevents you from moving further to the right is a benefit to society overall and is much better for a true socialist movement, because it gives you that bourgeois democratic foundation upon which a socialist movement is constructed. You can't build a socialist movement in a fascist country. So if you have to vote for a bourgeois neoliberal corporatist over a fascist, you vote for the bourgeois neoliberal corporatist, because for socialism and a socialist movement can better thrive and can be better built under such conditions. So
And
that's why
Messenger-
leftists voted for Joe Biden. But with Hillary Clinton, we didn't really know what Trump was going to do. Some leftists thought, you know what, hey, maybe Trump will kind of shake things up and, you know, it might help us. Now we realize, hey, yeah, no, that was definitely
And
that was
we
definitely
vote that way
wrong,
to
but
prop
yeah.
up people like you, Messenger. We don't do it just to like own the Republicans. We do it because we support people like you. Like,
And to make it
put
to
that
make
out
it even,
there.
to hammer it home even more, Noam Chomsky supported people voting for Biden. I've never heard him do anything like that before, and even he was like, "Yeah, if it just means voting against Trump."
It's because
Probably
it's
do that.
fascism. You know, it's blatant fucking fascism. Messenger,
There's
you
no
give me shit.
fascism.
I just pointed out a policy
no-
that you
I mean,
just
it's
said, I don't
pragmatism.
know about that. I just pointed out his zero tolerance, fascist ass immigration policy. So you tell me, how is Trump not a fascist?
Because he didn't eliminate the Democratic Party while he was in office.
That-
And he didn't
that-
lock up all the Democrats, and he didn't have them assassinated and killed.
Wait,
shit
wait.
Mussolini
So
would've
so
did.
it can't be fascist
That
while
shit
people are being
Mussolini would've
assassinated.
did.
Okay,
That shit-
it's true
that
he
shit
didn't
hit-
do that. It's true he didn't do that, but he tried his damnedest to.
No, come on.
It doesn't matter that he didn't do that. Do you understand what fascism is?
Yeah, it's
What is it?
basically the stuff that was started by the Italian.
And he's not out of
yep.
office yet, so we'll actually wait to see if he does convince
Wait,
Barr
I'm
to
curious.
actually
He
arrest Joe
might.
Biden.
I am curious, like Messenger, what is fascism to you? Like,
Fascism is basically a extreme version of a dictatorship.
so like, what does that mean? Like, what does
I would say
do?
I would say the people that I see as the closest to being fascist are people like Kim Jong-un, people like Mussolini, people like Hitler that actually fucking execute people when you disagree with them.
Oh yeah, they were fascists, totally.
So you like
So-
like the acts of execution.
But I think that's a huge piece of it. Unless you're really suppressing your opposition through murder of some sort, then you're
Does
really
it
not a
have to be
fascist.
murder? Does it have to
No,
be
it,
murder?
it doesn't. It just
Well,
has
I
to be
mean-
forcible.
Well, I know, Leo. I know that you know what fascism is, but like
Messenger
like,
doesn't. Yeah.
Like,
You guys
is
can
it
bend,
the?
you guys can bend
well,
the
like-
rules, but
But like Trump wanted the media.
You
Like
guys
Trump,
should be
Trump
able to
literally
call
wanted us to stop counting votes. Is that not?
how many ists
A little-
and isms? How many ists and isms
I
do
didn't
you want to
say
sit
an
there and
ist or an
place on
ism.
him?
I didn't
Well, I'm
say
just
an ist
saying.
or an
Do you
ism.
really want me to go
Well,
down that list?
If they're true, then
I'm sure you could.
Authoritarian,
if they're
nationalist,
true and they
American
apply and it's fascism, you should.
Totalitarian.
All right, so I'm going to help you out a little bit. I'm not going to give you, because I usually give the the dictionary definition. I'm going to give you a definition given by Jason Stanley, professor of philosophy at Yale University, who wrote the book How Fascism Works. His definition of fascism is the cult of the leader who promises national restoration in the face of supposed humiliation by immigrants, minorities, and leftist radicals. The fascist leader creates panic and fear about a takeover by Marxists and leftists and presents himself as the only solution. Does that ring any bells?
No.
It doesn't ring any bells.
Wait. So the Marxist Liberal Democratic Party isn't coming to take your guns? Is that what you're saying?
It's not that. It's not that. Like, okay, well, like Trump is literally
I tried to keep a straight face on that one.
Messenger. Trump is literally trying to.
Hey, turn your camera on. I can't hear you.
You can hear me. Trump is
Stop
literally
being a
trying.
dick.
Yeah, he's trying to stop the vote. He's trying to stop the media.
He's not trying to stop the vote. He wants the vote to be.
He literally said
wants
stop
the
the
vote
vote.
to be observed by people to make sure they're not
Messenger.
cheating.
Hey, wait a second.
No.
Wait a second.
Cheating.
I know
Them
we
bitches
are
right in the little bubble saying, "Okay, nobody voted for a president. We'll put in
He said,
Biden,
"Stop the count."
Biden,
Stop counting votes.
Biden."
wait a second. I know that we're not going to go with the dictionary definition, right? So can we just go over a couple things, right?
Well, you can do the dictionary definition fits
No.
too. I just get
Dictionary
criticized because I
definitions aren't
only use that. So I went and actually found a different definition that fits even better. So
Well, no, what I was going to say is Trump told the press what to print, right? He said this is what you can print and it's the truth, and everything else is lies, right? It's fake. It's fake
news.
Fake news, right? Right? He did that, right?
Media is the enemy of the people. The literal words that Hitler himself.
Wait a
used.
second.
I muted myself, losing a lung
so he
to
did
you
that,
guys,
right?
not to the audience.
Okay, and then he tried to create. He created a cult of personality, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay,
Trumpism.
and then he sought to form action against the people he didn't like, right, in the country.
I don't think Messenger knows what that means.
And then he created an inside group for unity, right?
I believe that you believe all that stuff.
Well, no, I mean he did. The Trump rallies, and you wear this hat to let people know that you're in my group, right?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what we've learned from Messenger
Right,
is he comes into
personality.
side
Well, you
chat,
know what
he talks shit, he
is-
doesn't
what-
know
Wait a
anything.
second. All I'm saying is all those things are things that Mussolini did and which defined fascism.
I think the Messenger is actually flirting with the idea that there's still such a thing as the ironic Nazi and hasn't gotten the clue that ironic Nazis are Nazis.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe.
also, I don't think he understands that if you keep throwing enough Nazi costume parties, eventually real Nazis are going to start showing up, and you can't tell the difference.
I don't think
Yeah,
Messenger
true.
understands that it behooves him to be on our side about these things. I don't think that he understands that he doesn't always win on the fascist side.
And the
Nobody
worst thing
wins
about,
on the
the worst
fascist
thing
side.
about
You
being
think
a
I'm a
fascist,
But you think I'm a fascist?
I
No,
don't think
no.
you're a fascist. I
No,
think
I
that
don't.
you think that fascism will win you the best
I
odds in the game.
I do think you have been here literally defending fascism.
I haven't defended fascism.
you have.
You have.
I did not defend
I like how subtle
anybody
that was, Jeff.
conducting any type of fascism. So that's garbage.
We just talked
Well,
a zero
okay.
If
tolerance
I
policy.
say I don't think somebody's something, it doesn't mean I'm defending that
All
something.
right. So when
You guys understand the difference of that, right?
When Donald
It
Trump-
doesn't seem like you do.
Let me point something out here. Okay, it might be the case that specifically for this particular situation and this discussion, you haven't actively or specifically directly defended fascism, but you certainly have in live chats previous to this, leading up to this. You have specifically made statements leading to this. So now, if you were doing those things just to trigger a certain reaction out of people, to get them to think that you were a Trump supporter or think that you were really hardcore, one of these Trump guys. Okay, so at that point, it benefited you in order to troll people, to make them think that you support some kind of what is basically American fascism. Now that you're here and we're talking to you, now you seem to be tap dancing around the definitions. Even
That's
though
not true. I'm not tap dancing around anything. I gave a definition of what I thought it included. And I don't think that you can sit there and place a label like a fascist on Trump. I think it's just
Because he's
there.
lazy
I think
or
it's there.
what?
I think no. I'm telling everybody who labels him as a racist, a homophobe, a
is a racist.
xenophobe.
Well,
hey, misogynist. No, let me finish. You guys can. We already know how you feel. Shut the fuck up. We know your position on change. Shut the fuck up.
You're saying he's not things that he is.
Because you guys label those things because they're polarizing and they elicit an emotional response. That's the only reason. It's been shoved down your throat. It's been shoved down your throat, and then you want to shove it down everybody else's.
All right, everybody's chill. So Jefferson, respond.
If a person says things, if a person behaves in a particular way that defines a particular category, you can label them that.
Right,
This is not hysterical. This is not
words mean things, Messenger. It's okay. Like words just mean things sometimes.
Words are descriptive.
If he's passing on a message that he thinks that certain women are pigs, he's either a misogynist or he might be slightly sexist. That's not controversial. And as far as I know, not only does he not really dodge it, most of his supporters embrace it. They think it's fine that he does that. In terms of him being racist, institutionally, he was actually brought up on charges of this back in the 70s when he was preventing people from moving into his particular apartments. And he was sued by the federal government for this. So this is, as a matter of fact, a case. I don't know why this is a thing. This idea that you just think that he is these things. No, there's actual documented evidence, and there's statements from this idiot that indicate that he's a prick, a pig, a fascist, a misogynist, and a racist, and a bigot. He's done all of these things, and he's done them for years. This is not a secret.
YouTube will not let me pull up. I was going to pull up his rally remarks to the squad. When he was racist as fuck to all four of them, basically said Ilhan Omar is a member of ISIS, told AOC to go back to her country. She was born here in America. Yeah, he's a fucking racist. We call him a racist because he's a fucking racist, Messenger.
I would hazard to guess that Messenger. I would hazard to guess that Messenger doesn't think those statements are racist. And
no, I think that they're racial in their intent. And I think they're derogatory in their position. And I think it's horrible that he says shit like that. Okay. But I don't think that those things make him racist.
It doesn't make him racist, but what he said was racist, is it not?
No. I think I think there's something specifically different between somebody being demonstrative and somebody being racist.
Wait, what do you mean?
You could call somebody, and we had this conversation the other night, and I'm not going to move off this position, no matter how much you guys yell and scream, that if somebody uses a racial slur, they're automatically racist, and that's not true.
Wait, so somebody calling a nigger, they're not necessarily racist?
When he calls,
I'd appreciate if you don't use that language around me. I don't like
that's too damn bad.
When he calls,
you don't seem to care, Messenger, when people use that language. So I don't understand where you're going.
I think it's horrible to use that type of language.
So when you call a brown woman ISIS, that's not derogatory or racial. You just said it was racial.
And getting your supporters to lock her up when she's literally committed no crime simply because she's politically opposed to them.
There is a difference between saying something that's racially insensitive or using a racial slur and somebody actually being racist.
But the thing is,
so wait a second, you guys can't separate those terms. You guys are so quick. You guys are so quick to place labels on things because you want those things to be in place so you can villainize somebody.
You just said that was racial. You just said that was racial.
Something being racial and something being racist are two different things.
Let Jefferson go. Let Jefferson.
I can give you congressional records of Donald Trump. Hold on. I can give you congressional records of Donald Trump. Here, I'll just quote it. Quote, I've got black accountants at Trump Castle and Trump Plaza. Black guys counting my money. I hate it. The only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes all day. Okay, I can give you Congress.gov, the website that it's on record.
Let Jefferson go. Let Jefferson go.
Here's my problem. This guy is a public figure in a public office whose statements often inform public policy. He's not a fucking stand-up comedian. If you're making those kinds of statements, it would mean that he's making comments like that as a term of art. If that's the case, like if Bill Burr says something offensive or if Dave Chappelle says something offensive, yes, someone could say, yeah, just because he literally said that doesn't mean he meant it in that particular way. But when you are a public figure in a public office and you make cockeyed comments like that, those have the weight of appearing and being racist, bigoted, sexist, misogynist, etc., etc. You don't have this kind of like automatic self-defense of jumping back and saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it," or "I meant it ironically," or "I was being cute," or any of that other bullshit. You're in a public fucking office. You need to be professional. If you want to be a stand-up comedian, go on a stage and perform your shit. I guarantee you, Trump will last.
Funny. He wasn't saying those things to be funny.
I agree. He wasn't making those statements to be funny.
He was saying those things.
People should not be defending him as if his comments are comedy. His comments have the weight of law.
Who's defending his comments as being comedy?
The way that you're talking about.
Well, no, you know, but you're making.
Oh my god! I don't think I've said it was funny at all.
You're making a third ass point. You said that it was racial, and now you're saying like it was. Like, come on, dude! You just admitted it was racial.
I said that if you say something racially insensitive, or you use a racial slur, it doesn't automatically make you a racist human being.
Donald Trump.
Well, not if you do it once.
Donald Trump calling.
It's not. It's not.
Hey, all right. Chill out.
So if
chill out. Let me talk. All right. You guys can't just keep over talking everybody. One person at a time. Messenger, you're talking a lot. Let me talk. So, Messenger, when Donald Trump looked at those people in Charlottesville and called those neo-Nazis very fine people, after one of them just took a car and ran over several people, killing Heather Heyer, and he called those people very fine people, neo-Nazis on both sides, very fine people on both sides. One side was neo-Nazis, the other side was Antifa. We'll call them Antifa. Chanting Jews will not replace us. That is not an act of racism.
Can you show me where I can go to and read actually what was said in regard to that? Because I'd like to read it in the context that it was used. I really would. Like, was he referring to the actual people, or was he referring to the party that those
people on both sides?
Okay, he said there's very fine people on both sides, and it might not have been those people that did the horrible things, right?
No. There were only two sides there.
No. There's more people to a side than the people that are actually at an event.
There were two sides there.
If Islamic people go in and blow up a building, you don't sit there and say, "Hey, there's no good Islamic people." You say, So that's my point when I'm trying to make. So stop trying to conflate.
It was an organized white supremacist fucking rally, dude.
Not only that, but if you've got a situation where a group of people from a particular country or a particular religious sect go and do this, you don't go and demean an entire group of people based on some racial epithet as a form of public speech. You don't do that if you're a public person. You can do that kind of shit. You can do that kind of crap if you're a comedian.
Marty's backstage, by the way.
I have a question. If I plan a parade, right? And at that parade, a whole bunch of people show up with Black Sun flags. Is that just ironic that happened?
You don't know what that means.
I did also have another question about him saying there's a difference between racially charged statements and racism. If a guy says, and I've actually had somebody say this to me, that they don't like Mexicans, they just think that they're dirty people, that's not racist. You're not racist for believing that?
That would be a horrible stereotype.
Yeah. Why? Hold on here. Why would somebody have a particular stereotype about a particular race of people?
See, we're at this point where Messenger doesn't.
Why would it be a negative stereotype?
We're at this point where Messenger doesn't understand that a person can say racist things and espouse racist rhetoric without being labeled as a racist. He doesn't understand that you can do those things.
He's doing this on purpose, Tioga. So I asked him a very specific question about fascism, and then he just starts going off, well, I hate it how you Democrats label all these isms and ists and goddamn racist. That's what Messenger did.
I don't think he understands. Like, on a very basic level, I don't think he understands the difference between saying racist things and being a racist person. And so he takes it personally when people say racist things and you call people out for saying racist things. He changes that into, oh, you're calling them a racist person, and he doesn't understand the difference between.
He's very P-Mars when it comes to this.
They literally use those labels.
It's okay. You know what, Messenger? Sometimes people fuck up and they use those labels, but it is racist to say those things.
Yeah. Another
say
example
those
of
things.
Trump's racism from the same link that I put in the private chat there.
Messenger.
Speaking of another African-American employee, Trump told Donald, quote, "I think the guy is lazy, and it's probably not his fault because laziness is a trait in blacks. It really is. I believe that," end quote. Trump didn't deny it. He later admitted, quote, "The stuff O'Donnell wrote about me is probably true," end quote. So he's not only making racist statements, he's owning them openly.
But I don't think Messenger even understands what the difference between those things are. Like I feel like it feels good to call him out on those things, but I don't think that he understands. Like, I don't think he does.
My question is, if you aren't, if someone wasn't a racist, right? Why would they deny someone the right or the ability to rent property from them based solely on the color of their skin? Not based on their economic status because it was overwhelmingly good. Not based on their credit status because that was overwhelmingly good. Not because of their references, which were overwhelmingly good, but simply because of the color of their skin.
YouTube is back, so
it is
Messenger
back.
reveals. Let me pull this up.
Well, see, that's why he doesn't answer this, is because he does not understand the difference between a racist sentiment and to someone being outwardly racist. And so he conflates everything to someone being outwardly racist instead of acknowledging that sometimes you can say racist things. Like,
I also don't think he understands that there are dog whistles that people who are racist use to signal to other racists that at face value, the prima facie, don't sound racist.
What is a
and
dog
they're
whistle?
designed not to.
So
they're
this will
designed not to sound racist.
We'll let you listen to this. I think
though
that
they
this
are.
is the one where he's talking about the squad. So just listen to this, Messenger.
Just this morning, this Talib, from Michigan, right? It's a great state. We won Michigan.
She's from Minnesota.
There's no way she stands
That's
for the
Ilhan Omar.
values of the people of
Oh,
Michigan.
he's not listening.
But
Messenger
I
is not
watched her
listening
this
to
morning.
by the
She's
way.
vicious. She's like a crazed lunatic. This is not a sane person, folks, when you look at that. And this is what we're up against. You have some of that. Now, the Democrats, I guess, are forced to embrace her, and I call it AOC plus 3. Okay? AOC plus 3.
Right, right.
Not that AOC is a bargain, because she's not. I mean, she's no bargain. Look, I mean, we'll go into it at some point. I'll tell you all about AOC. I got more on AOC.
This isn't the one.
But
that
she
I was
called
hoping it
our
was.
country and our people.
What?
No, AOC is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
You don't
No,
know
I
who
love
AOC is, and you're here trying to argue politics. You fucking Neanderthal.
Neanderthal.
Yeah,
I'm
Neanderthal.
sorry,
Another label.
Well, if you
Another
will,
label
this
from the
is a
left.
chance to check in for the Zoom meeting for.
I am going to have another one.
Well, I mean, he was late for Anderson's Zoom meeting for the nightly service at the church, and so he came here.
Well, here's the thing: the reason that Trump has been pissed off by Rashida Tlaib, and she's a congresswoman for the 13th district of Michigan, which is over in Dearborn, Michigan.
Yeah, but he said Omar, didn't he?
No, he said.
no.
Oh, I just misheard him. I
yeah.
thought he was talking about Omar, and I'm like, she's in Minnesota.
Usually he talks about Ilhan Omar, but no, in this case he was talking about her. But the reason that he's so butthurt over her is after she got voted in the last time, she said during his speech, "We're going to impeach this motherfucker," and that triggered the shit out of him and his followers. And they did impeach him. He actually did get impeached. So good for Tlaib. She was accurate.
Donald Trump, the impeached president that didn't win re-election.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I like Rashida Tlaib. She's good people.
Yeah.
I like all of the squad.
Yeah, me too.
I like how they've
my favorite.
appropriated. Yeah, I like how they've appropriated that term too. The squad.
And you know
Katie
what?
Porter is my spirit animal. She's my favorite House representative right now. Her and her fucking whiteboard, man. If she pulls out the whiteboard, oh, buddy, you're getting your ass. Your ass is you're getting torn a new asshole. Like you're getting torn the fuck up.
You're gonna get educated to the point where you're probably gonna have to go back to college.
Hey, Messenger, you can critique them without calling them ISIS too, just so you know.
Yeah.
Critique who?
The fucking squad, you dipshit.
It's funny how all the people he calls the squad are all women of color.
All right, so Messenger wanted to hear the context of his Charlottesville remarks. So let's hear that.
You're putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left,
third side?
that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
So it was the violent left that came attacking the other group, the neo-Nazis. The violent left messenger. Let's listen.
On both sides, sir. You said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Neo-Nazis started this. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as neo, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group. Excuse me. I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Fascist.
Why would people be mad about taking down a statue of a literal Confederate soldier who fought to keep black people as slaves? Why would somebody want that statue to stay up?
It was a white supremacist rally. They came out of a Capitol building.
Robert E. Lee was a traitor to this country.
The whole Confederacy was. It was a treasonous rebellion against their own government. Yes, it was. 100%. Yes, it was.
You have no clue what you're talking about.
I've actually studied this. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you studied it from a left-leaning.
From a professor.
Everything's left-leaning.
I took a course.
Professors have
I
no
can look it up and tell you who
right?
the professor was that taught that course.
All right, go, Marty has her hand up. Go ahead, Marty.
I bet he's a left-leaning liberal.
All right, listen to Marty. You like Marty. Shut the fuck up, messenger.
I love everybody, Rage.
So as somebody who is a member of the LGBT community,
you're a little bit too quiet. Can you get closer to a mic, please?
Am I? My bad.
Sorry, hon.
No, you're fine. John said that the other day.
Sorry.
I might need to turn that volume up. But as somebody who is a member of the LGBT community, I'm concerned. My main concern with him is he wants to roll back all of the protections for the LGBT community that the Obama administration put into place, which means I could get fired from my job. I work for a super conservative, right-wing Christian. However, she wouldn't fire me or half of the staff that I work with, because half the staff is LGBT. But she could legally. She could walk in there one day after Trump takes all those protections away and be like, anybody that's not heterosexual, you're fired. That's a worry for me. That's a problem. That's a big, big problem. There are millions of families that would be in danger. My assistant manager is a lesbian. She just got engaged. They wouldn't be able to get legally married. That takes away protections that, and I know you're not anti-LGBT, John. I know that for a fact.
Right. I don't feel attacked.
Sure. But I'm just making a statement, because I get called a leftist liberal crybaby for this. And I'm like, really? Go on the if you just look up Trump's policies in terms of LGBT rights, he wants to take all that shit away. That's a problem. That's a big, big problem.
When you say he wants to take it away, is that somebody that's trying to incite those things, or those actual facts that he's pushing policy for those things?
Yeah, no, he's actually openly said that. He'd take all that shit.
When you
down.
said he openly said that, do you have a place where I could hear or read a script where he was quoted as saying that he was trying to take away people's liberties based on sexual orientation?
Actually, I
by
like
gender identity.
I'd like to push in here. Actually, what you need to do is check out Mike Pence's speech at the CPAC conference, the last CPAC conference, and their stance on gay marriage.
Gay marriage and being fired from your gay marriage
is an argument made by religious communities all the fucking time. Shit's
hang on. Gay marriage right now is protected by the Supreme Court by precedent. In terms of like protection in terms of firing, that's even more precarious than gay marriage. And the comments that Mike Pence was making at CPAC were not promising to LGBTQ communities.
You know what, Knock? I think you're right. I think he knows.
You think who knows what?
Do you want the name of that professor that taught the course on civil history, on Civil War?
It isn't all fact. No, it isn't. Here's the thing. He's done and said some outlandish shit. And shit that I would sit there and say you're a fucking asshole and a moron for saying those things to his face. I would do that. At the same time, I'm not this person who just jumps all over these labels that are very polarizing just to sit there and demonize somebody who demonizes themselves and their actions and behaviors independent of the labels.
So you'll do nothing to help anyone.
The label, look, if somebody's using this kind of stuff, tag somebody into these labels, that's one thing. I would get that. But here's the problem. What's actually happening with Trump is there's a lot of people acting as apologists to argue him out of these labels when they specifically apply to him. And I'm getting a little bit sick of the fact that this seems like a weird thing to do because supposedly the rational idea is to think that Trump is somehow not this bigot, not this lazy, fat fucking moron who says these bullshit ideas that sound like crap, even in the 50s and 60s. In the 50s and 60s, there were people that would listen to comments from somebody like Trump and dismiss him from their house because he was a fucking moron. And they're acting like now, oh well, if you're too sensitive to listen to his crazy ideas, then I guess you're just not open-minded enough. Of course, I'm not open-minded enough to listen to this idiot. And you're open-minded enough to listen to anything outside of that realm either.
Or you're a libtard crybaby, and I'm like, really? Am I? He wants to take away my right to exist. Does that make me a libtard?
He banned transgender people from serving in the military. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
It makes you a libtard. It makes you a libtard, and it makes Trump not a libtard.
And if he's
cozy, can you guys hear me better? Is my mic sound better? I turned the volume up. Is that better?
It's fine.
Just a little better.
Okay.
If he's cozying up to a lot of these evangelicals and acting as if that their opinion is his, then he has to own that shit. And if people are going to paint him with that opinion, then he needs to fucking step up as a man and own it. If he's not willing to do that, then he needs to divorce himself from these groups and stop hanging out with them and letting them suck him off. Because otherwise, he's a coward in both directions. And I fucking hate him for it.
I heard it. I saw that debate.
There he go.
So anyway, I wanted to read something real quick because the real threat, one of the really big threats, was that Trump didn't have any thought or direction or how he was going to attack LGBTQ rights. But you know who did was Mike Pence, and that was the real danger of him being
did it again. I was muted to the audience. Sorry. I did it again. Fucking mute buttons.
Okay, but anyway. So let me keep going real quick, Marty. So this is what he like Mike. This is 2018, but every year Mike Pence went to this event, which was an event called, the Values Voter Summit in Washington D.C. And what this was is basically a bunch of speakers, speaker after speaker after speaker, and most of them, the ones that Pence was speaking next to, are advocates of what's called conversion therapy and conversion therapy camps. And basically what that is where they take kids and they torture them for up to 2 months until they say, they swear under oath that they're no longer LGBTQ, that they're straight and they're going to stay that way. And that is disturbing. That is very, very disturbing.
You need
that
to
is
learn the letters. You said it wrong
LGBTQ plus IA.
LGBTQ.
What's the problem?
You're fine, Messenger. Just be quiet.
Anyway, so
He's not fine.
That's the type of thing that they do, and they try to torture them. They basically do torture them. They do things that like put them in electroshock therapy, uncomfortable positions, hot and cold environments, all kind of things, starvation, dehydration. They do terrible things to these children, and these children have no choice because guess what? Their parents paid for this and then shipped them off, and their guardian signed a freaking approval letter and also a waiver of responsibility.
Yeah.
A liability waiver. Here you go. You can kill my kid if he doesn't want to straighten up. If he wants to still be gay after 2 months, you can kill him if you have to. That's it. That's the terrible stuff.
Are you being hyperbolic or are you
no,
being
no,
like
this
very
is
literal?
literally what happens at the camp.
So children can be
do-
killed if they don't conform
kids have been killed
these.
at these camps.
He doesn't
Children have been killed from this
himself,
treatment at these camps. Is what I'm
He
saying.
doesn't care what happens to kids at these camps unless they die, apparently.
Do you say I don't?
No, John's not anti-LGBT. He-
Oh,
Are you
well,
serious
he's
that
making
you
a
didn't
really
know?
good
This is
fucking
something that
case for
happens in
being
America. They kill kids with this
anti-LGBTQ.
stuff.
He's not though.
Do you see how people jump quickly to conclusions like that?
No. I was asking you a real question. Are you seriously
Hold on a
unaware
second.
that this happens in America?
No. Good. Thank you.
Does he
Because
care?
if you
No,
are,
he doesn't care unless they
I can
die.
understand. I
Tioga,
wasn't
you're
aware
like my
until a
little
couple years
devil
ago
angel on
that
my
it was still
shoulder.
going on.
I know I am. You don't care unless they die, do you?
No, that's not a question I had.
I think it's
So
horrific.
then why did you say that?
Because I think that he's being hyperbolic when he's saying that they're killing these kids. Are they
Oh,
mentally?
oh,
are they
no,
mentally?
like, no, I mean,
Would you guys shut up for 5 fucking seconds and let me
You said I was being
respond?
hyperbolic, and I tried to be very
Shut
clear.
up.
Only the killing part.
I tried to be
No.
clear is that through
No.
the treatment that they're doing to
I
these
think he-
kids, the
I think-
dehydration, the
I think he made
starvation,
it-
electric shock.
Hyperbole is just exaggerating the situation. So if it's horrible and you're exaggerating horror,
No,
it's still
kids are
hyperbolic.
dying.
Hella fucking yikes. This
Kids
guy
are really,
Yeah,
literally
I think we do
going
have
from
documented
live
cases
Tioga.
of children dying in this case.
It's horrific.
Mm-hmm.
How they're
And he
treated if
only
they
cares
would you
if they
shut
die.
up, Tioga, for
He
5
only
seconds?
cares if they die.
Go make another drink and relax for a second.
He only cares if they die, y'all.
You see, like, not you guys said people just jump on people so quick.
Well,
Just
John's
shut
not
up and
here,
listen.
Messenger. I'm not a good moderator. You know this shit. Like you used to be in the
Okay,
old,
James,
like
Jeff.
you was in the old open rooms. You know how it
This
used
is
to
what
be.
it's getting like. And then,
Let
and then if I start
Messenger
getting loud with
answer
people
my
like, okay,
question.
Messenger, you talk too long.
I thought Tioga
He
was
was
being the
speaking,
mod.
and also
looking
I
and
wanted
stuff.
him to answer the question. Was he? Are you going to at least look into this stuff now? Like seriously? And I'm not being hyperbolic.
No, I said that. I asked if you were being hyperbolic in regards to that.
No,
parent
I'm
signed
not.
off on. Would you shut up and let me finish my
He's
question and then
answering
answer
your
it?
fucking question,
answered
Messenger.
it.
No, he's not. He's jumping
Yeah,
to.
fucking
what-
is,
no, he
dumbass.
doesn't. Listen, you don't have to defend everything, young lady. Just
No,
I'm
be-
sorry,
don't
you're
be
okay.
Bold ass, bold
Listen,
ass. You don't have to talk about everything. Bold
Those
ass.
things don't bother me.
Bold
So
ass, bold ass McDonald's.
you're
beard.
assuming that I place value on what you think. You're assuming I place value on your comments like that.
No,
So what
no,
I'm
I
trying to
was asking you a
say
question.
is, let me respond to Puff in its entirety, and then you can respond and say whatever you want.
Go ahead, McDonald's beard. Go for it.
Wow, you are really triggered, young
Hey,
lady.
hey,
aren't
hey.
you?
I'm
Let's
so
not start
triggered.
this off with
I am very bold.
accurate but
I am
non
very bold
sequitur
and I am
insults.
very
All right,
triggered.
stop.
What did you drink tonight?
Baldness.
It's impaired your judgment. It's impairing your
Fantastic.
judgment.
Okay, Jeff, Tioga, stop dunking on the old man for a second. Let the boomer answer my question, please.
I am not a boomer, but appreciate the sentiment. So, in regard to your question, you said, "Am I going to check into it?" Sure.
Yes.
And from what I understand, you're asking me to check into Mike Pence's support of an organization that does conversion therapy, correct?
No, a host of organizations. He's a speaker and a promoter of this conversion therapy itself.
He almost
He's like,
got it.
you know how if you
legally
like
licensed
have
in
like
India.
you have like a music festival, right? You bring headliners, right? He's a headliner.
Yeah, it took an insubordination of a Republican legislature in Indiana to stop Mike Pence from instituting it statewide in Indiana.
I have a question. I have a really quick question.
Marty speak real quick.
wasn't
In
done
Indiana,
talking.
Mike Pence, as governor, also eliminated their needle exchange program, which made their HIV transmission rate the highest in the country. Go ahead, Marty.
No, I have a really quick question for Puff. Is the Fly a headliner with him or just Mike Pence?
No, the Fly only showed up. It was a one-time engagement. It was paid very well, better, in fact, than black voters for Trump.
Well, I heard that was actually
they were
Jeff
paying
Goldblum.
huge rates for this last few days before the election. They were paying enormous rates on Craigslist for actors. They were paying huge rates, dude.
I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah. So I think Trump's support of the anti-LGBT thing was probably partially at least influenced by Mike Pence, but also in order to appeal to that religious right, which is where he got most of his votes from, because a lot of the religious right, like I said, except for luckily my boss, but a lot of the religious right are anti-LGBT and would vote for somebody who is also anti-LGBT. So if let's say Mike Pence was anti-LGBT, but Trump wasn't, then they probably wouldn't have voted for him. But he picked up on that train in order to get votes. In order to get those votes, that's simply it. And I'm going to go with he was probably heavily influenced. But my thing with we were talking about the labels or something. I think John said I labeled something when they demonstrate that that's what they are. If you're going to demonstrate that you're a homophobe, then I'm going to call you that. If you're going to demonstrate you're a racist or a misogynist, then I'm going to call you that. If you demonstrate otherwise, and maybe you can make a comment here or there, but if you're straight up anti, like Smokey is a homophobe and a misogynist, I know this for a fact because I've seen him talk. So if you're
And a racist.
Yeah, is he? Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you the story after you're done.
Sure. But if someone's going to act in such a way, which is why when I get into a room with like super hyper Christians, why I always ask them where they are on LGBT stuff, that's why, because I want to know who I'm dealing with. So if I know if I'm dealing with a homophobe or not, or, if I know who I'm dealing with somebody who's not like yourself. So sometimes the labels are necessary because like, okay, that person's a homophobe, so I'll deal with him in a certain way. Like I don't deal with you like that because you're not. So.
But why do you think a lot of these people in this group think that I am?
I don't know.
I would say that you are like
pump the brakes.
I'm hella
We get over
gay
this
and
time and time
I-
again. We said we don't think that you are. We said that you engage in
Exactly.
that type of rhetoric routinely and haphazardly, and then when people correct you on it, as is human nature, you have some pushback to that correction, to that criticism, which is positive criticism, because if you weren't a person that someone thought would listen to criticism, they wouldn't bother offering it up. A lot of these people in this group.
Well, I
And
mean, your
you
your criticism doesn't always make it factual. It doesn't always make
But no,
it
when you
accurate or
say
true.
things, the thing is, we don't say that you are
But
this
you
thing.
hear
No. We say
something
some
and
of the
quickly
rhetoric, some of the
you
things-
hear something and quickly jump to conclusions.
No, we
because
do
that you
no,
think
no,
that
no,
it
no, stop
sounds
it,
familiar.
Messenger, stop it. You're the one that came in
It's
here.
the truth.
No, you came in here with this bullshit voter fraud. You're the one that hears shit, believes it, and no, everybody that's been here, whether you believe it or not, has been just giving you the truth, what's really been going on. You've justified it.
You guys have
Every
read from a
single
bunch of
thing.
propaganda
I have
websites.
guided this conversation with topics. Every single goddamn thing. You'll start one way and end another, and you're just fucking trolling. You're like trying so hard not to smile.
I'm
right now.
trolling because it has to be that.
Where's Victor at? Victor's the real
you were
Trumper. You
trying to
just
troll.
play. You just pretend to
Messenger-
be one on YouTube.
Listen, Marty might say you're not a homophobe, but you have upheld every single homophobic thing that this presidency has ever said. I mean, it's really cool.
What did I
that,
uphold? What did I uphold?
Oh, can we go through the past hour of shit that you've been talking
Just
about?
name one
Like-
homophobic thing I upheld.
Also, I want to ask one quick question.
Messenger's
Well, I
not
can't
a-
all ask questions if Tiogo is asking a question.
I just have one.
Messenger's not a homophobe.
You said
Yeah,
you
he's not.
said
I'm sure he isn't. Yeah,
So, like-
okay. Yeah, I don't
No,
believe
but
neither of
the
y'all.
thing is,
Like,
he
but
draws,
okay.
he's
like,
very careful at that
he
dance
says
around the term.
he might say some racist shit, but he's not a homophobe. Like, okay,
I don't say
y'all, like-
racist shit.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't think that calling brown women
I
ISIS.
haven't
He
decided.
he doesn't think that calling brown women ISIS isn't racist, but he's not a homophobe.
Well,
Like,
I think
certainly
Messenger's
trust
got
his
some
fucking
racism in him. I
judgment.
really do.
The Messenger is not a bigot, but he is voting for and supporting institutional racists.
I'm not sure. I'm not convinced
Look
that
at
he's
his voted
not
for.
racist.
I
did I ever
think
say
he
that I
voted
voted
for. I think he voted for the Libertarian Party.
Yeah,
didn't
they aren't
vote for any
homophobes at
president.
all.
Libertarians
Okay,
are just
I wanted to ask
anarcho-capitalists
a
with
question
fancy
because it
names.
sounded like that. It sounded like Messenger asked, like he has to troll.
He has
Is that
to.
what you s-
It's part of his being.
Why?
It is. I mean, but the thing is, Jeff, you and Tioga, you guys have been dunking on him all night. So what I'm going to do is ask you guys to hold the brakes for a second. I know you guys got a bunch bottled up for him,
Hell
but
no.
it's Leo's
Like, how
turn.
about hell
But
no?
I'm going to give Leo 120 seconds. Go. I know you got a motor mouth.
Love Leo.
No,
Love you.
that's
Love
not,
you, Leo.
that's not
Is
the
Tioga
problem.
old enough to drink?
What I'm going to do is
What a
try to
bitch. What a
tell the
stupid
story
bitch.
that I
I'm like
told Marty
30,
was going
asshole.
to tell the
Dumbass.
story.
It's not my
and I'd
fault
like
you have a
to tell the
McDonald's
story.
here.
Hey, one at a time.
Story. And it's a good thing that Immutable was here because he was actually in the room when Smokey said this. So before I tell you the story, the only college I've been in was a semester at community college.
I
and
know.
dropped
You
out 'cause I
swallow
didn't
those
like it.
burgers, don't you?
Hey.
And what Smokey said is me and him were having a discussion and I was dunking on him like it was really,
Have your
really,
kid
really
cry
bad.
some more, bitch.
So what he said is he made some statement about you all you have is your, and this is exactly how he put it, and like I said, Immutable can attest to it, your affirmative action education. So yeah.
That is what he said.
So his implication was that I only went to college because I mixed and had nothing to do with academic rigor or academic
Isn't that
achievement.
funny? Isn't
Yeah.
that funny?
Well, what it reveals
Wait a
is that
second.
Smokey is highly intimidated by the fact that somebody younger than him and darker skinned than him is that much more intelligent than he is.
Oh yeah. But one thing
Leo,
I
I,
will
th- I
ask.
think Smokey would be intimidated by anybody that's more intelligent than he is.
Oh, you guys are you guys talking about chat?
We're talking about Smokey. Icky
Right.
Tank.
Okay. But what I'm saying is, one thing I will ask is the same thing I ask when people are dealing with me. Don't ascribe other people's reactions, opinions, or actions to
The shit they say.
your interlocutor at the time, which in this case is Messenger, because Messenger and Smokey, Messenger
I'm not
is like
relating any of this
a
to
Bob
Messenger. I don't
Hope
think
compared to
Messenger's
Smokey.
racist.
But what I'm saying is, we're on a focus of what we were talking about here.
Yeah, but I because Marty had mentioned that Smokey was a racist or not a racist, a misogynist and everything. And I had mentioned that he was racist and that I would explain to her why I thought that. Well, it's not really that I think it because he is. Later.
Unless Messenger
I
says that
apologize.
he's like, it proves that he's not a fucking homophobe.
Dude, I know I've been friends with John for a minute. I know for a fact he's not an anti-LGBT.
Maybe he likes you, Marty.
So what does that have to do with anything?
No,
It has nothing to do with.
we've hammered John down on that stance. John's been in plenty of streams with like real homophobes and stood against him.
He's not.
He does
that's
say.
one of the first
I'm not
things
sure
we
about the
talked
racist thing though.
You're such a dick.
He's
I'm gonna
like
come to
an
Michigan and
older
beat your
version.
ass.
He's like an older, more crafty, a little bit more wily version of Will Kincaid.
I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't trust him.
Well, all right. So
yes, I did. Yes, I did, sir.
Yeah,
I
that's-
did.
So Messenger actually
I'll
did to the room
accurate.
exactly what he wanted to do because I'm trying to talk about fascism. He understands I'm trying to talk about fascism, and he's got all of y'all on racism and homophobia,
Well, what do you
which
do?
is
I
all
mean, we don't
parts
even
of
need to
it.
Talk about fascism. He's already got the haircut for it, man. He
Yeah, I
was, he
know.
was expecting
But
somebody else to win that
he
election.
keeps getting
dude.
away
Come on,
from
bro.
it. So I'm gonna steer
No,
the I'm gonna
it's
steer the
okay to
conversation.
talk about fascists when they are.
I want to,
like-
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I want to steer the conversation back to it because you say that I'm wrong for calling Trump a fascist. The 10 pillars of fascist politics, according once again to Jason Stanley, professor of philosophy at Yale University: a mythic past, propaganda, anti-intellectualism, unreality, hierarchy, victimhood, law and order, sexual anxiety, Sodom and Gomorrah, and our beat Mott Free.
Did you say Sodom and Gomorrah?
Yeah, it's an analogy of what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah. You understand the story, right?
It's a zero sum game. A society
Tio
does
is
good,
a
it
fucking
will-
hilarious mime.
I don't know what he's talking about. Sodom and Gomorrah? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
I want to know how
I don't
Sodom and
understand
Gomorrah is related
that.
to fascism.
I didn't
No.
understand that reference either.
Oh my god!
Help me understand how Sodom and Gomorrah is related to fascism.
I have
Not
no
the drunk
idea.
girl.
I
Not
have
the
no
drunk
idea
girl.
how killing people who commit sodomy is fascism. I have no idea how this relates to anything. Oh, killing people because they fuck people in the butts? That seems not
I'm not
fascist at
banging
all.
boys in the butt.
Yeah, how can you not see it, Messenger?
Hey, you guys, look, nobody saw Pence's plans. I saw Pence's plans for the UV prostate massager that was going to cure COVID. I saw those plans.
It was going to
Nobody
cure
else
it.
bought one?
So, like, Messenger, my ultimate point is this: you tell me that
I'm
Trump's
only
not
one
a fascist. I've given you dictionary definitions now. I've given you philosophical definitions. I've indicated how and why. Why do you still just like persist? And I know you're with the whole ist and the racist and the homophobes and all of that shit, but like, how can you just not see the obvious truth that this dude has exhibited fascism? If he were to steal this election, that would be another sign of fascism. You are supporting him trying to steal the election. You're saying, hey, I don't know if it's real. Let's fucking find out. You know, like come the fuck on.
I'm
dude.
supporting Trump. Why does it keep coming back to I'm supporting Trump?
Let's go ahead and see if anybody's been paying attention to the
How?
side chat here. Does anybody know
What
a
have I
Trumpista
done
is?
that demonstrates my support of Donald J.
So
Trump?
do you not, or do you? Like,
I
say
do
it.
not support Donald J. Trump.
Oh, okay.
He does not have my
You
approval
want him
rating.
to win this
asking
election, and you advocate. You come with the fake, phony bullshit about the goddamn voter fraud, and you troll the chats about Trump.
I didn't sit
Come
there and
on.
say anything. No, it was that other dude that brought up the fake voter stuff and was like hammering on that.
No,
Whatever
we
his name
started
is.
tonight with
Victor.
voter fraud, dude, and you were like, "Yeah."
You
we need to
asked if
check it
you
out.
asked if I thought there was voter fraud in this election, and I said yes, and it could probably be. It's probably on both sides. That's what I said.
But it's not. We know that the only people that
You
are
don't-
like
you don't know.
registered
You
voter
don't
folks are
know.
Republicans.
It says both
You
sides.
believe.
What
No.
does-
Like voter fraud is next to a it's statistically non-existent in America.
It's statistically
very-
non-existent.
The very like
You know, there's
one in
actually
a million
stats tests that
times
you can do to
happens,
detect if there's some type of
it
fraud
happens
going on.
overwhelmingly with Republicans, and that's just
There's
fact.
there's actually analysts that crunch numbers that basically can detect insurance fraud, voter fraud, bank fraud.
Yeah, and they say
But
there's
there's
no
no
fucking voter fraud, you dipshit.
No voter fraud's been.
Oh, they did.
detected
You
in
have those
this
reports
on
and
a wide
statistics,
scale.
young
Do
lady?
you, Messenger? Old sir, do you have
Hey.
statistics based on your voter fraud?
So, Messenger, have
Do you have them? Old man, old McDonald's beard. I have a pen too. I have a pen. Just
proud.
wait.
I'm proud to be my age.
I have a pen too, and I think that you should fucking present your statistics.
I was writing down the Mike
very
Pence
smart
thing.
now, Tio,
Just
with the
come
pen.
on. I'm very smart. I'm very fucking
Really, you
smart.
have to have a pen to be smart. It's a writing tool. Like,
Well, I
can't
thought
remember
that's
all the
why
shit,
you
know.
picked it up. I thought you were like trying to look all like suave dare with your pen while you're chewing
I am
on it.
suave dare. Woo!
Trump is not fascist. He loves gay people. Also, he loves ISIS and brown people. He loves Ilhan.
ISIS,
Omar.
like
You know what?
the
I
Middle
Trump
Eastern
from
group?
right now? Fast food, because the White House stinks of fast food right now.
All right, so I'm just like, there's no real getting anywhere with you on this because you're like not a Trumper that is a Trumper that doesn't troll for Trump that does troll for Trump.
I didn't say I
you
didn't
have no
troll
fucking
you
position.
guys.
You have no position.
My honest position with the presidency is it doesn't really matter. Like if Biden gets in and
Why
it
are
affects
you
my
fucking
paycheck,
here? Like,
Then why troll about it if it doesn't?
I'm here to
matter?
correct you guys on all your wrongs
You're
for
not
music.
correcting
But you haven't done that.
I'm here to help you guys.
You've just
I'm here to
denied
help you
it.
guys learn to live lives of peace and contentment and not always be so on edge and so stressed out to where you have to drink or smoke pot to feel better in life.
This is a hyperbole, and I'm going to throw one out there. So if now that Biden's president, if he lowers
Biden
your
is not
tax-
president. Biden is the president-elect according to the media.
No, he's the
I
president.
love your
Let's
ice cream,
get past
bro.
that. I'm not even going to
Take a bite,
Anyway,
but
next
don't bite
year-
too hard now.
Thank you. Anyway, that's a delicious ice cream sandwich, but I like my big boys better. Anyway,
Jesus, wish
big
I had
boy
a big boy.
sandwiches are the best ice cream sandwich ever. You guys don't even know. Anyway, if they're delicious, I get them at Sam's Club.
I wish I had a big boy, and I wish it was delicious.
Fantastic deal. Anyway, so when Biden becomes president, if he enacts single-payer health care and your taxes and your health care costs go down, what do you say that he's doing a good job and that socialism is good, or are you just gonna keep towing the centrists, the agent provocateur line?
Biden is definitely not going to do that.
I'm just saying that's a hypothetical. That's like very hypothetical. Like if
Biden
went
saves
to,
me
like,
money, I'll be a fan.
an island for a week and did some really powerful psychedelics.
If Biden is a racist and he saved me money, I don't give a fuck. I'm Messenger and I approve this message.
Oh boy.
Biden
And
likes
now you have to go to the
girls
bathroom
and children, doesn't he?
But you have to grow a beard at the same time. You got to look
Doesn't Joe
at.
Biden
I
sit
know.
up the children?
I can't-
So let's go there.
Weird.
Do you believe the bullshit? Because as far as I understand it, like the video footage, because I often joke about the Joe Biden smelling the little girl's hair and shit. The way I understand it though is that was actually an interaction with his granddaughter and one of her friends. It wasn't like children he just didn't know. Still a little
It's still
creepy.
weird. It's still weird.
Still a
though.
little
Yeah, that's
creepy.
still weird.
But like, are you
just
along
hate
the
how that-
lines? Do you follow along the lines that
hate-
Joe Biden's a pedophile, like
I
Republicans are
hate-
saying right now?
I hate how they slow it down and zoom in on it and exaggerate whatever was going on. I hate
I
it.
do think it's weird.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
not a fan. I'm not a fan ever of propaganda that tries to manipulate and influence people.
Pictures of Trump with his daughter on his lap, where he's got his hand in her crotch, like, oh, is that what we're talking about here? Like, that's crazy. Also, Marty, your cat is stealing the show.
That's Merlin.
Merlin is
I don't
stealing
get
the show.
why Trump supporters are so upset about him having his hand on a chick's pussy because you know when you're rich they let you.
Listen, fucking sexual assault is wrong, y'all. Don't fucking.
But not when the president does it. Not if the president has big white hands.
It's definitely wrong.
Wrong.
See that, and that's the thing. Like I hear Trumpers talk about this stupid pedophile conspiracies. They don't never talk about the real shit with Joe Biden, which would be Tara Reid. They don't talk about that. But then they definitely don't talk about all the shit with Donald Trump. When it comes to rape, when it comes to sexual harassment, when it comes to pedophilia.
How can you not think that happens with all the isms and the ists that go on with him?
Jeffrey Epstein
But they don't do that. They don't go there.
This.
Not
He has
Republicans.
terribly put on facial
and
makeup,
Maxwell.
and he
Trump
grabs him by the
Epstein
wet ass
Island.
P-word, and they let him do it because he's famous, and they let him do it because he's a star.
I find it funny.
He walked into
How
a
do you
dress
know
room,
this?
beauty pageant and said that he can inspect the outfits.
Yeah, I find it funny that messengers
They're
here.
just teenage girls under the age of 18. What are you talking about? He's an old man. Isn't he entitled to be, like a little bit pedophilic?
Wouldn't it be fucking cool to talk about Republicans being creepy and also leftists being creepy? Wouldn't that be fucking awesome if we could do that, like as a body of people? Like, wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah. What I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was hanging out with Biden and Trump at the kids zone at McDonald's. Everything was fine.
I want to know if Tioga's creepy.
Creepy? You told me I looked like I was underage to drink, you bitch. Like,
Are you creepy though?
Hey, why are you upset about that? That's a compliment. People tell me I don't look like I'm 43.
We don't have to ask, Messenger. We know you got a white GMC windowless van out in the driveway. Come on.
yeah, Messenger. Also, I'm cool as shit. So
He's got the slide door and he's got the white sheet over where it says free candy on the side.
He's got the whole look. He's got the short sleeve black shirt, the bald head, the McDonald's beard.
What's wrong with a bald head? Part of the difference that I have a ginger beard. I don't know.
Takasuchi's bald. I'm bald.
Jefferson,
I'm
you
a
should be able to
dog
come back in.
At least
All the
I'm
best
not
looking
bald.
guys are bald.
At least
I
I'm
love
not
free
bald.
candy.
I'm
I
not
love free
that
candy.
Jeff Spatchcott's bald.
Wait,
Jay Passek's
Messenger.
bald.
Wait, who asked if I was creepy? What was that? Was that Puff?
I asked if you were creepy.
You asked me, bitch.
Yeah, I said, are you creepy?
You look the creepiest of all, dumbass.
All right, hey, chill. Let me
I look
let me
creepy
break
to
in.
you?
Let me break in. Jefferson, yeah, he said he got bumped out because of an update or something. We still have 2 spots open. Keep trying. Sometimes people have had issues. MathPick had an issue one night trying to come in.
The internet.
Spatos.
I see you in the private chat, Jeff. I see you in the private chat. Jeff.
Well, technically, the internet goes all around the world, so it doesn't know what upside down is.
It doesn't go to North Korea.
Marty, it's your best friend.
It does, but it only goes to Kim Jong Un's house.
Technically, and if you're a globe earther, it does go upside down when it goes to Australia.
Marty's non-controversial friend is asking
They
if
have
I'm
their
creepy.
Earth retention harnesses
One at a time. One at a time, guys. One at a time. Guys, one at a time.
Everybody's
One at a time.
Everybody shut the fuck up!
Marty,
Look,
did
my
what?
friends from down under where their Earth retention harnesses. They lost the Emu War, but they're gearing up for the war on kangaroos. Those things are yoked, but they're working their way. They're doing it.
Yoked.
So, do you think our
Have you
country will
seen
ever
the
go into another
kangaroo?
civil war?
No,
Yeah, probably.
No.
probably not.
Yes.
Kangaroos got big arms, huge
I'm not that
100%. It's coming.
Even though the Civil War jerks have stocked the ammo, they are just too pussy to shoot it. I'm sorry. I come from
And they're so goddamn out of shape.
They're
Oh,
so
and
goddamn
why
out
did-
of
you should
shape.
come to my state where there's almost no gun regulation.
Well, I mean, if Donald Trump doesn't leave the
Arizona's like the Wild Wild West.
I said y'all got ammo. Like, come on. Like, just do it. Just do it.
If Donald
Are
Trump
you not
doesn't leave the
scared?
White House and he tries to use the military in some fashion to keep the White House, I think we're going to have a civil war really, really soon.
But the military's not going to do it, dude. They're not going to do it.
No, it's not the military. It's people like Messenger in Arizona who just said he's going to use
Oh,
ammo.
Wolverine Watchman here in Michigan.
Is Trigola, or how do I pronounce your name just to make sure that it's correct?
Who?
Tioga?
Just say young lady.
Don't say
No, I
yes.
don't.
I won't like that. So it's
Oh,
Tioga.
she likes it. She likes it.
Messenger
How do
doesn't know.
You have not met Messenger before. I have known Messenger for maybe over a year now. I have been sitting watching for a while. Knock knows this. Jeff knows this. This is fucking hilarious. That guy thinks he's an edgelord, tries to be an edgelord. John knows I love the bones of that guy, but he really does push buttons. Take everything.
Yeah.
Listen to what the man says. Oh, fuck off, you. Don't shake your fucking head at me.
Well, I love y'all, but
Man says-
I don't love no mother.
See, you're even interrupting me. You're even interrupting me. I haven't even had a chance, and you're interrupting me.
You're just saying that you love him. It's okay.
I love him. Does that make me? What?
I love everybody.
I don't love him.
I love everybody.
I'm very new.
Yeah, Matt likes everybody.
I'm very new.
I
don't
like
love
everybody.
Messenger.
Hell, I've even fucking hosted fucking Smokey Saint on my channel twice. Never again because he's a fucking wanker. But
Very
I put up
cool.
with a lot of people. I put up with a lot of people, and I understand John because me and him sort of think along the same sort of lines. He just
Very
uses the
cool.
force for the bad side. He just
Very
uses
nice.
it. For,
Ray, did you check on Jefferson?
I love his tribal
I'm
tactics.
not new to this.
my
I know that
favorite.
John's a
No,
god.
but you are all
Yeah,
going
what?
mad. You are all flipping out. You are all
what do you love,
crazy,
Tioga?
and you are giving
This
in
is
to
what
John.
the whole
and John
fucking stream is about. That's what the whole fucking stream is
You're
about.
fucking interrupting me. I've never met you, and I'm a nice guy, and you're fucking
Yes, you
interrupting
have.
me. You're
You've
proving
met me-
Messenger's
you've
point.
met me
You're
so many
proving
times.
Messenger's point.
You have
Have
met me.
fun.
You have met me. You met me so many times.
Somebody
You
voice
literally
is speaking.
I've
added.
never spoke to you on stream. I have
You
never.
literally added.
Did you
me
see he fucked her on
so many
stream?
times.
No,
I've never been on
how
the
that
stream.
act would play through.
Hey,
I
we got
have
10.
never been on the stream with you before. You're interrupting me. I didn't get to finish my point.
I don't care.
Let
No,
Matt
you don't
finish.
care. No,
She's drunk.
How the hell
no, she don't care. She don't give a fuck, and she's proving what Messenger is saying. You're being very self-centered, screaming over the top of people. You're proving exactly what he's saying.
Math Pig said it. I am proving liberalism 100%.
Diogo's just wild.
Liberalism is not talking over top of people. Leo thinks this as well. Leo thinks if you talk over the top of people, you scream your point over the top of people. It's right. It doesn't. It
I don't
destroys
think
the conversation. It destroys the
think that at all.
conversation.
I don't care.
Fuck you too then.
I literally
She'd make a great trumper. Tioga would make an excellent trumper.
I have
I
one.
would.
What, Matt, can you do?
I said to you earlier, I would appreciate you in my open mics. I think you're very opinionated and all the rest of it, and a good addition to the community and a good addition to a conversation. But talking over the top of people and saying because you're louder makes your point right, it's not true.
Yeah,
Matt said,
we do need to let people talk and not talk
That's
over
not
people.
what I've been doing. But anyways, fuck off, Math
You
Pig.
just did it on me. I have
I will
not
do it
been
again.
talking. There you go. See, proving your point.
Yep.
Oh, Math Pig's not taking that sass.
No, he's not. Is he?
He only takes sass from one
I'm
woman.
just asking for
He
fair
does.
representation.
Did I walk into
Love
this?
him.
Fucking messenger.
Yeah, he's having a fucking great time. I just want Joe. Good to see you back, man. Let's sort of.
I do think he's burly as fuck. He's burly as fuck, dude. Like,
Hey,
that's
John, do you work out?
And she likes it.
I don't like it, but you are burly.
So you're giggling? Woo!
I'm not.
I don't like
He
you
likes
at
it.
all.
She just
I think that's 20
he likes
age year
it.
gap.
It's nuts.
And Knock, can you put Puff back in?
Puff.
God, all right, yeah. So I got to do a bunch of shit. All right, so here we go.
I'm going to leave because I do have I have the new job, and tomorrow was actually my first day in charge. So I just wanted to jump in and say,
Good luck, Matt Big.
good to see. Oh man, yes, I'm only there 2 weeks. I've already moved them up 4 places in their stats. So I'm fucking
That's
fantastic.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep selling. What is it? Auto parts?
What I think Americans call it lazy mechanic and tires and oil.
Okay. Yeah.
Loops. He's a lube tech. Lube tech.
I know what he means.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I turned a £15 fucking exhaust bracket into 800 quid the other day. I want my fucking Christmas bonus. Right?
Oh, no, you're a
I will
full-on fucking mechanic, boss. That's it.
I will talk to you all later. Trigola, whatever it is your name is. Tioga. I did ask. I fucking asked at the start. She did not clarify.
I don't know. I don't know what he said.
As long as Math Pig isn't turning out bumping shunts, I'm fine.
Everything that I did was absolutely necessary, and I actually took 150 quid off the price because.
Oh no! I'm saying, you know what a bump and shunt is.
No, I'm not American.
Oh no! It's English. It's a bump and shunt. That's where you take two fucking smashed cars and you cut the bad end off one and the bad end off the other and weld them together.
Ah, cut and shut. We call that a cut and shut.
Cut and shut. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. Right. Everybody, been lovely meeting everybody I haven't met before. Definitely.
Nice meeting you, Math Pig.
Well, anyways, love you, Math Pig.
Always come Thursday.
Have a good one.
Open mics on Thursday. Come stir the pot. It'll be good fun. John will be there the next one.
I'll be banned, but you know.
I'll be damned.
Hey man, you're awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Math Pig.
Peace out, buddy.
Knock, if you can just put me backstage because YouTube still isn't working, I would like to listen on. But if you need someone to jump in and someone's trying to kick me.
Oh no, I'll put you backstage. Let me do that. Where are you at? You're right there.
Boom. Backstage.
How's everybody been today?
Who the hell let Athena in here?
Who the hell let Athena in here?
I just want to know what this dude's real name is.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mark.
I mean, I won't tell you. I won't say it on air.
I mean, I'm about to just start calling him. I'm just gonna call you Mark for now.
I'm having a great day. I condemned $8,500 in furnaces.
His real name is Midnight.
Yeah. It might or might not have anything to do with flowers or MLB.
Wait, what?
That dog is awesome. Is your dog trying to? What is your dog chewing on?
Your dog tore something up.
I don't know.
Everybody's about Tioga's dog now. Tioga, what's that dog doing?
Dog threw something up or pooped on the floor or something. It is not happy. Something is destroyed in your house now.
She's chomping.
It's a pig. It's your responsibility to carry the webcam.
You let your anger towards John result in something getting destroyed.
Wait, everybody, hold on. Korag Nightwolf just said Smokey's afraid of Messenger. Is this true, Messenger?
Who? Smokey?
Also, John, you have one of the cutest sons ever.
Well, thank you. Say hi.
What people do?
What do people do?
My God.
They're
he does this on purpose.
They're doing. They're talking shit.
Wow. They grow up to be just like you.
He does this on purpose every time. This is all psychological warfare.
I mean, Knock, you're letting him do this psychological warfare. So who's really to blame, John or you?
I think yours like a year ago, your son was blonde and the same age. I think you traded out kids.
He rents them for short-term lease.
Oh, don't tell the kid that he hasn't been pulled away yet.
Yep. This kid is going to be galvanized to the world thanks to online.
He leases with an option to nah.
That kid is smarter than all of you.
Nah, bro.
I mean, maybe.
Probably.
I know. I'm not very smart, so yeah, I guess.
He's not smart, but his parents that
Whoa,
rented
whoa,
him
whoa!
to
Correg,
are.
is Sunflower in the chat? Let me scroll up. I'm not seeing Sunflower. I'm
The
not seeing
Sunflower
that.
in the chat?
I'm not seeing that gay little profile picture of his. I'm sorry, I had
Oh,
to.
yeah.
I had to.
You mean he's a beta?
Beta. Don't make me go Jesse Lee Peterson.
Well,
on your
I'm
ass.
really
Oh,
disappointed.
Bennington.
I'm really disappointed
Oh,
Victor's not here because
really?
he was talking
Wait a
all that
second.
smack.
Well, okay, so what's your specialty, Midnight?
What was that?
I heard you're a savant. What's your specialty?
I
I mean, hilarious. I have none.
Oh,
Oh, puppy.
Well, that's not Pitbull. What is that?
that's an Akita.
Tioga, unmute your. Wait, no. Can your dog hear us, Tioga?
She cannot hear you, but she
Oh,
is
well then.
not. Oh, wait, maybe she can.
Turn the sound up so she can.
She's a shepherd mix, it looks like.
Here, play your games.
Nani.
Puppy.
Aw. She's like, what the fuck? I'm sitting here trying to chill.
That dog really looks like it needs some butt scritches right now.
That dog needs Jesus in
What
its
did the
life.
dog destroy?
Oh, fucking God.
I mean, John, you need Jesus in your life too.
Apparently, it's protecting you.
Well, I don't think so because during the time that Jesus is alive, they probably would have not looked too far or too down upon somebody that decided to have dog for lunch.
What?
There are
I
still
mean, I
cultures
don't think
that eat
Jesus
dogs.
was Chinese, but I could be wrong.
I don't think the Jews ate dog.
They
No.
ate anything that they could get their hands on.
They ate a lot of
not,
lamb.
not shrimp.
They didn't
There's
eat
a
pig
lot
or
of
cows.
they had so many food restrictions. No, you guys are wrong.
You know, I wouldn't put it past them, but it could be the case that Jesus was Chinese. I'm just not very.
I was not.
Are
Jesus
you
was
kidding
not
me?
Chinese.
I don't think.
Hey,
think that
look! If you're
dogs
gonna
aren't-
No,
Chinese,
he's probably fucking with you.
weird shit. I'm gonna have to disagree.
Well, no, okay. You know what? Let's do this. If you guys really want to hash it out, we
That's
can
a
have
retriever
stream.
right there.
Yeah, we can have a stream whether Jesus was Chinese or not. On my channel.
Oh, Jesus was definitely Chinese. Totally, all the way.
No, he wasn't Chinese. He was fucking Vietnamese. Get it fucking right. I mean, I know they all look the same, but let's get it right here.
Oh,
Wow, that's
Vietnamese.
racist.
That
was
Why you
racist.
said that and not me?
Leophilist is a racist.
Why have you made
Totally.
that statement?
Everybody knows how much I hate all them goddamn lazy black welfare queens.
I mean, I may be a welfare queen, but I'm
So
not
you're
black. I'm not
anti-LGBTQ
Barno.
too?
What?
Oh, she has 2 dogs. That makes sense. Tioga has 2 dogs. There we go.
I'm not banging.
You thought they were
boys
the
in
same
bars
dog?
Like Smokey.
No, there's
Bad fit or bad?
Tia has gotten into like complete this is just.
She's probably talking to us, but doesn't realize her mic's muted.
Probably.
Yeah, but
No, she's like,
What
It's
the
muted, you
heck,
drunk ass.
Jefferson?
These are like-
That's not very nice.
Oh God, she has
Not very nice.
those
No, I wasn't
I
being
am right
dismissive.
here.
I wasn't being dismissive of you. I was just saying, like, it was like you were doing like those Facebook videos that people see, where somebody
Yeah,
like
I know.
photographs their pet for like 10 minutes.
Hold on here. Is MathPig really backstage calling me racist? MathPig, have you seen your head?
What the fuck, Leo?
It's because he shaved like Messenger. Oh, this is fucking hilarious.
Oh God, you're not gonna play this, are you?
Play it,
Oh my
please.
God.
Yes.
Play it.
Oh, this is hilarious. It's
we
so
get to see
bad.
behind the curtain, folks.
All right. So yeah, somebody in the chat said that I need to look at this, and
It's fucking funny.
yeah. So,
Oh, it's actually borderline cringe.
It's cringely
Kenneth
funny.
Copeland. What do you expect?
I don't
Look at
think it's-
Marty. She's already covering her eyes in preparation. Like
Yeah,
that.
it's not-
And I
not borderline
expect him
cringe,
to
yeah.
very physically threaten a small female reporter.
Ah! He opens his mouth like way wide, like ah!
He
Yeah.
only
The only thing
opens
that's
his
missing
mouth
are-
like
are-
that when he's with the youth pastor.
Just click play.
yeah, I
It's
haven't
like
seen
that,
it.
that fucking shit crazy.
So it's only 1:20. So yeah, let's check this out.
I think you did the. I think you did the HuffPo
Comedian
one.
said
Yeah, I did that
Joe
wrong.
Biden's president. Ha 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 ha.
Wow.
Yeah, I got the wrong one. I didn't realize I got that one, but
he's got the straight vein copium injection going on, dude.
I just have one question about this. Number one, how much coke was he on, and where can I get some?
Copium, not cocaine. Copium.
You have to go to a specific spot in Florida where you can get Kenneth Copeland brand cocaine.
No, you just go to one of the diamond mines. It's owned by what's his name?
You guys are totally missing it.
By the other pastor owns a diamond mine. You just go there, trade him, get some cocaine, pick up a few blood diamonds.
That's not cocaine. If it doesn't come from the cocaine region of France, it's not cocaine. It's just powdered crack. Okay, let's get real here.
But how many more friends?
All right, no, I said that wrong. It's just sparkling crack.
There we go.
Look, if it's not Peruvian pink, it's not worth it. It's not worth my nosebleed. All I'm saying.
I just need to know how many more friends do I need to know that are named Bubba that still can't give me coke.
Well, I mean, you're not going to the right bars. Where I go,
evidently,
all the guys got cocaine.
I was gonna say, ID with where you live, dude. Getting cocaine should be no motherfucking problem.
You would think.
So, Rage, can I share this screen out? And I can play a video from the Hill. Got this thing with
I don't think it works.
Yeah, I have to share the screen for the audience to see it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Barbarian and your fucking Neanderthal technology.
It's clear. I could make it to where I share the StreamYard thing, but I would once I blew it up to make it a bigger screen, then it would just be really blurry. So
the Kenneth Copeland video was already pretty blurry, if I'm not lying.
Yeah, it was.
So running a bunch of stuff, yeah, it's just it's better to do it that way. I could do it a different way, but yeah, it would be really blurry at that point.
Mood break. Yeah, you two can flirt later. So mood break. When are you gonna send in a 30-second commercial to the Surfs knock?
To the what?
To the Surfs.
Surfs.
Yeah, the Surfs. They're one of the biggest leftist people in like social media, like on Twitch and YouTube. They're huge, right? They all the time they get Richard Wolf and all that. But anyway, any leftist channel, you can make a 30-second commercial, send it into them, just one for your channel per channel, and you can send it into them, and they'll play it at the end of their videos so that you get a whole bunch more exposure.
I have a feeling that if I invited Vosh onto my channel, I would get way more motherfucking exposure than they could ever hope to give me.
Well, no, they get Vosh on there too. They actually help Vosh get where he is because of the fact that
Vosh was already massive on Twitch, and he got banned from Twitch and came to YouTube and like brought like 10,000, 15,000 subs with him.
Rage, you should do it. You should message him.
No, I have
maybe. I don't know. I'm more an atheist channel.
And they got a huge audience.
What's it called?
I know they like
The
socialists, but they like socialists. But
what's wrong with socialism?
Nothing is wrong with socialism.
Socialism sucks.
Except
worker co-ops. What's wrong with the worker co-op? It's the most democratic form of work ever.
So, is it called the Surf Times?
No,
they have two channels. It's the Surfs TV, and Surf Times.
The Surfs TV.
So you guys want everybody to make the same amount of money, no matter what they do.
Yeah, I'm like borderline socialist. I don't really call myself like a real socialist yet.
No, they're just lefties. You don't have to be a socialist, but just lefties, you know. And you're
I can understand why
you can fight it, not.
I'm a market socialist.
Hey, Rage, they probably featured you on their channel before, just so you know. Like, you should go through their videos.
Yeah, I'll definitely check them out. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they only have like 54.2k subscribers. I would definitely get way more exposure by just having Vosh on my channel, considering he's closing in on 300k.
Can you get Vosh on your channel?
Actually getting Vosh on your channel.
Honestly, right now, no, probably not. And I wouldn't try to get him on right now. I'd probably wait till the new year after the holidays, everything like that, if I were going to try that.
Wasn't he under fire for some things that he said before?
No.
Yes, he has been.
Oh, yeah, several times, but that's kind of the nature of it.
Well, he's been under fire only from conservatives. So
I think he's one of the best debaters out there. I think he handles my favorite debates are when him and Destiny come together, because they're two really good debaters, just very different leftist type
They hate each other now.
Yeah, they really hate each other now.
I think Destiny's.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I love it
when
when they come together because they hate each other.
What's funny is he came
I
from
know.
Destiny's chat.
He did. And he has more viewers per stream than Destiny now. But
Wait, isn't Destiny kind of like he's more like the liberal and Vosh is more like the leftist?
Yeah.
All I know about Destiny is don't fly him halfway across the world to hang out with you and your girlfriend.
See,
It'll turn
Messenger-
out badly.
I don't get it. What did Destiny do when somebody first off, who flew him?
He flew around the world to Australia, took somebody's lady, banged him at their house, and then flew back to America with them.
Good for him.
good for him. But also, he had a hella anti-lefty arc for a while.
That's a side. Just don't let him hang out with the girl.
I don't know if that's
He
an
doesn't.
aside.
No, I mean, like, he has a girlfriend who lives in Sweden, but that's like, who doesn't have a
No,
girlfriend?
she
who
lives
in
with him.
Sweden?
Now she
what-
used to live
what?
with her other boyfriend before he hung out with them.
Yeah,
know-
do you guys know what
got
poly means?
departnered from Twitch.
He did because he's an asshole. That didn't have anything to do with his poly girlfriend. Okay.
Letting you guys know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just hilarious.
Messenger, you have a strong opinion about Vosh.
I just watched one of his debates on Modern Day Debate. I think was probably about a year and a half ago, and watching him like dab while he's on screen, I was like, "What a moron!"
Who was he debating?
Oh man, it's almost like seeing somebody take a drink from a beer.
It doesn't
Ouch,
matter
that's
who he was
shame
debating;
on
he was
him.
acting like a moron.
The
I
pre-committee
smoke.
here.
I've been
Better watch
smoking
out,
weed all
guys.
night. I'll take
It's
a
the right
hit on my
dab.
bowl right here.
Yeah. Are you always a contrarian, Tioga?
I didn't
Oh,
understand
you have a
anything that
crush on
anyone said
don't you,
until.
Is that
Messenger?
is that what is that what are you a lonely girl?
Do you just
Are you gonna
like
let her
talking
dunk
about
on
me?
you all
Do
night?
you just like
Yeah.
talking about me,
I need to
Messenger?
get my notebook handy.
Do you just like me, or like what's
Not
going
when you're
on?
doing that. Stop doing that. It's like
Jefferson was trying to talk and immutable, so Jefferson go and then immutable go.
I can't remember what I was going to say.
I think there's some chemistry here that needs to be studied further.
No,
Just leave these two in your room and just watch what evolves from it.
We'll just stream
there will be
together.
triple revolution, probably.
We'll just stream.
It'll be the
together,
first
fine.
instance of chemical evolution.
I think what
Yeah.
happened is Messenger tried to get into Tioga's head, and now Tioga's in Messenger's head. That's what I think happened.
I think she's in your head, buddy.
I think that's the first thing Messenger tried to get into with
I think
Tioga.
Raging's falling in love.
Probably not the only.
Actually, the one time I watched Raging Blush is when Shannon came on his channel.
Oh, Lisa for truth.
I didn't blush. What are you talking about?
You were giggling like a schoolgirl, man.
All right, maybe a
you
little.
had a clip of you. You had a
Maybe
clip
a
of you
little.
giggling like a schoolgirl.
I know, I was like, Shannon.
I gotta ask, who wouldn't? It's Shannon.
It's Shannon
Le-
fucking Q, man. Come on.
I don't find her attractive
great.
at all.
What about
She's not attractive at all.
Well, it's not about for one. It's not about her being
It's
attractive.
not about her being attractive. She's,
That's not very
she's a-
nice, and she
she's a
is
good person.
attractive.
And she is very attractive. Yes.
You can like her.
She's got a good personality. She lights up a particular portion of a conversation. That it doesn't seem like it's that big a deal.
Sure, we know what you're doing when you're watching.
Messenger is a little butthurt from that incident because she
He's
spanked
mad.
him and smacked him around a little bit.
I smacked her and she ran
No,
away
you
because
say
I
you
challenged her.
smacked her around when she smacked you around like the little bitch you are. Come on now. You've got woman issues now. Let's
Lisa
face
for
it.
truth is backstage, by the way.
Yeah, I got my damn auto thing turned off for some reason. So let's.
Who's backstage?
Lisa for truth, not standing for
Lisa.
truth. Lisa for truth, the good for truth.
No,
I always
Lisa.
gotta turn my view off and it messes up everything.
Not Lisa.
And Lisa's coming at you.
I gotta get in here because every time Messenger's in here,
Yeah,
he fucks up the psychology.
You gotta come in. You gotta come in and tell him to fuck off.
You have no education when it comes to even what codependency means.
Oh, there's projection.
Here we go. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it on. We'll keep it
don't,
on.
Don't fall. Don't take the Raptor bait.
We'll
All right,
just- we're gonna
Raptor
keep it on.
Jesus loves us all. He
Okay.
gave up his claws for us.
Oh my god! Now you guys are Skylar fans.
Who the fuck is Voss?
Skylar's my friend. What the fuck you talking about?
Bosch,
Messenger?
Bosch is a
I
is
said,
a
I
leftist.
said fans. FANS.
He's a leftist YouTube streamer. and he's pretty.
Actually, didn't he cancel his channel? Now he's doing digital fiction.
Okay,
He's not.
I-
He's not
Well,
digital
I don't
fiction.
know. Skyler's been
Skyler.
an OG in the community for like years now. He was here since like G-Man crap. So
Yeah, old school.
I've only been watching since that long. I haven't been in the community since that long.
Yeah, I think his wife told him to get back to working with the family. You ain't making any goddamn money.
that's not what it's about, though.
No.
If you were trying hard to like to find the worst way to make $1 billion or $1 million, yeah, YouTube is not the right option.
Yeah, YouTube isn't a way to make money.
I think he wanted to make it a if and it just didn't
No,
work.
if you had watched his goodbye, because he did a very artsy goodbye, which he liked, but then he said I didn't feel good because it felt like, I was just bouncing out on my fans. So he did a real goodbye. And during that real goodbye, he said the reason why he's getting done with it is because he's done. He's tired of talking politics. He's tired of arguing about religion. There's no point to it anymore. And he's moving on with his life. Also, he wants to be a teacher in the future, and he doesn't want his channel, the things that he's arguing with people on channel, to get in the way of his teaching career.
I think you're just mad you haven't had a chance to get spanked by Skylar Fiction yet.
I was on Skylar's show before you ever were.
No, wait, I don't remember that.
If you went on his show, I guarantee you were offered a chance to eat at least one bag of dicks.
Nope, not true.
Anyways, Messenger, your child is adorable.
Thank you. I bet your kids. You have a kid, don't you? Too.
I do have a kid. So
Boy, girl.
He does
age.
that shit on purpose, man. Don't feed into his bullshit.
Well, as long as you're good to your kid.
He's got like a little stack of candy right next to him.
Beat him and put him in a concentration camp. When
Don't
this
do it. Don't do it.
I'm gonna drive him down. I'm gonna put him in, and I'm gonna take 5 out. There you go.
My kid does
You
that.
know, Messenger lives in the land of denial, so there's no other land for him.
I'm still mad at him for being stupid. So
Yeah. The problem with Messenger though is he's not stupid. He doesn't believe half the Trump shit he said here this night.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't.
It
think
makes
he
for
brought
good
into any of that.
conversation, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's just here to troll. Like Victor's the real dude. Like Victor buys into the Kool-Aid. Messenger's just here to get into people's heads, man. And so yeah, Victor, I don't know, kind of cowardly tonight. Kind of coward. I think Tioga's in your head, dude.
Let's remember, it's first base.
Yeah.
Tioga's index finger is huge. I just wanted to point that out.
dude, our kids would get along so well. Like they'd be hellions. Just upside down hellions.
This is his.
Yeah.
Everyone
Tioga could just say like, "Yeah, you're Team Biden," and then Messenger could be like, "You're Team Trump," and they just like kill each other. Like,
No, Messenger and I would kill each other, but our kids would get along. Great.
It'd be an unholy matrimony.
I just wanted to point out that Kenneth Copeland clip because it was hilarious as shit. I mean, he is losing his shit.
Oh yeah,
That's what he does though. Like that's what he always does.
Yeah, he's always been like that. I stopped. I don't cover him much anymore. Just because it's like the same crazy. The crazy's literally in his eyes.
He's like the preaching version.
Yeah. Rage, I want you to get back to covering Girl Defined.
Everybody does.
That is like some crazy shit.
I still don't know who that is, and it sounds like I don't really want to know who that is.
No, it's
just crazy blonde girl.
Yeah, they're into purity culture. They
define crazy blonde, because when I hear the term crazy blonde, I probably get a different image than most people in the room.
Every blonde ever.
What?
They're in purity culture, no sex till marriage, and
that is not no sex till marriage. Yeah, that is definitely not the type of crazy.
Hey,
blonde
who's that lady? Who's that lady you cover that always wears the way too big sunglasses?
But they
she does them from her car all the time.
They also believe
Chelsea, whatever.
Chelsea Bidet or something like that.
Yeah, so
Bedell.
Yeah. She was supposed to come on, and that chick
My
is
son
a
just told me it's
coward.
only a game.
So Leo,
She's a
the
coward.
Girl Defined, they also buy into the misogyny. Their husbands are head of household, and even though the Bible tells them that they are to be quiet and shut up, they have a YouTube channel, and they write books, and they go on tours and all this shit. So
they're hypocrites.
As long as they
pretty
pass
much.
that check over to their husband, it's all good though.
Kirsten has to kneel with her husband every night before bed while he leads them in prayer. This is
Does her husband kneel, or does she just kneel?
Are these
That's
two
what
women
good Christians do?
Is this a polygamous relationship and like both these women are married to the same man, or like what the fuck?
No,
Oh.
they're married to different men.
No, Bethany, it took a while. It took a while.
Bethany's married to a gay dude.
Maybe.
Seriously.
That's not
We're not saying he's gay. We're saying we've heard some things. You know.
I'm not saying he's gay, but he did bang a boy in the butt.
No, he's very effeminate. He's very
Listen,
effeminate.
he could be pansexual.
Yeah.
Wait
So,
a minute.
well, more like
Look.
fundamentally repressed, probably.
I have a very important question. If you can be a pansexual, can you also be a potsexual?
What's a potsexual? No, fuck you, Leo.
Leo, if you could fit it in there, I guess. I don't know.
Look, all you have to do is make very trashy YouTube videos and complain on Twitter enough, and the LGBTQ will consider it a new gender after a while.
Listen, if you can be bisexual, you can be trisexual. We all like to fuck who we like, okay?
What about
Hey,
quadsexual?
look, I'm not
Maybe.
trisexual because I will not try
Maybe.
anything once.
I believe people should be what they are, whatever they want. Get kinky with it.
I'm not gonna kink shame, but I'm
don't
very
knock it till you try it.
conservative to a point.
Rage,
Okay, getting back to Bethany's dude. Didn't he go to conversion camp?
Who?
Bethany's good. No, Bethany's
Dobby?
dude is yeah, that's just the innuendo there. He's been a Christian musician forever. He's like a really rich Christian musician.
He's definitely.
Although they've had some hard times since he's gotten with Bethany.
Why is it all these?
I
Christians
wonder
with
why.
Bethany, that's a white girl name if I ever heard one.
Yeah, she is.
You're a
she's
racist,
totally
Leo.
white. Blonde hair, blue-eyed. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, white.
You can't be white. You can't be racist against whites, messenger.
You know, a more white name I've heard, and it's not really common anymore. Helga.
Yeah, I knew some Helgas.
I hear the name Helga, and I think of big Russian lady who would crush you in drinking game.
What about Freya?
Yeah, that's a Russian
Freya.
name.
But you need a good old-fashioned, heavy-hitting American name. Old school American name.
Bertha.
That is not American. That is Norwegian.
Bertha. Yeah, Bertha.
Beulah and Maud.
I was thinking like Becky, like
That's
big old Becky.
American. Now Maud is American.
And so is Beulah, I believe.
Eula.
Beulah.
What?
Beulah Bellbreaker.
Beulah.
Rage, I posted a video of Jill doing a video about you in the side chat.
Oh yeah,
my
I have
goodness.
to check it out. Yeah, I triggered Jill the other night, and I accidentally cut out the best part of that triggering. So
Yeah, you did.
Is Messenger teaching his son how to play chess? Jesus.
Oh, show it now. Right?
I try to get them to come over here, but they're too scared.
Why wouldn't you do it? Maybe because
I told
never
Jill.
say these.
Jill says that I
shit.
run from him, but he never does. He never comes to like a stream.
Dude, I saw a debate between Jill and Vosh, and I stumbled across it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know how Jill is still alive. Like somebody.
Yeah,
brought him back from
Vosh
the dead.
got him to admit to being a Nazi. He still runs
Yeah.
away from it.
That was fucking hilarious. I was literally crying towards the end of the debate.
Chat, yeah, I know. I gotta fix my Streamlabs apostate lines just changed. There's a couple other things that I gotta change on the pop-ups. Yeah, so sorry about that. I'll
Also,
get there
Jill-
eventually.
Wait,
Jill,
I have.
hang on. Sorry.
Wait,
Go ahead.
like, what's up with Creationist Cat? Do you all watch Creationist Cat?
Yeah, I was debating fucking Matchbox tonight on I don't even remember because it's a really fucking stupid topic.
About voting.
Yeah, is there voter fraud? I like James, but at this point, it's just using the dumbest topics just to clout chase.
It's alright.
Hey, it's a hot topic right now.
I got two questions for you, Rage.
Yeah.
Do you have that footage about Jill, about you triggering Jill? I'd really like to see it.
Well, I showed it. I showed part of it earlier. I just cut out the best part. Like I streamed it earlier today.
No,
But,
I want to see the best part, dude.
Yeah, I'd have to find it. But like, I trigger Jill like often. Like it's been a thing that I've done for like 2 or 3 years now.
I'm sure he's easy to trigger.
The first time he ever came in my room, like ever since then he just
I can
absolutely
vouch for
hates me.
this. Rage has triggered Jill quite a bit.
It's really not that hard.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's really not.
Also, when are we going to do that movie Falsely So-Called Part 2?
Well, it
What is
doesn't. It
about
doesn't.
10 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't come out until at least November 30th if he doesn't push it back again. So it'll be sometime after that.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Damn it. I wanted to make fun of it.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. You know, he'll probably push it back again though because he's done it every single time it's supposed to come out.
Pretty sure Sidestrike's going to have a movie night on that.
Oh, a lot of people will be.
funny.
A lot of people will be. I expect Cirrus will be doing it again. Yeah, a lot of people will be doing it, I'm sure.
Doing what? Who's doing what?
Reviewing Matt Powell's new movie.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna watch it.
That's how I was introduced to this community because I was in his second movie, and people.
Dude,
were
you know you
reviewing
could have
that
fucked
shit.
the whole movie up, right?
How?
Because he wanted you to come back for part 2, right?
No, he never invited me or he never asked me for this new one.
Man, I barely guarantee if you had got a hold
John,
of him,
are you
would've
watching
said
your
yes.
kid? What
and
the fuck
then
is
when
he
you got
doing?
into the movie, right? What you do is you show up, and then you show up in a robe, you take the robe off, and all you have on is just a man hammy, right? And you sit down and you do the whole interview like that. And he has to use the footage, right?
Yeah, I mean that would be that would be funny.
And just man spread the whole time.
I just no. When you said the word man hammy,
Oh, do you want me to use the Australian version, some budgie huggers?
yeah, sorry. I did want you to use that one. Yes, I did.
No, well, I'm thinking about reaching out to Matt because he reached out to me earlier today. I think it was. Yeah, it was earlier today when we were streaming.
Hey! How did Lisa get Marty's cat?
This is my cat. Her name's Callie. Meet Callie.
That's actually that cat belongs to Tioga. They actually.
You have 20 cats, Lisa.
I have no cats. It's all Lisa.
Oh,
I have two.
That
This
cat is
one
so
is-
chill, by the way. It's so cool.
Yeah, she is.
She's a little too chill. She's just inviting herself to your face.
It's the best pillow in town.
I wish I could get some pussy that would just invite itself to my face.
Wow, Leo. Wow.
Leo, come on now.
Leo.
Hey,
Come on.
Damn, Leo.
Damn,
Damn, dude.
Jeff,
Like, let's not be so fucking misogynistic, man.
You set that one up, Jeff. That was all you. You
Sexist,
set that up.
racist,
That's
Well,
real
I've
dirty.
had her
homophobic.
since she was 4
Oh yeah,
months
you know I'm
old.
racist. I only like the white pussy.
Wait, who said racist? Who said racist and sexist? It's just.
Oh, Mr. Clean
Leo,
right there. Mr. Clean.
Leo
Big and Burly did. What?
Leo did, or it was Messenger.
Yeah,
Come
well,
on,
I said
y'all.
it.
Just fucking
Messenger.
I said Leo is a
I
racist,
didn't say
sexist, and
a thing.
homophobe.
T. I didn't say a thing. So no,
So
my
for some
words were not
reason,
getting
Jefferson, I'm working a hand up your ass like a puppet, and people keep thinking you're saying it.
See, Messenger likes to poke and
Awesome.
prod about these ist and these ohs,
Dream on.
but he's literally the one here, like perpetuating that leftists have this bias and this agenda, and we're this and we're that, doing the same goddamn exact things that he's talking about others doing.
when leftists
Yeah,
literally
it's
eat the
called
box.
showing you how stupid it is.
No,
Stupid what is?
it's called showing how hypocritical you are and just trolling.
Hypocritical, please.
I will let you guys go.
Messenger.
Leo, it's been great. Rage, thank you for having me on. Messenger, always great to discuss
Peace,
things with
Jeff.
you. T, you always are challenging and usually making me laugh because you are hilarious. Puff, I don't know who you are, but you're also kind of funny. And Red Fang. Red Fang is laying in the cut like an unexploded bomb, waiting to go off on somebody any minute now. He always plays the long game.
Yeah.
See you later, Jeff.
Thank you,
Yes,
Lisa.
I do.
And And GeoSam, it's been great.
Oh yeah, have a good
taking it
night,
with you guys.
Jefferson.
Good night, Jeff.
Peace out, Jeffy.
Good night.
Gotta love Jeffy.
So
Good
not
guy.
many dumpster fires tonight. You know, like Messenger, you came in here playing mod. You know, a
Please.
moderate. You play a moderate on YouTube.
And you all tried to
play an
villainize
extremist
me,
in
and
the
I
side
whooped your little
chat.
asses.
Victor didn't show up. Fucking Chris Keith was in the side chat talking his Trump shit, but not coming in because, you know, this is an echo chamber when I'm literally begging for you Trump fuckers to come in and fight tonight.
It's an echo chamber,
This was
but he
the
won't
last
make it
fucking
not
night
one.
for it, and nobody showed up. And Messenger, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a fucking fascist in the side chat, but when I come on fucking line, I'm gonna be a little bitch and bitch out of being a fascist.
All right, I'll play a fascist. I'm gonna come kill everybody.
Hey,
Everybody.
Hey,
That's just psychotic. That's not fascistic.
Messenger's always a bitch, so you know that's just how he is.
Stop talking like you have a dick in your mouth.
Well, I mean, we haven't.
Damn, son.
You notice how we never
Messenger.
go to God with Messenger because, like,
Yeah, I don't
Messenger's
like
God is not that bad.
My God is awesome, and I'm just like him.
I mean, it's kind of weird that you talk to him directly and shit, you know. But other than that,
Hey, I'm the father. I'm the father's messenger. That's just the way
His
it is.
God's got a fat dick and it's in
Well,
his mouth.
well, you know,
I think
Messenger's
that's what you're
always
missing.
got- Messenger's
Messenger.
always got that Jesus
That's
stick in
what's
his
in your.
mouth,
That's,
so
that's what's
why.
in your mouth.
You guys need
Messenger.
to see Messenger's
I know.
audition
Look at
tape
him.
back from
Look
when
at
he was
him.
a teenager.
Look at
from
his
when he
big
just turned
ass
18.
mouth.
Wait. Nobody
That's God's
saw.
dick in there.
Nobody here has seen Messenger's audition tape from way back when he was 18 years old.
No, please show it.
Okay, so I don't have the tape so I can show you, but okay, so he's strapped up, like all fours, right? Strapped up. He's just there. He's in the room, all naked, right? The lady walks in from the back, no words to him or nothing, right? Just grabs him, starts slamming home like a 12-inch, 15-inch dong. She's just slamming him out. And then she, out of nowhere, she's like, La ensalada es pica mucha. And then the tape went to the next Spanish lesson.
Wait a minute.
What?
Is this an audition for a porn movie?
That's what
No, it was a
happened.
Spanish tape, but I remember
It was, a
Messenger
Spanish,
being there.
it was a Spanish tape and it involved God, but it did not involve Messenger.
no.
What the fuck did I just walk into?
Crickets.
Spanish
The weird
cocksucking.
awkward part of
People who don't have sex enough.
Yeah, the weird awkward part of somewhat
Hey, I ain't gonna lie,
fakeish
it's been a
political
minute.
conversation
Lisa's
turning
not
into
getting
a somewhat
any.
fakeish
Sugar's
religious
not getting
conversation.
any.
We're just
Yeah.
pretending to be as
Yeah.
offensive as
Okay.
Messenger does.
Fair
Often.
enough.
We're just
I don't
pretending
know
to tell
what the
people that they have
Never
cock in their
offensive.
mouth all the
Right.
time.
Rach wants a dumpster fire, but we're not getting one tonight. So
Well, you
we're,
start talking
well,
for hours, you
we
want a
had a
dumpster
couple
fire.
brief moments. Messenger
so we're
tried, he
just fucking
failed.
around.
Lisa's gonna share what she did on online night school.
Like, dude, I looked at information today. I was like, fuck it. If we're gonna talk politics, I'm gonna actually have the information here. And I didn't even really get any challengers. Like Messenger, you don't challenge me. You just say, "Nuh-uh, liberal bias." I mean, it's kind of
I didn't
ridiculous.
say that. I said you're reading off a propaganda website. Can you have at least your own opinion of things and things that you've heard and give me some direct quotes and not some chopped up version
But
of a
I
Trump
did.
speech?
I literally gave you direct quotes and direct stats and all of that shit.
You brought up the one video, and it was when he was talking about I believe it was Antifa, and was it Antifa and Proud Boys? Is that who were like squaring off in that brick throwing
In
contest?
Charlottesville, it was literal white neo-Nazis.
So it was like KKK people?
KKK.
No,
Well,
neo-Nazis,
KKK
Proud
was
Boys.
there, but I mean, no, we're talking. I can't remember
But there's
I can't
also
remember their names. We're the
SSAB,
actual
there's a whole bunch
neo-Nazi
of them.
groups.
It was Proud Boys. Was
There's
there.
the Supreme. There's SS. There's
They were actual neo-Nazi
AB,
groups.
which is Aryan Brotherhood.
Where he was
all
basically saying there's blame.
Supreme
They're both to
supremacists,
blame.
sorry.
They both have problems. But you know what? Maybe there are some good people. that
So
were
when he
protesting.
when he labels Antifa as a terrorist organization, is he in the right?
A terrorist organization?
Yes.
They're certainly not anything positive. That's for sure.
How are they not anything positive?
Bitches be dropping bricks off in the middle of protest to sit there and create
What?
some unrest?
What?
Well,
Bitches be dropping
where's
bricks
the
off.
Antifa
That's
headquarters?
conspiracy theory bullshit, right?
Oh, so everything's just conspiracy theory.
No.
bullshit?
I just want to know who's the head of Antifa.
Oh, because it's not an official organization that's like publicized out on a website.
No, it's a position, but
it's a position. It's not a group. It's a position.
So was Antifa wrong in World War II?
You guys are apologists for Antifa, really? Come on.
Was Antifa wrong in World War II, Messenger? When they were in Italy, tracking down fascists and skinning them alive.
The Antifa that exists here in America is not the Antifa that exists here 50 years ago.
Same philosophy, yes, it is.
Fucking the same.
No, it isn't.
That
Same
exists
philosophy.
in 1950.
Guys, shut up. You can't be that ignorant.
I know, Messenger. You don't want to fucking listen.
It's the same
to me, but,
philosophy.
like,
it's not a philosophy.
It is a philosophy. That's exactly what it is.
It's an organization.
It's anti-fascism.
That's propagating civil unrest. Anybody who's doing things to generate civil unrest for any reason is in the wrong.
You know what? Go ahead.
Civil
Lisa.
unrest for any reason.
When do you guys interrupt each other better?
Do we not have a First Amendment right to protest?
Go ahead, Lisa.
100%.
Lisa.
So civil unrest is wrong.
Civil unrest against tyranny.
What do you expect from?
Is not wrong.
One at a time. Let Geo Sam talk, please.
No, Lisa.
Lisa was trying to talk first. Go, Lisa.
Come on, you guys need to talk over each other and get who's going to be the strongest.
Messenger, you're the only one here.
Only
Lisa,
the strongest will survive.
You said civil unrest is wrong. Messenger,
So anyway,
right? Not wrong. If civil unrest, if you're fighting against tyranny, civil unrest is required.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway,
Depends on what side you're on, right?
I just want to point out that every time I tell Messenger citation fucking needed, he asks what is a fucking citation. So
I do not do that, Lisa.
Yes.
There you go. There you go again.
Look at Paul Senior over there and shit, man.
There she goes.
I'm telling you, I don't want to see Victor in the side chats talking fucking nonstop politics anymore since he can't come in tonight.
Hey, maybe he had a date. Maybe he got called away on special business. You got to give people better than sometimes.
Do you really have no idea what fascism is, or have no ability to see some of Trump's actions as being fascistic over the course of the last 4 years?
I see that you're desperate to label him as a fascist.
So when he was getting his crowds to chant, or his crowds to chant "Lock her up" in 2016, or just a few weeks ago when he was calling for the arrest of Joe Biden, that wasn't being a fascist.
No.
How not?
That's just him being a moron.
But I mean, you cannot be so stupid as to not understand what fascism is.
I think you know I'm not stupid. I think you know that I'm highly intelligent.
That's what's frustrating.
But at the same time, no, the frustrating thing is you want me to jump on the label game with the rest of you, and I won't play
It's all
that
about
game.
label games. Fascism is something that fucking exists. It's not just a fucking label.
You're right. In its extreme format, it doesn't exist here in the United States and never will.
Yes, it does. Words mean shit, Messenger.
Hey,
it's like
wait.
No,
I was talking to Nakatsuchi.
No. Words
talking to
mean
Nakatsuchi.
shit. No, words mean shit. It's okay.
Words always mean what they mean. They have a definition so that we can communicate. Scared like a little girl.
Look, he's trying to be a fake centrist.
Yeah,
maybe not.
It's nice that John's at least a decent when it comes to language.
Somehow,
maybe not.
He's the shy Trumper.
Shit. Like, I don't know what you want me to.
Twins are melting down.
I understand.
He wants to stand here and say, "Hey, I don't support Trump. But then go out of his way to support Trump and to legitimize everything that Trump does. To say that,
but you saying that I support Trump is like you saying that Trump is a fascist. It's just assigning a label that you believe is true because of a very small piece of information.
No, those words mean shit, Messenger. No. Just listen.
Right, and what he's saying is the same thing I say about
that's how we communicate. All words are made up so that we can exchange ideas and thoughts.
Yes.
Okay.
Messenger,
I'm exchanging mine. You guys listen to mine? Are you guys buying it?
And what?
You guys trying to even understand where I'm coming from? No.
Hold up.
You want me to get your position, but you don't want to understand my position and where I'm coming from. You want to jump and say, "Oh, because you're doing this, you're supporting."
You told us your position. Trump put money in your pocket, so you prefer him over Joe Biden. That's your position.
No, that was a question. I answered to a question you gave me. It doesn't mean that I support
tell us
him.
your position then. What's your position?
that I don't care who the president is, and my life's going to be awesome.
Well, because
That's because of
America. Fuck yeah.
So America has to
if
make
you
me
didn't
how my
care
life
who the
ran.
president was and your life's going to be awesome anyway, why do you come in side chats, mine in particular, I'm sure you've been in others since you're back now, trolling the fuck out of people about the president, about Trump, about being leftist, coming in here with leftist propaganda saying leftists are just biased and stupid, but yet, you know,
Because
you
I
don't
don't
care.
want you guys to get so emotionally caught up in something that doesn't matter a whole fucking lot. That's why.
You do it for us. You do it for the people you're trolling.
The shit that affects him doesn't affect us.
Bullshit. You get it. You do it because you get a
100%.
satisfaction out of it. You probably
Why is it
got a
always gotta be
fucking
that?
boner
Why
right
is it
now.
always gonna come to that? Why are you
Because
so
Messenger.
skeptical of my intentions? Why
Because
always?
Messenger, the shit that affects you doesn't affect us the same way. Like, you're just gonna have to accept
That's
that.
what I'm saying. Start thinking and reasoning like me, and you'll feel better. You'll enjoy
That
life
doesn't
more.
change shit for us.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Wait a second. Wait a second. Tioga.
We're not going
Wait a
into
second.
how
Hold
I'm
up.
the perfect man.
me respond to Tioga. Y'all
Pause.
can't just
Moderator
jump on.
here. Moderator time. Hold up. We're gonna take him seriously for just a second. Leo, I need you to wake up tomorrow. You don't have to be black tomorrow. Tioga, you don't have to be a woman tomorrow. You can wake up as a white
Can I wake
male
up
as
as
well.
Amelia Clark's husband?
Wait a
'Cause I'm
minute.
not
We're
doing it
actually
if we
going to
can't.
take Messenger. We're actually going to take Messenger seriously.
We're just gonna all wake up tomorrow as white cis males from
White bald
very
men.
affluent, wealthy
White
households.
bald men with beefy muscles and
We're gonna forget
beards.
about all of our problems.
We're gonna wake up as them, and we're gonna be fine.
I just want to
Yeah.
wake up as
Don't
Amelia
forget
Clark's
Nordic.
husband. Like that's it.
Don't forget
That's
Nordic.
literally it.
Yeah, just like she said, we're just.
Am I gonna
we're
wake
just
up bald
blonde,
too?
Alpha
No hair.
race,
No hair.
cisgendered males
wake
from
up bald, John,
wealthy,
I'm blaming
affluent
you.
neighborhoods, and we're gonna wake up tomorrow with no problems. We're just
You'd be
gonna
more
forget
shocked if
about
you're white.
all of our problems.
See, Leo's gonna wake up bald, and then John's gonna
Alright.
be like, "Oh, all those people that fucking kick the shit out of you, they're not. It's fine because you know what? You're bald. You're
So-
bald. You're bald. It's fine.
John,
Like, it
Messenger.
doesn't matter. It's equal because you were bald, and I'm bald. So
Are you bald?
all these things are equal. Dad.
Yes.
All these things are equal. I'm bald. Leo's bald. I'm bald.
Oh, shit. You mean Messenger is a father?
Yeah.
A father.
He's got several kids. Yeah.
He's the
a
father. Of,
too.
he's the father of several bald children with
lot
McDonald's
of children.
beards. He
I
has
thought-
a lot of children with McDonald's beards.
I think
thought
you're like
maybe
quiverful,
they
ain't you,
were-
Messenger?
I thought maybe he was like, an uncle or something, but
So
God damn it.
I-
Why do we live in a world where Messenger is a father?
What the fuck?
well,
Because
he's
God
actually
told him he was going to be a father.
Because he didn't. Because he did other things besides bang boys in the butt.
God said that everyone was going to be bald with white beards, so we will all live and not be fucking subjected to fucking, fucking.
What are you eating? Chicken McNuggets with your kid, man?
M&M's.
M&M's.
so
He
Trigger.
has
I'm
a bald head, so it's okay.
I said Trigger. Messenger.
Oh, does he know what the barbed wire tattoo means?
Oh, he's got a barbed wire tattoo. Everybody, watch out.
Oh,
That's his
buddy.
KO hand.
Wait a minute. Messenger.
God, don't kill him.
I got a question for you. Do you kiss Steve Anderson's butt?
He only attends the church twice a week. So I don't
man,
know.
Y'all do exactly what Messenger wants you to do. It's kind of funny.
You know what's really funny is that Messenger would literally exploit that rule to kill us all. So,
Well, I mean, that's
I
the
don't
thing,
think
though.
that's
That's where he learns his fascism, right? It's like, I mean, he's right
He
there in
does.
Arizona with him, Knox. So he's like, he feels at home with the fascism when he
Isn't
goes
that-
to
isn't that
church
what
at
fascism
Anderson's
is?
place. He's like,
Even Anderson
he's like,
has
yes,
some of
we
the
should get rid of the
smallest
gays.
churches here in Arizona.
I know, and that's why you like it. It's comfortable.
tiny.
It's personable.
It's tiny.
It's fascist.
So,
That
so
guy would-
let
yeah,
me
that guy would keep having a
let
service
me
for 5
explain
minutes.
something to you guys, right? So I was trying to hammer Messenger down on fascism, right? And he changed it to a conversation about racism and isms and how lefties like to label people this and that. And now, 3 hours later, now He has you all doing exactly what he said from the very beginning.
But isn't it fucking funny that
It's
Messenger
his
can get
game.
away with killing us for this shit and he won't get away with it? Like
okay, so
isn't
let's
that
put
fucking
that.
Nobody's gonna kill you, Tioga. You're gonna be
Oh,
fine.
I know,
Let's
Messenger.
get back
I
to
know you feel
fascism
really
then.
fucking good about that.
I will cast
know.
my powers of protection over you, and you will be fine.
Isn't it funny that Rage and Messenger kind of look the same?
he
and
doesn't
they're
wanna
both
kill
saying
anybody.
that it doesn't matter
Hey,
who looks
hey,
like
Knock, didn't I
him.
say that in
But
2020 a
also,
pandemic was coming if
it's
everybody came against
okay
me? And see,
that
here we are in the middle
everybody
of the
who
pandemic.
dies that
People
doesn't
fuck
look
with
like
Messenger too
him
much.
is totally cool. It's okay that people who aren't bald white people die, but like it's cool if Messenger is triggering all of you that like says that they want to kill you because of that, right? Like,
Nobody's killing you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you
I'm sure
talking
you
about
don't know.
fundies?
What you're
Are she talking about the fundies still?
I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, I
Messenger definitely
know what
doesn't
you're
support the
talking
NIV.
I do not like
I mean, it's kind of
anything
like
that
he
man
does
stands
a
for.
little bit. I mean, like, I don't know what the fuck.
One of the
he's
great
talking
joys I
about.
had was when he got pepper sprayed by Border Patrol. That was like one of
Wait,
my
who?
favorite
That was
videos.
Yeah,
funny video. That was fucking funny.
Because the hilarious thing is right around that time, we were traveling out to California, taking the whole family out there. Had one of those huge bus type like vans,
Cool.
and we got stopped by
You're
Border
fucking
Patrol.
bald and
You know
white,
what? Border
like, who
Patrol
fucking cares?
detained us for like a minute. Asked
A
a bunch of
minute.
questions,
He
looked in the
said a
van,
minute. He
saw
said
my
a minute.
multiracial stepchildren, and then they're like,
said a
all right,
minute.
move along. But no, Stephen
said a
fucking
minute.
Anderson has to argue with him about his civil liberties and then gets
Why
pepper
is you on our
sprayed.
fucking side? Like, why aren't you?
And then he
talking about
screamed
this
like a
too?
fucking girl.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I don't understand what the fuck this is. Like,
You never saw
No,
Stephen Anderson
I
get
was.
pepper
What the
sprayed?
fuck is this to something else? Sorry.
I mean, I don't understand.
Right.
The office was like,
have
I
that
can't
clip?
share any of my awesome knowledge if you guys keep talking about stupid shit.
Because your children didn't get fucking detained by Border Patrol, you think that I am going to encourage you? Like, I'm sorry, I don't give a shit.
Rage, do you have that
Because you're
clip?
What is, does
bald,
Teal
like-
even follow what I was talking about?
That's literally what you said, is that you went to Border Patrol and that none of your fucking kids got detained by
No, I
Border
wasn't
Patrol.
talking. We were talking about Stephen Anderson, girl.
And why did he get detained? Is that what you just said?
Stephen Anderson got brought up because Lisa for Truth asked if I was one of his devoted followers, and I said one of the most hilarious things. One of the most hilarious things about Stephen Anderson. You can't listen and talk at the same time, so let's try to listen. So Stephen Anderson actually challenged Border Patrol, got pepper sprayed by them because he was trying to share his civil liberties.
Actually, he got tased.
Get him. Get him.
If you watch
Actually,
his eyes,
that's
if you see his eyes, he got pepper sprayed.
Oh,
So,
okay.
anyways,
So
So
you're saying
anyways-
that like it's not true that people get racially profiled at the border? Like what? the
Stephen
fuck are
Anderson
you
can't get
talking
racially
about?
profiled when he's white and his entire family is white.
Who gives a fuck? It's all fucking bad when people get racially profiled.
So-
what
so
are you
we-
fucking talking about? Like,
So listen, I realized. Okay, somebody explain to Tioga that we're not talking about Border Patrol being good or bad.
then why are you talking about this? Like,
We're talking about it because I said one of my favorite YouTube videos. Whoa, you okay? I know. You okay?
Oh, wow.
Shit, Messenger,
That's
is
it.
your kid
You're a
okay?
terrible father, John.
Right.
Absolutely horrible.
That's all done.
Is that all better?
Is your kid
Yeah.
okay?
that's cool, but like
Yeah.
I don't think
Jeez,
that like people
Rage,
who,
do you have that clip?
yeah, I mean,
What
I don't
clip?
think people who are
Play the Stephen
white
Anderson
and
Border
bald-
Patrol pepper spray.
I don't like watching Stephen Anderson getting tased.
It wasn't the tase; it was the pepper spray afterwards, where his eyes were all red
So
and he's
do you
crying.
think
and
that
snot's
that's
coming out of his
cool?
mouth.
Do you
I've
think that
seen
that's
it, but
cool
I don't
for
like
white
watching
people? Do you think that's cool for white people? Isn't that like some shit that like that is bad for like all people?
When people are morons when it comes down to law enforcement, like he was, I think that it's hilarious when they get what they encourage.
I think he was.
corporal
I think
punishment-
he was
corporal punishment is
disrespectful.
not the-
I think he was disrespectful, but police shouldn't overstep their bounds, and they definitely overstepped their bounds when it came to Stephen Anderson.
Yeah, they
in
did
that
not.
situation.
They did not.
Hey, you're God mouthy, so we're gonna give you some good old fashioned corporal punishment.
Yeah,
He was being an ass. And
It's the
got
United
Still
States.
doesn't
exactly
doesn't
Okay,
equate to you're
Messenger,
not a
I
judge,
think you're an
jury, and
ass all the
executioner.
time. Can I just fucking pepper spray and tase you? I think you're an ass all the fucking time. I was raised in a military family. I think you're an ass. Should I pepper spray you? No.
If I was in a position of authority and I was sitting there detaining you, legally and lawfully, and then you act poorly, and then that's a response to it. Yeah.
Yes, clockwork. Yes.
I don't think you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well,
We're talking
yeah,
about people who are being detained by their skin color, and you're like, oh, one time.
We weren't talking about that at all. We were talking about Steven Anderson.
No, I've been
Anderson
about
is
that
right.
this whole fucking time. Maybe you haven't.
Hey,
about it, but I
so
haven't.
I'm gonna stop the feud. Hey, pause the feud. Pause the
I
feud.
mean, maybe it's controversial to you, but like I've been talking about that this whole time.
Silence,
So, like,
woman!
I know.
Silence, woman!
Please.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
Clockwork Rex wants to get in. Go ahead, Puff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Clockwork is muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Clockwork.
Well, yeah, I muted myself because everybody here was talking over top of each other, and that doesn't accomplish anything. And everybody should agree with Messenger because Messenger is always right about everything. Right?
Totally.
Is that basically what it boils down to?
Base.
Love you, Clockwork.
He gets it.
Love you.
He gets it. Clockwork.
No,
gets it.
I get that you're egotistic.
What a better world
self-centered,
this would be if everybody
and you
agreed with the way I
you
thought.
dismiss everybody else because they
Obama.
don't think like you.
I don't think I dismissed them. I listened to
Okay,
them.
I'm
And I
gonna
disagreed.
I don't think.
you-
No, I think. I
don't
think.
agree with you, then we're fucking wrong.
I think you diverted, and yeah, you haven't agreed with the goddamn thing anybody said about anything. Even if it is an agreement with something you've said previously.
What?
I think
You're a
Clockwork was dead
contrarian.
on.
Mouthful there.
You're a contrarian, Messenger.
I am not a contrarian.
Come on.
You've definitely been the show tonight.
No,
I'll
you
give
know
you
who's the
that.
contrarian is that dumbass sock account. That guy's a
Oh,
contrarian.
don't be talking bad about sock account, motherfucker.
Stock
he's
account is
Stock account.
wiser
Talking
than you
about
could
stock
ever be.
Listen, that Canadian Coast Guard, woo! Boy, they got some serious stuff they're out there doing.
You're still butthurt about all those times
Oh, this
dragged out in
dude.
Saco.
I mean, the only reason I'm
Ran
going
circles
to
around
say
you,
this
aren't
is he
you?
is in the Canadian Navy. Just like my father was in the Navy for 20 years.
Was your father in the United States Navy or the Canadian
My
Navy?
father was in the United States Navy. So
There's a huge difference between
Messenger, you were
the
in the
Canadian
Army
Navy.
for 4
Do you realize the
years.
Canadian Navy is smaller than the United States Coast Guard?
You were in the Army
doesn't
for 4
matter.
fucking years. Shut the fuck up.
No, I was in the Air Force for 5
Oh,
years.
so you
5 and
rode a
half years.
bicycle for your
Yeah.
physical.
He was in the Air Force for 5 years. That's
5.5.
That
Well,
is,
your
the,
yearly
that is
PFT,
the
you got a
least
bicycle.
amount of
Yeah.
time you can be enlisted for. So fuck
Actually, you can
Messenger.
you can actually enlist for 2 to 3 years in the Army. So
Oh.
you're wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. You enlisted for 1 more fucking year. I'm sorry.
So
No, I
anyway,
enlisted, and I decided I could make more money on the outside, and I wanted to take care of my family at the time.
Yeah. I
so
don't
anyway, I'm
fucking
gonna go. I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna say goodbye.
Bye bye. See you later,
Okay,
Lisa.
lady.
Night.
Alrighty.
Have a good night, Lisa.
All right. Bye.
Night,
Yeah,
Lisa.
it's been a wild one tonight. It has been a lot of over talking. I'm a terrible moderator, so like this is why my old open rooms were just like the fucking Wild West because I don't moderate. Continue.
It's been nice that I have John interrupt everybody every 5 minutes.
Oh
So
yeah, of course, yeah.
because he just always has to get a word in edgewise, no matter who's talking.
Don't you have a chair to throw somewhere on somebody's Facebook page?
Let's just say a chair.
Yeah, Paul Senior. Don't you have a chair to throw somewhere?
Paul
That's the look you're trying to pin down, right? The Paul Senior look.
I'm talking about John Peterson.
No, I'm talking about the look you're rolling with right now.
I'm rolling with a look.
Yeah,
You
you
like
got the
me.
black shirt, the
You like
bald
me.
head.
You
He was
really
ready for the white nationalist movement, but that didn't happen.
me. You really love me.
Exactly.
Messenger has done exactly what he wanted to do. He's got everybody against him, and he doesn't believe in none of this shit, man. Like Messenger,
Hey,
why
hey,
are you
Ray.
even doing this? Like, why did you come back trolling the way you come back? Like, you don't believe in none of this stupid shit.
Rage.
She doesn't wanna
You
be
and
a little
I.
fat.
You and I had to start talking again. It was inevitable.
Well, yeah,
It's-
I like
it's
arguing with people,
destiny.
and the damn channel got way out of control with, oh, you can't talk to this person because of this reason, and that person because of that reason, and fuck that guy, we all hate that guy, and I'm like, no, that's the guy I probably want to talk to, so yeah, I mean, it got out of
Cancel
control.
culture. So what I'm saying is we're talking again. We're gonna have conversations again. We're gonna get into some Jesus and
Yeah,
Bible
but you don't
stuff
have to
again.
do it by being fake as fuck.
I wasn't fake at all. I haven't said anything other than
So let's nail you down.
Nothing
Messenger.
that you actually believe in.
Let's nail you down. Do
I'm
you still think?
Why can't I finish my point?
Is Donald Trump gonna win? Still, like, do you think he's gonna win?
Doubtful.
Do you still think he's gonna take Arizona?
It's looking doubtful at this point.
All right, so I got you in a real spot right now. I appreciate it. Thank fucking God you finally found some reality in your life. Continue, people.
But I will say that Fox News did call it way too soon, and you know that.
Yeah, but you
can't have an election
too that you gotta eat that crow.
No, I'm not. I said I really thought, and the trends that were going on when it was reducing the vote, that with a number left, he was really going to catch him. And then Leophilus with his confident, is Maricopa County swinging Biden? No, they weren't. No, they were not swinging.
They were.
No.
According to the votes, they were.
Projected.
Yeah, according to the votes, they were.
all those. Okay, here's the thing: if all those Maricopa votes were going more toward Biden, the lead would have increased, not decreased. People, it decreased from 208,000 down to 12,400. So Leophilus didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, which is what I brought up the last. I can't say that long fucking thing.
Then just say fucking Leo, guy.
Guy, my name's John, not Guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
John.
my fucking God. Oh shit!
Not that hard to say.
Jack.
Yeah, I was probably wrong on that.
I got mad earlier. No, I got mad earlier because Brucifer called me boy. But I mean, come on, Guy. That's not anything.
Brucifer is a freaking. Oh my God, I can't stand that guy.
He's fucking insane. I'm just putting it out there. Had some fun with that guy this morning. That guy.
He was friends with a guy named
I live in
Thick
Arizona.
Shade.
I live in Maricopa County. And I voted. So
no, I said that Maricopa County is not predominantly going to be switching and flipping blue. I said downtown Phoenix is, but when you look at the outskirt cities in Maricopa, they're all Republican. I'm like Mesa's like 65% Mormon.
Well, that's the way it has been.
It was Gilbert and Chandler.
That's the way it has been. That doesn't mean it won't change.
I didn't say it won't change. I said it's not going to go. Those mail-in ballots were not going to be mostly Biden, and I was right. They were mostly Trump.
Well, at least you've come around. Biden's your president now, right? Starting January 20th.
Not until the certification of the votes.
All right, so now oh my God.
I said it's doubtful that Trump will stay in. I said it's doubtful that Arizona will catch up. So I said those things. It doesn't mean that Trump's still not going to steal this thing. You guys know this.
Will you be cool if he steals it? Will you be cool if he steals it? Will that be a good thing?
I will say if he steals it, we really got to look into why our government sucks so bad.
That's all we got to do if he steals it?
What else? Would you want me to pick up a rifle and go fight the good fight with you?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Or maybe
really, you guys want me to lead your rebellion?
No, I didn't say lead.
I'm putting your ass on the front lines. You're the first motherfucker getting shot. What are you talking about?
I'm a Rambo.
True.
Mushroom cloud layer motherfucker.
You're the cannon fodder.
True.
You're the cannon fodder.
I mean, so
hey, I gotta go, man.
Oh, God, all right, yes. Thanks for coming in, Geo Sam.
Yeah,
I don't blame you. I'm fucking
Yeah.
aggravated as fuck. It's gonna be hard to make it through this last half hour.
You can stay later.
Good night.
All right, have a good night.
Good night.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here too, peeps.
Everybody.
Oh, you got a modern day debate to go to?
No, actually, fuck. I don't want to watch Matchbox debate. He sucks ass at it, and I don't know the other person. So.
Hey, modern day debate is really good when I'm on it, John. So
it's even better when I'm on it. But peace out, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Love you. See you later.
Bye, Tioga. You woman. Stay silent too, because you know what the Bible says.
Right.
Remember your place. Remember your place.
Yeah, I need to change my bot name, Matt Piggy. Yeah, I mean, we are winding down anyway.
Matt Piggy just said Trump has a legal route to steal it, if it happens. And tell me you don't have any anxiety that he's going to be in office.
I don't.
What do you mean?
You're drunk all the damn time. You can't have anxiety when you're drunk.
Do I have anxiety that... No, I don't think he's going to be able to steal it. I really don't. I don't think the Supreme Court, even with the extremist judges that are on there now, will hand him an illegal victory.
Again, it comes down to all the court stuff and all the different ways that it goes. If it gets to the Supreme Court, if the ruling gets to the Supreme Court, he's going to be in office. So if you hear shit's going to the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania, shit's going to the Supreme Court in Georgia, then you'll say, fuck.
Messenger, when
No.
that happens, I will
No,
PM
'cause
you
that's the progression.
specifically, and I will say, fuck.
Did you just say PM me?
Messenger's
Private
feeding you a
message.
false narrative because that's the progression.
PM, not P. I thought
That's
you
what's
PM.
going to happen, and because it's a presidential election, they're going to rush it through to the Supreme Courts, and you know this. You're smart enough to know this. You're smart enough to understand what's going to fucking happen. You were around in 2000. You saw how they rushed that shit through the courts. We'll have a decision fairly soon. They're going to go to the Supreme Courts of each state, and then they're going to take it to the Supreme Court, which is the process. Is it okay if the Supreme Court hands him an election without any evidence of voter fraud against the will of the American people? Would that be okay? And would you not at least support the citizens of the United States taking an illegal president out of that office?
Okay, there's a few things here. One, if it runs through the justice system and he gets to stay in office based on some level of fraud, some message of disinjustice, something dishonest, it's not okay. Do I support citizens bearing arms to go try to remove somebody and end up getting killed by our military? No, I don't support that.
So would you support the military supporting an illegal, illegitimate president? Joe Biden.
They have no choice. They have no choice. When you're in the military, you don't have a choice. Whoever the commander in chief is, that is your boss.
You don't have a choice to disobey a direct order that would be against the law?
Well,
Again, if he's giving an order as the president, it's going to be a lawful order.
if Trump
No,
Like,
it's not. If he's not the real president.
If he ordered the military to go sit there and kill a bunch of innocent civilians, that would be an unlawful order, 100%.
if Trump loses, he's not going to be supported by the military. The military doesn't even
The
like him.
Uniform Code of Military Justice says you have
not
every
gonna be
right
supported.
to disobey an unlawful order, no matter who it comes from.
It depends on what you view as unlawful. If you think that him winning the presidency through
I
a
have the
Supreme
fucking
Court-
book in the basement.
You're missing the point.
No, you're missing the point.
If Trump stays in office and he gives a lawful order for them to go into initiate martial law in cities of unrest and protest, is that unlawful? No,
The
it isn't.
military is not going to uphold that. I mean,
It is unlawful if he's an unlawful
you're right.
president.
If the military went against it, it would be mutiny, and
No,
mutinies
it
happen.
wouldn't. He's an unlawful president. He was not elected. He's not. He doesn't hold the office. Joe Biden
Supreme Court
does.
says he stays there. Isn't the Supreme Court lawful?
Messenger might not believe this or not, but if he loses the presidency, the military is not going to uphold that. Like,
Why do we have a Second Amendment?
Clockwork's holding his hand up.
No, you don't want to answer that. Go ahead, Clockwork.
No, I do want to answer it. I'm trying to be fair.
Oh, because Messenger's always right. I mean, have you been in the military? Have you ever served? Other
Yes.
than in the Air Force, which is not really the military.
Oh, the Air Force isn't the military? Okay.
Not really. I mean, you sit behind a
Hilarious.
goddamn desk most of the time. I've been in the field, and I've been given an unlawful order, and I refused it. And the guy that gave me the unlawful order got disciplined for it.
Yeah, and I jacked up a full board colonel for illegally driving on my flight line. So, with my M16,
happen. It's not going to happen.
what's not going to happen?
What, Trump being upheld?
Oh, I thought we were talking about lawful and unlawful orders.
I mean, what are we else are we talking about?
He's just it's bullshit. So I don't know. We're not going anywhere. It's 10:30.
It's like, what about Bob? Trump's not going anywhere.
I'll let you guys. I mean, we got a half an hour. Just say whatever. I'm done with politics with you, Messenger.
I got better things to
I'm
do. I
just
gotta go check
done.
out these tool seals and stuff. So I'm just gonna say, watch Democracy Net work. Richard D. Wolf. We need to change this system. This is the system of work in America where we have a boss and employees that just have to do what they're told or get on the road. You can go somewhere else to another dictatorship. No, we got to change this to a worker co-op system where it's
breaking up for everybody else,
where it's
too?
a democratic system.
You're breaking up, Puff. We missed half of what you said.
Sorry. Democracy at Work, Richard D. Wolf. Go check it out. We have to change the way that we work in America. We have the most undemocratic form of workplace you could ever think of, where you have one monarch that tells everybody what to do, and then if you don't want to do it, you can go somewhere else to the next monarch. It's just not a way to work. We need to change it to a worker co-op system where it's a democratic system and everyone has a vote.
How about we split the country in half, and the Dems go be on their side, and the Republicans go be on their side, and then everybody will be happy, and there won't be a divided country.
I bet you love segregation, don't you?
What?
You love segregation, don't you?
In regard to this country, I'm not sure it wouldn't be a bad thing for that level of diversity or that level of divisiveness towards each other to be split.
He says divisiveness after he says to segregate the country. Like, okay.
All right.
No, my point is the country is separated. We're not the United States anymore, Tioga.
Okay.
If you want to talk about divisiveness.
What?
Tioga.
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, you cut out.
Clockwork. Clock, you have to say that again. We didn't hear you.
If you want to talk about divisiveness, I just gave you an example. The Marines hate the Army hates the Air Force, and the Air Force hates everybody.
Because the Air Force is better
and the
than
Navy sits at the bottom of the barrel. Sorry, Tioga.
It's true.
I mean, but when on a day like today, is it still Veterans Day? Yeah, it's still Veterans Day. We can all come together and appreciate what we've done for this country. Even if some of the shit we had to do was fucked up, we did it because we thought it was right. And if I disobey an unlawful order, I think it's unlawful, then I'm doing what I think is right.
Sure.
Okay.
I disagree with that.
What's wrong with this country today, I think, is so many people are not willing to fight for what is theirs. Like, you're sitting here saying that it would be okay if the Republicans who stole Gorsuch's seat away from Merrick Garland for a year would not allow Barack Obama to appoint that judge, to push through Kavanaugh despite his issues and extreme politics, push through this new one 2 weeks before a fucking election. If we're supposed to allow the Republican Party to steal an election and not do anything about it, I mean, that's what's wrong with this fucking country, is that 20 or 30% of the country are like you and say that this is fine, that this is okay as long as I'm getting paid. And that's fucked up. And probably even more people than that are so fucking stupid and idiotic and just lacking any fucking empathy for the rest of the world. It drives me fucking nuts.
Right, but don't you think you have a bigger responsibility for your own personal life than you do for some civil war? Because
I have a responsibility for my daughter's future. That's what my responsibility is.
We all benefit from taking care of each other. All of us.
But you think that the whole country takes care of each other?
No, but I think
there's so much.
But I think we benefit.
It's impossible with the mentality that you are exuding here, because you're not a lone messenger. So many people think the same exact shit.
I think on my viewpoints and the way that I see the world, and I think I'm very alone in that regard, and I'm okay with that.
You're definitely not alone when it comes to Americans willing to accept a corrupted Supreme Court's illegal stealing of an election. This president is screaming about a free and fair election being stolen away from him as he's trying to steal it, and you're sitting here saying, hey, if that fucked up Supreme Court that the Republicans just stole, if they say a thing, well, that's it. Hands washed. I mean, that's fucked up, Messenger. It's fucked up.
I didn't say hands washed.
You basically did. I'm gonna fucking cut it out.
I didn't say hands washed.
Not those exact fucking words. You didn't know.
Like, I said my life will still be awesome, regardless who the president is.
But will your kids' life still be awesome?
Yes, because I'm programming them to see the world in a healthy way.
But they won't survive unless the people around them support them.
You're the most aggravating.
Messenger just used the right word. He's programming his children. Like
you were programmed too, Clockwork. You were programmed by your parents.
It's
She
okay.
was
No,
programmed by her guardian parents.
I'm not programmed by my
Yes, you
parents.
were. You have no clue how human behavior in the brain works if you don't understand what I'm saying.
Messenger, no human is an island. No man is an island unto himself. You will always need the other people around you. You need people to help you. Your kids will need people to help them. And
My
we
kids
will
will
help
be influenced
them.
and educated by the people that they're around. That's 100% true.
Exactly.
And they'll be educated and influenced in good ways, and they'll be educated and influenced in bad ways, healthy ways and unhealthy ways.
So you should expect that people around them will want to help them, and you should be invested in that. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
I teach my kids not to be a slave to what other people say and do. That's what I teach
It's
my
not
kids.
about being a slave. It's
It
about
is
helping
it's
each other.
100%. No, you
It's
can still
about-
help each other. You can still help each other without being an emotional and mental slave to others.
Yes, you can.
You can do that.
Yes, you can.
I do it all the
can't you?
time.
Yes,
I help
you
people all
can,
the time.
can't you? Yes, you can, can't you? So why don't not everybody is a slave, dude? Like, we're just trying to help each
If
other.
your emotions and state of being is dictated based on the actions and behaviors of other people, you are a slave to what they say and do.
What?
You're
No one's
allowing yourself to be a
dictating
slave to them.
anything. No one. Everybody is trying to help each other. Like,
what
I would love a world like that, Tioga. I would love a world where everybody was helpful to each other and did their part and shared their gifts and talents with everybody. So we
Messenger,
could all
I
live
would
better.
love that too. I would love if you would help us too.
Well, nobody wants to hear because they think that I preach psychobabble bullshit or fucking
Because
pseudo.
that's all you try to do. You don't try to help. You just try to preach what everybody isn't doing or is doing. You're just you're not trying to help.
It's just the beginning, girl. It's only the beginning.
Messenger, you need to help. You need to be a part of the community. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I am like God and God like me.
I find it funny how you project shit.
What movie was that from? Cape Fear.
Like the moment you start to go and say like you guys do this and that, then I just like that's what Messenger's been doing the whole time. It's kind of fucked up. Like before in the old open rooms, even before we got to the like psychological bullshit that happened, we focused more on religion. So we never really had many political discussions. I don't think back in the day. This is all new. And this is a really fucked up part of you, Messenger. I'm not gonna lie.
What, did I have a neutral view of things?
It's not a neutral. Well, you come on stream with a neutral view, and it's frustrating and aggravating because you spend all week in the side chats, fucking aggravating me for a week. So
I did not aggravate. Why did you allow me to aggravate you?
I'm rearing for a fucking fight tonight. Because last night I'm reviewing shit and you're in my side chat and the whole side chat all goddamn night was politics because of you, Messenger. So don't even fucking sit here and come with this neutral bullshit.
Because people want to sit there and have a fight, so I give them what they want.
Like, Messenger, we will help your kids, but like you need to put in the effort to help our kids too. Like, I'm just saying, like, as a mom, like you need to put in that effort too.
I put in as much effort as I can.
I try to go through, you dismissed all of my stats when it comes to the economy up to 2019. I try to tell you how people are struggling, how we are not advancing. You can sit there and say that your life is going to be great. You make a certain amount of money, you're going to be fine no matter what.
I didn't talk about it being money, why my life is great. I could be in a cardboard fucking box on the street with my kids, and we're still going to be awesome.
Well, let me tell you, it's not awesome to be in a cardboard box on the streets with your kids.
In a cardboard box with
It's
your kids
not.
because we don't want you
And
to be
people
in a
are.
cardboard box with your
Point.
kids.
I'm talking about
That is the
Tioga.
point.
No, what I'm trying to say.
That is the point.
The point is a state of being and a state of feeling are independent of what's going on around you.
Well, what's going on around me is that I would never let your kids be in a cardboard box.
Would you like to have?
Should be in that
would you like to have a state of contentment and peace, regardless of the hell that was going on around you? Wouldn't that be an awesome state of being?
What are you talking about? What hell? All I'm saying is that I don't want your kids to be in a cardboard box. What hell? What fire and brimstone is preventing me from helping your kids not be in a cardboard box?
I'm talking about if the world's falling down around you, no matter what's going on, politically, educationally, religiously, oppression this, abuse and neglect that, you can still have a healthy state of being that says, I'm going to be all right.
By what? Like, What do you mean? No, I don't get to choose
Based
that.
on how you perceive yourself and how you perceive
No,
others.
that's not how it works, Messenger.
That's
And
exactly how it works.
if your boss, if your
You
boss,
just don't know how to. I get it.
if the military discharged you right now and told you that you
I'm
couldn't
not
have
in the
love-
military.
I know you aren't because
But you're saying if I was active
I
duty,
know
I got
because you were
discharged?
only in the military for 4 years. But anyways,
That's-
if you were like in the military and they discharged you, I would still say that you don't deserve to be on the street with your kids in a cardboard box. That's the difference. And you say, oh, it was just how you acted that made you be on the street. You would never be on that same side of being like, I would never let
I'm
your
not talking about I'm not talking about fault and stuff like that. If that's where you're trying to take that to fault or blame or deserve, I don't think in those terms.
Then what are you saying?
Everything that happens doesn't happen because somebody deserves it or not. It happens because it's inevitable. Okay? People are
What is
programmed.
inevitable?
People are
No.
programmed. People are programmed to become what they become. They're influenced based on their experiences and their environments that they're a part of, and they act and behave according to those experiences as they process the world around them. Everything that happens is inevitable. But when you realize that's the truth, then what you do is you expose yourself to information and experiences outside of what you've been through so that you can gain what others have.
Yes, and I gained the ability to know that I would never let your family be on the street, and you should have that same consideration for everyone else.
You're missing the point when you sit there and keep going back to being on the street.
No,
That's
I don't
not the point.
understand. Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? I don't want your family to be less than my
No,
family.
he's trying to tell you his perfect solution and his cure for everything. And we're not going there, Messenger. God damn it.
I never said that.
No, I
Nobody
know
said
you
anything.
well,
No,
though.
why are you using those words? Stop trying to make something into what it isn't.
I know you well.
You're creating a dumpster fire on your own dumpster fire.
I just don't understand. Like, even if you have a perfect solution, like, what's your solution? To let some other people sleep on the street because of what? Like,
And be able to look at something and say it's wrong without needing to feel angry about it. Look at it and say that's wrong and we can do things to correct it without villainizing the group that fucked up and made it happen because they couldn't have done anything different than what they did.
that's what I'm saying.
They could
is that
have
you would
done
look at
something
a-
different.
It's universal
That's
and
what I'm
unconditional
saying. is that
empathy for
you
everybody.
would look at a family on a street and you would say, "Oh, they couldn't have done anything that they did," and you would let them sleep on the street instead of being like, "I have within myself the ability to harbor these people, or I have within myself the ability to change the policies that keep these people on the street." But you're not considering that. You're just giving it all to individual will.
When you
and,
can
like,
get rid of our current government and democracy, then maybe there's an opportunity. But I don't
it's
see
not
that
about
happening.
getting rid of it, Messenger. It's
Oh, it
about
is.
fighting. It's about fighting to
Our
change
government is so fucked up. Our justice system is so
it.
fucked
Yes,
up.
it is. And it's not about getting rid of it. It's about changing it.
Then
and
why-
using the-
There's too many people sucking on the political teat on both parties that can't get out of hating Trump or hating Biden to go, you know what? Let's fix it all.
I don't know. what
Everybody
to
wants
say
to
this
hate
guy.
Trump. Let's get
Like,
Biden. It's better than Trump.
I don't know what to
Hey,
say
we
this
hate
guy.
Hillary. Let's get Trump in there. Everybody who's part of that system on one side or the other is the fucked up person, including a lot of people in this chat.
But I'm not.
You're not going to
saying-
create change by villainizing one side or the other.
I haven't been villainizing
You're not-
anyone. I'm saying
You're
everyone
villainizing Trump
deserves
all
the
night.
right to be able
You're
to
not
live
gonna
their
have
life.
you're not gonna have progress if you don't villainize fascism, Messenger. If
Wrong.
you don't villainize fascism,
Pick
fascism
up a
should
weapon,
be villainized.
form a militia, and then sit there and get buy-in across the masses of programmed people who are buying into a two-party
But
system.
Messenger doesn't even have the empathy to be able to deal with people that live within
you're
his
missing
system.
Only
Messenger
fascists
doesn't
defend
have the ability
fascism.
to have
All
empathy
human
within
beings.
people who already live in the militaristic,
Person who has
capitalistic
unconditional
society
empathy, no
that
matter
we
what
have.
anybody does or
He
says.
doesn't care about those people, and if he was in that position,
Don't
he would,
mistake
he
inaction
wouldn't care
or
about
action
them
for
either.
care.
Like all
Care
I'm
is a state of-
saying,
Care is a state of feeling and being. It has nothing to do with what you do with it.
well, it surely does, Messenger.
Maybe I'm wise enough to realize there's certain things you can do and can't do as an individual or even a collective small group.
And that's where we have our fucking problems, don't we?
Dude, there is
The problem
pretty.
is you think you can change shit and you can't.
All right,
You
so-
don't have enough money and influence.
He's
Do you know what it takes to get? You know what it takes to gain circle of influence with people?
He's very lost. He doesn't know. Like, he
Do you
doesn't
know what it
All right.
takes to gain circle of influence? That's what it takes to create change, and you don't do that
Yeah.
by bitching and villainizing.
You know what,
one person.
Messenger? That's what leftists do. Leftists take that circle of change, and they try to make circles of change within other societies. Like,
no, they don't.
Messenger,
That's,
all right,
that's the ideal way that you would hope it would be, but that's not.
You're sitting here, Messenger. You're sitting here saying that we shouldn't villainize fascists and we shouldn't hate Trump. He attacks the squad. Racist attacks 4 members of Congress. Thousands.
He's saying we shouldn't help people at all. He's saying we shouldn't help anybody who.
Oh, I know.
I
thousands
said
of
that
no warrant raids by ICE. 5 days into his presidency, he signed. He allowed illegal pipelines to go through Native communities. Zero tolerance policy we talked about, calling for the arrest of Hillary Clinton, calling for the arrest of Joe Biden, federal agents in unmarked cars arresting U.S. citizens, force on citizens for a photo op at a church, demonizing his political opposition as radicals and labeling Antifa as terrorists, use of nonstop propaganda and misinformation, Muslim ban 1, 2, and 3, the gutting of institutions, and politicizing the military, to name a few. I mean, why shouldn't we villainize that, Messenger?
Because it doesn't create positive change that you want to have
Bullshit.
happen.
Because you agree with it. That's the only
I don't agree
reason.
with it. I don't agree with it.
Naka, it's not that he doesn't even agree with it. It's that he doesn't think that it doesn't. He doesn't think that positive change does anything. Like
positive change does, but what you're doing is not positive.
Only fascists defend fascism. Only fascists sit here and say it's not that you don't.
Fascism once.
All right.
He doesn't think he just doesn't think that like humans can help each other, and he thinks that humans.
No, you're missing the point too.
Messenger, that's what you just said to me.
It isn't what I just said.
Yes,
it's what you believe that's
what you just said to
that's
me.
the stance. No, it isn't. I said you don't have enough circle of influence to create the level of change that you think that you do. You have to build circle of influence.
And I am saying that you have to build that circle of influence, and that's what we're trying to do. And you say
you don't
no,
do
that
it. You
doesn't
can't build
happen.
circle of influence by villainizing an opposing side. What
I
you
didn't
need to do,
villainize you,
what you
Messenger.
need to, what you need to do, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do if you want to incite positive change is this: you have to figure out what makes a fucking idiot a fascist. You need to sit there and find out what poor programming went into that human soul that makes them believe that that is a excellent way to live and an excellent way to be. And then you need to educate them and give them the information that they're missing that would make them go, oh my God, that is fucking, why the hell was I a fascist this whole time? That was fucking stupid. That's what you need to do. But when you villainize things, you should be talking about the positive. You need to be talking about the positive qualities and traits that they lack.
What human soul needs to hear this?
A fascist.
Which fascist? Obviously, someone
Whoever
is doing this. You're saying that someone is doing this. So who?
Whoever they are, whoever has these ignorant viewpoints and judgments that you think are opposing a better way of living.
Wait, we both agree that there are people opposing these.
You have to educate people. You have to teach people how to heal, how to grow, how to be smart, how to be wise. If you do, ignorant, uneducated people, whoever they are.
Do you think there are fascists out there?
I think there's ignorance on both the left and right side of the aisle. And if you're part of either side, you're fucking wrong too.
So there is someone out there who is making the bad decisions, right?
On both sides.
Well, who?
The people in positions of power.
Can we not figure this out?
We haven't, because here we are, because we shouldn't even have a fucking single president. Having a single president when there was fucking 11 states and maybe 13 states made sense. Having a single president with as large in our population the way it is fucking ignorant. It's a horrible government.
So you're saying that we should be fighting against the presidency?
All right, yeah, uber libertarian.
If you want to create change, you need to sit there and do something more than a two political party system. And you have to rewrite our fucking constitution and add new shit to it that's relevant to today and not the way it was back when the fucking colonists were there with 13 fucking states. It's a fucking ignorant system. And they left room to sit there and make changes, and we didn't fucking do anything over the last 200 to 300 years. Why? Are we that fucking stupid? Yes.
I feel the same way. And I feel like we have answers for that.
Why aren't the answers happening? You think that when you have a left-wing president, a left-wing fucking Senate, and a left-wing Congress, it's going to go the way you think it does?
Maybe because of people like you, Messenger. I don't know.
Maybe people like me. The people that are saying that's fucked up no matter what side you're on?
People who are saying this is the fucking problem and then saying, oh, it's no one's fucking problem. It's just three parties fucking problem when we don't have a three-party system. Like,
I don't think there should be a three. I don't think there should be a party system.
I don't know.
I mean,
the people
all right,
who are
so
elected
we're gonna wrap it up.
Should be there to sit there and convey the morals, ethics, and values of the people who elected them, and it's not that way on either side.
Okay, so we got the uber libertarian shit. We're gonna wrap it up. So it's still somewhat ironic, and I'm gonna finish on this point. You come here and you say we do all these things. And now you're talking about how you can't even demonize fascists because that's harmful, and yet you sat for the first hour and a half and told us how Trump is a better president than Biden, when Trump, I mean, just is negative as fuck to everybody around him and every demographic possible. The dude, like, literally talks about Pocahontas. We went through the racism. I've tried to show you just the blatant fascism. You refuse to even acknowledge it, and then you say you don't talk bad about fascists. You gotta convince them the nice way. When I sat here and explained it for an hour to you, and you just won't even fucking accept anything. You won't even accept what fascism fucking is. So, I mean, it's very frustrating. I'm going to end it there because the dumpster fires are what people do come to see. I am sad about that as well, Math Pig, but it is what they want, and I love them myself. But you do want some kind of fucking just acknowledgement of just the truth of the fucking matter, and we're not going to get that. We're not going to get that. And I'm gonna end on this. Fascism is the enemy of democracy, and if you're going to allow or tolerate fascism, if you're going to justify fascism, or you're going to sit here and tell me that I shouldn't demonize fascist, I'm going to think in my head, you're probably a fucking fascist. So, with that being said, I'm going to play my music. You guys, I'll actually make it to where you can hear it, so you know, like, not to talk during that period. Afterwards, I'm going to fucking bed because I'm aggravated as fuck. Yeah, y'all have a good night. Be the conversation. And as always, dumpster fires. I mean, it took a while, but we finally got to them bitches. Love you, patrons.